The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this White Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. This program starts right now. Football is wonderful, and we are incredibly lucky that we get to talk about it every single day. We only have a few games left. Now, granted, they are the most important games of the year for the NFL. We got 2 conference championships this weekend, then we have a Super Bowl 2 weeks from then, and then we have...
a whole lot of nothing.
Then we have
Mania?
WrestleMania.
Boom.
Then we have
The draft?
NFL draft.
draft.
Uh-huh.
Combine. Drama.
Yes.
Free
Stories.
agency.
Yes.
Bullshit.
Yes.
NBA.
No.
Formula One.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Sorry, Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari.
That's a 9-year NFL vet and Formula One
Mark.
docu-series fan.
Yeah.
No, sport.
I don't
I'm a
think
You
fan
said
of
you
sport.
were out on the
I
sport.
don't
I
think so.
never said that.
Ladies and
It's a new
gentlemen,
era.
Darius J. Butler.
Welcome, fellas.
That's a really nice hoodie you have on there.
It is beautiful. It costs a pretty penny, but I like it.
Well, of course, yeah. That's a society over there at G1. You gotta really earn your keep over there. This, you got to pay tithes. You're going to be a part of this operation. We're going to need a lot. You're going to have to watch the docu-series, which I think good is by all accounts, right?
I haven't watched it for a few years.
But it's the thing that introduced you to the game.
Kind of. I actually caught it on a random Sunday morning. Then I went and watched it.
This isn't real.
That's
You were
how it
boozed
is.
up.
We are retelling history right now.
Stop lying.
That's how I watched it.
A lot of people watch the docuseries on Netflix, which is awesome. Golf is launching its 3rd season, I believe, of a similar type thing on Netflix, which I think is great for these sports.
Yep.
I think the NHL should do it. Obviously, the NBA is doing it with the starting 5 or whatever it
Tennis
is.
did it.
All these tennis had a great one there for a while. NHL does like HBO 24 hours or something.
They used to. They did a series with Amazon this past season that followed around like McJesus and Austin Matthews, a couple other guys.
Those things are awesome. Those things are great. I think that's great for development of sport. But with that being said, a lot of these sports are tough to watch night in, night out.
Sure.
You know, especially whenever it doesn't matter as much. So what I'm saying is these 3 final games that we have. The AFC Conference Championship, which showcases a modern rivalry that people will be talking about forever. It's the new Tom versus Peyton. It's the new conversation about who's the top dog in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, AFC Championship. Tell us if you've heard this story before. Josh Allen, if he wins, will be the first time that he has beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Wow.
But it'll be his 5th time beating him as a whole. You see, Josh Allen is 4-0 against the Chiefs during the regular season, 0-3 during the playoffs. When it's win or go home, every single time, Josh Allen has had to go home whenever he's playing Patrick Mahomes. Now, is it Josh Allen's fault? Certainly not. I mean, the games that he has played have been fantastic, and obviously there's a lot of different storylines that have ended those games, and Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes shit on the biggest stages, just like he did this past week where he and Travis Kelce had their most prolific game this season. Now, why is that? Well, it's because you either win or you go home. You win and you continue your journey to the top of Lombardi Mountain, which the Chiefs are looking to do for a 3rd straight time, first time ever in the modern NFL era, and then the Buffalo Bills, well, they've been the team that can't get the job done. Josh Allen's the guy who hasn't won an MVP and doesn't look like he's going to win one this year either. And has he ever won a Super Bowl? Why are we talking about this guy? Why is Josh Allen the prototype that what everybody wants? Wow, if you can get the next Josh Allen, that's the quarterback you want. Then you hear all the people go, that ain't guy, one guy that ever wins. What are we even talking about? He does win. He's a fantastic footballer. But until you get a ring and are able to hang a banner in that beautiful new stadium they're building up there in Buffalo, that is how you're going to be judged forever. You can ask Dan Marino, who still gets that brought up about him, even though he's one of the greatest football players to ever walk this earth. It's chit-chat. Peyton Manning was the guy who couldn't get the job done for a very, very, very long time. Then he wins the Super Bowl. Big deal. John Elway, same exact type of situation. You're talking about when you win a Super Bowl, you get a lot of questions and a lot of remarks taken out of your resume quickly. Josh Allen has a chance to do that. Now, obviously going to have to get over his tallest task yet. And I put out a, X poll and got 62,000 votes. That feels like a pretty large sample size.
Yeah.
Pretty large sample size. 50% of the people that voted on this said the Buffalo Bills are going to win the Lombardi.
Wow.
The Buffalo Bills are the team that are going to be able to figure out how to win the next one and then the big one. The Buffalo Bills are going to not only knock off Patrick Mahomes in the playoff for the first time, but they're going to be able to go ahead and beat whoever wins the NFC Championship. A young gun. In the first year of a brand new ownership, first year of a brand new head coaching era, the first year of a brand new everything in Washington, has a rookie quarterback playing football better than potentially any rookie quarterback in the history of the game. Mm-hmm. We thought C.J. Stroud was going to be untoppable. We thought C.J. Stroud was incomparable. We thought that C.J. Stroud's rookie year was going to be something that was never going to be able to be matched, and then this dude shows up in Washington with Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator, and a litany of dogs across the board. Here's Terry McLaurin's pregame speech to the offense for the Washington Commanders before last week's massive upset over the Detroit Lions.
Hey, we here. We the show. Hey, everything you got inside of you got everything you need to be successful. No reason to be fearful, no reason to have anxiety, because everything you need is inside you. We live a great life, but listen here. When this money gone, when this fame gone, the only thing you really got is your name and your reputation. What are they gonna say about your name? What are they gonna say about your reputation? What are they gonna say when they turn that film on? I know what they gonna say about me. I'ma ride out. They gonna say we some dogs, man. Let's get it. See who you say you are, man. Win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah, I see why they beat the Lions. I see why this team is who they are. Obviously brand new, but you got a veteran like Terry McLaurin who's had many successful years in the past in a transition era to relevancy for the first time in a long time, which kind of replicates Travis Kelce, beginning of his career with the Kansas City Chiefs. They were crap. They were not good. They were out. Then he matures in the game, and then he gets Patrick Mahomes, and they become this brand new up to the top. Terry McLaurin's been waiting for the Washington Commanders, Washington football team, Washington.
Oh, was he there?
No,
he was not.
Okay. He's been
He was a football team OG, yeah.
Yeah.
but he has been waiting alongside everybody else over there for the Washington, what was their name?
What was it, AQ?
Ladies and gentlemen, 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipley is here.
How we doing?
They're the Commanders now. They were the football team. Then before that, where all their fans basically come from.
Still wear
all the
gear.
merch.
Still wear all the gear, every away game.
Yep.
Sean Taylor played for him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Great player.
Great player.
Redskins. Held to the Redskins. That's what it was.
Redskins. HTTR.
A little bit too comfortable saying that. As a person whose face turns very red on a regular basis, sounds like that's potentially.
Yeah, it certainly
now, granted,
does.
if the Commanders
Then that's what it is.
go win a Super Bowl, it's Commanders forever. But there's a lot of people saying now's the time, okay? We've been able to kind of restore who we are, what we are. We have a brand new owner. We have a brand new quarterback. We have a brand new everything, a brand new vibe in Washington as the Commanders have Terry McLaurin, who's been waiting for this moment. Remember, there was a lot of teams that wanted Terry McLaurin. Listen, you're going to let your entire career go into irrelevance because you're playing for a bad team? Why don't you come over to another? He's from Indiana. I wanted him back with the Colts bad. Thought there was a chance we're going to be able to get him back because you hear him talk, that's the guy you want in the locker room. Well, it's not just him. Feels like their entire locker room's bought in. Jaden Daniels is one of the coolest customers in the history of the NFL as a rookie, being able to dissect everything. Even this Detroit Lions defense this past weekend, who have been dominant and aggressive and have been shutting people down and confusing people all season long. Aaron Glenn brought more blitzes than anybody in the NFL this season, and all Jaden Daniels did was sit in the pocket and have the highest QBR against man, third down, fourth down, I think everything, as they go in to a tough place to play. Take on the Johns of Philadelphia.
Ooh.
This Eagles team is tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This Eagles team is grind and pound. This Eagles team is built for the moment. This Eagles team just had to win a game in a snowstorm, and they certainly were capable of doing that. You know, and these games are of massive importance. They say, can you run the ball? Can you stop the run? Philadelphia Eagles can do both very, very well. Eagles are favored by 6 at home in front of the Johns, in front of the mayor, who I assume will have learned how to spell the name of the team. Also, our country's Bert. I feel like you should have to know how to spell.
Yeah.
It's a big moment.
It's our mascot.
He's probably nervous.
Yeah, because mayors don't speak at things a lot. So I understand what you were talking about.
Moment.
I completely understand what you're saying. Is that bad momentum?
That's bad mojo.
Is that, you know,
is.
I watched that and I'm like, oh, I can see how you make that mistake. I can see how, here it is.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
Can understand how you make the mistake, obviously. Anytime you're spelling things out, it's going to be tough. Pete Thamel, one of the smartest guys I have ever been around, tried to spell out ought to go, you know, because the O-T-T-T-O-G-O in the entire, and I think he said O-T-T-T-O-T-O or something like that. Like, it's hard. It's not always easy. Now, granted, it is a chant that has been around in Philadelphia, I think, for maybe 100 years since the Liberty Bell was cracked back there whenever they were the original capital of the United States of America. But I watched it and I said, hold the phone now. Because in Washington, it feels like everybody's kind of moving in the same direction.
Left hand up.
Philadelphia, now we got the mayor not even knowing how to spell the team's name. Listen, is that bad mojo? I don't know. Does that even exist in Philadelphia? Because all the bad mojo that was thrown at this Eagles team, even though they were winning, the championship Sunday should be remarkable. Both games are going to be electrifying, and we need to watch it and appreciate it because we don't have a lot left. Talks the tables here at Bus, Conor at Ty Schmidt. Con-Man, for a long time, your Patriots were a part of this conversation, hosting this weekend. It was kind of the New England Patriots weekend. Now it's Kansas City Chiefs weekend, brother. Everybody thinks the refs are on their side. And did you know the Super Bowl logo, it's got a lot of red in it.
Yep, red and green.
Yeah, it's got a lot of red in it. And there is some green in there. But it's a majority, a little red, gold, and green in there. And I guess if you go back in time, the Super Bowl logo for a long time has kind of given away the script of what's going to end. The teams are normally in there. So they're saying Chiefs, Eagles, but a lot of people are saying the NFL, the refs, everybody is behind the Chiefs, mostly because Taylor Swift's over there.
Yeah, it's hard to argue because we watch the games and we see the calls, but, you know, good teams, things tend to go their way, and the Chiefs are a great, great team. This will be the first time in my life that I am genuinely rooting for the Buffalo Bills. I feel like I can say that. I think their city deserves it. I think Josh Allen is awesome. Yes, this is a genuine root for. You know, the Chiefs are great. And, of course, the Bills, their fan base is insufferable, but most of these fan bases are minus the HTTR. But, again, the Chiefs are on their way to doing something great. I think the reason I want the Bills to win is because the Patriots could never win 3 in a row. So the argument, you know, Chiefs dynasty better than the Patriots dynasty, I think that'll
get held over all of New England's head.
I think that starts to gain some real legs, you know, once they win, if they win 3 in a row. Because everyone says, well, they only have 3 Super Bowls. You know, the Patriots, they had 6 in 20 years. The Chiefs only have 3. You win 3 in a row, that is the greatest 3-year, 4-year, 5-year span, because it'll be 4 and 5 years in the history of football, without a doubt. But the Bills, I think they have the juice to get it done. And although the refs are seemingly on the Chiefs' side, even though you can't say that, and it's not real. I don't think that is a very real thing.
We don't know. Maybe these refs have daughters that are feeling 22.
There's a chance, and T Swift definitely helps, you know, for the NFL to grow the game. You know, they love their ratings, and of course, T Swift is definitely a huge pull, as is Caitlin Clark, as we've learned with the new Women's Basketball League. But again, the Buffalo Bills, they have what it takes. But I want to just count out the Eagles.
It's a new brand.
Of course it is.
It's a new brand.
No doubt about it. I wouldn't count out the Eagles, and I wouldn't count out the Jaden Daniel commies, even though it's a new era in the States. I think commies are going down. I would say that with the Philadelphia
Eagles, life always imitates art, or sports always imitates society.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that is kind of how it goes.
That's why I'm hoping the commies go down. But again, the Eagles, I would say they have what it takes. And people don't like Jalen Hurts. One of them sitting on the stage, but people don't like Jalen Hurts. And I do think with Saquon, with the way that team is built, that there's an easy path to see the Eagles go all the way. And that was the big convo with the commies versus the Lions. Like, hey, the Commanders have the 3rd worst rush defense in the NFL. So when you think about that, you think about how the Eagles are built. It would be something where the Eagles could go all the way. This would be their kind of 2nd Super Bowl in the last few years as well. Again, Nick Sirianni maybe not a huge, big, dumb dipshit if he's going to another Super Bowl. But I can't wait. It stinks that it's here. It stinks that these are.
No, it's good. Remember,
it's good. It's good because of the fact that we're getting answers. You know, we play all these games to get to championship weekend, but you miss all those games, that full slate on Sunday. You know, a stacked 1 o'clock, a stacked 4 o'clock, a great Sunday night that you wait all day for. But
yeah, you're talking about 7 hours of red zone football.
Yeah, no more commercial free. But still,
that was a big change this year.
Yeah, massive. That kind of.
But that doesn't exist anyway, so there's no even reason to talk about it right now.
Yeah, no,
because all we got is 2 games.
Plus, it's nice. Scott Hansen can go piss. You know, now he can drink water.
I'm still thinking there's a chance, ED. There's a little.
Depends.
He wears a catheter.
Yeah.
There's a chance. I mean, I don't know. He's a machine, obviously, a weapon, very good at his job. I don't know if his contract's up or whatnot. If it is or ever is near, he's in a great position of leverage. I think he should feel that way. Good luck to him in his negotiations. But yeah, 2 games, 1 day.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of ball left.
Yeah.
But these games are going to be electrifying. D-Butch, I'll talk to you about the Chiefs story here. Because there's a guy on the stage, and Conor alluded to him earlier about Jalen Hurts, who, his entire gimmick is offensive line.
Yeah.
No gimmick. It's real.
Okay.
Well, until last week.
Yeah, until last week when you had the Eagles as the number 1 offensive line left in the playoffs, and then you had them ranked as the 6th best team out of 8. It's like, well, I thought your entire thing was we go as the O-line goes, and then you got the number 1 O-line, and you drop them down to 6. It kind of ruined your gimmick. Just can you put that list up, please, real quick? This is what happened. You had them as the number 1 ranked offensive line that was left, and then you put them at 6th as the team rankings in that entire thing, and then the offensive line said, "Hey, Cush, we can win games.
Come on,
we can win games."
Yep.
But a lack of offensive line can lose you games. There's one team that you were very worried about, I think, right? Offensive line wise.
It's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Like very worried.
Very worried. I watched the film literally 2 times through to try and find one good clip that I could put on this show.
For the entire game?
For the entire game. And then I had to watch it again. I was like, there's no way. I just went through a whole game and didn't see one good clip.
So how'd they beat the Texans? How is this team the number 1 seed in the AFC? How is this team the Kansas City Chiefs?
So that's where this thing called an X factor comes in. Sometimes there's one guy that kind of comes along. There's one guy that comes along, right?
Who's that?
Your guy's LeBron, my guy's Jordan, right? This guy's.
I've never cast an official ballot. Just would like that to be known. I've never.
Big LeBron guy, big Jordan guy. Like
big Jordan guy, big LeBron guy.
We get the phone.
We get it.
I am not.
Time to get on the right side of this, brother.
I'm not casting about. They're playing 2 different sports. I'm not getting into this argument right now.
LeBron is better.
I watched that Last Dance thing. I saw people dribbling like this. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so hey, LeBron couldn't have played back then. I think he could have. Now, I think Jordan could have very much played in this era as well. 2 different sports. I don't think we should be comparing anything there.
But now we come back to this sport. The number 15's that guy. He's that guy. He literally runs around, he makes some people miss, and he makes a play, and then he's got a Hall of Fame tight end that also does his little run around, move back this way, and they're always on the same page. Oh, by the way, on the other side, they got a Hall of Fame defensive tackle, a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, and maybe the smartest offensive coach in all of
and
the history
potentially
of the game.
Hall of Fame kicker over there in Butker on the run that he's on. Hall of Fame special teams coach in Tobe in this entire thing.
Yeah.
They got a lot of greatness over there. But that's why I don't understand why they let the offensive line get this way. What was it? It was injuries, right? Left tackle, Tooney has to move out there.
That was the biggest thing. The interior 3, whenever Tooney's in there, is as good as any interior 3 in all of football, right? Their tackles it was an issue from the beginning of the season, and we knew that. We knew that going into it. They thought they could play some guys into it. They have not been able to do that. They bring in DJ Humphries. His knee wasn't quite ready, so they rode with Tooney out to left tackle. They said, hey, listen, we like the continuity with this guy. He's a Hall of Fame guard, can get it done, and that's what they're going with.
Okay, so joining us now is a man who might have an opinion on all of this. He has passed for over 40,000 yards in the NFL. 9-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. Ladies and gentlemen, a first ballot Hall of Famer whenever it's all said and done, 5 years, obviously, after it's all said and done. In last year's quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, ladies and gentlemen, Russell Wilson.
What's up, squad?
Hey.
What's up, Pat? How you guys doing?
Dude, great. I think it's the first time you've ever been on our show, so we just want to say thank you, man. Hey, thank you, Russ.
Yeah, Russ.
We appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. How you guys been?
Hey, we're great. Obviously, we're doing our shit, and saying dumb things into a microphone on a regular basis. And what we were just talking about there, I'd actually like to get your take on this entire thing. AQ Shipley comes on our show every single week throughout the season, and he kind of like judges offensive lines. He was the 12-year NFL offensive lineman, won a Super Bowl. You get it. Short arms, was drafted low, round belly, but he was able to get the job done. Ain't that right?
Never lost in Seattle.
The complete opposite of you, Pat.
Okay, yes, exactly. Thank you. Got the job done, Super Bowl champion. Yeah, all those things, much different than me. But he judges the offensive lines every single week. He thinks the Chiefs, obviously, at this stage of the game, have, because of injuries and everything, the offensive line's going to be a question. For you, in your game, offensive line most important part of this entire thing, or how do you kind of judge it as a quarterback who's obviously played a lot of incredible football in the NFL?
Yeah, I think, in any game, in football in particular, offensive line, defensive line, they set the tone for the games. You guys were talking about the Chiefs a little bit. Obviously, they got some playmakers on the defensive line that cause havoc. And, Patrick, his ability to escape and make plays is really what makes him really special. Obviously his unique ability to do that for sure. Okay, so Russ cooking is a similar conversation. Whenever that was being talked about, let Russ cook. Russ needs to cook. I don't think I ever heard you or anybody from around you talk about it. What did that mean to you? And did you view that as a compliment? And are we still in the kitchen? Yeah, we're still cooking, but I think the biggest thing is, man, it's just, when you got playmakers around you, always makes it fun. I think about this year, when we were on a hot streak and just some of the guys just making plays. Obviously, George Pickens is such a freak out there. Pat Freiermuth, I thought, had a great year. I think the biggest star to this season even was just Calvin Austin. I think his emergence and his work ethic, those guys allow you to, I guess, cook in a way. And obviously the guys up front, they do a great job of just battling every play. And just giving us a chance to make plays. We enjoyed the run with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, it came to an end earlier than you would have wanted, and all the people that are fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. But let's talk about these last couple of years, because obviously, I think we all viewed you as a Seattle Seahawk for the rest of your life because of everything that happened there, the wins, the success, the eras. There was different eras. But we also thought Tom Brady was going to be a New England Patriot forever. We thought Peyton Manning was going to be an Indianapolis Colt forever. We thought Stafford was going to be a Detroit Lion forever. So this successful, very good quarterback late in career going and finding a new home has become the modern norm. For you, whenever you leave Seattle, go to Denver. That goes how it goes. Then you go to Pittsburgh. How has the mindset been going into new places? Do you feel as if you have to kind of earn everybody's trust in the entire building? Or how have you kind of framed it as you have had to have new homes here? Yeah, that's a great question. But I think the biggest thing is that, first of all, I think every year you got to earn the respect of the guys around you and the love and the passion that you bring to the table. I think all of that really matters in terms of leadership and playing the game that we love. And, it doesn't matter where we play, whether it's in the parking lot or if it's, no matter where it is, you earn that respect by how you practice and how you prepare and how you come into the weight room and your mentality to that and just all those different things along the way. And, going into Pittsburgh was a special place for me. I love it, and hopefully I get to play there a lot longer, but just it's a special place because of the guys in the locker room and the traditions and the people and the winning and all of that. Plus you got Mike Tomlin, who's, arguably the best coach of all time, one of the top ones, and just because of who he is and how he motivates us. And, even through the storm, I think that we battled and a lot of that was because of Coach Tomlin and who he is and how he makes us prepare. And so, I had the gift of just being in Latrobe this offseason and just being around guys like Cam Hayward, I've always looked up to, a guy who's man of the year, and guy who's an all-pro, guys like T.J. Watt, and big head. Is that what you're doing there?
Yeah, Cam's, gigantic, yeah.
Yeah, you do not want him to tackle you, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course.
But, just guys like T.J. Watt, and just, there's so much leadership in that locker room, that guys that, are unsung heroes, and I think that's what makes it special. And so when you get to, be around guys like that, it makes it special, and obviously when you're seeing the towels fly around, all that makes a difference too.
Yeah, I feel like you embraced the Yinzer culture immediately from day one. I think you had a terrible towel in your opening announcement video that you were going to be there, and I think Pittsburghers appreciated that as a whole. You talked to Bill Cowher, I think, in a sit-down interview, and you said that Mike Tomlin was the first person that called you whenever there was a thought of you becoming a new team's quarterback. When you talked to him that day, obviously everybody in the NFL has respect for Tomlin. I don't think I've ever talked to a player that's played in the NFL during the Tomlin era that doesn't absolutely love him. But did he kind of lay out what it was going to look like? And what was your experience thinking about what your experience was going to be going in? And then inevitably, what was it actually with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, well, I got that first call from Mike. It was just exciting because I've always looked up to him. He's a Virginia guy, so it's got VA in his blood, 2 up, 2 down. And it was something that I've always watched being an East Coast kid growing up, was watching the Pittsburgh Steelers and watching the greatness of the guys before us. And I think a lot of it was, my passion for the game, but also, I got to play against them. I got to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers several times. We played them in, I think, 2015, and it was a back and forth battle. I had a lot of, just watching Big Ben, and we ended up winning the game in Seattle, but it was a great game that we played there before. And so I got to meet him several times, and there's just admiration there. So we talked about that a lot, but what we really talked about was just the love for the game and the process and the guys. And I think I really related to that in a great way. So, and to answer your question, I think the big part of it was it's superseded just my expectations of just who the locker room is and the guys and who he is. This guy gets there super early. I mean, he's there probably 4:30 in the morning, ready to go, watching his film. We meet on Wednesdays and Thursdays early at 7 a.m. and just the detail that he goes through this film is really remarkable. With me and the rest of the quarterbacks and everybody else and the leadership group and all that, and just how he goes about his business is really remarkable. And listen, I think that we didn't do what we needed to do this year. Obviously, there's 31 teams that are sitting at home at some point pissed off, and we're definitely one of those, and it was too early for us. And so, I think that the big part to it is that you continue to search for greatness every day. You continue to search for the process and the love of it, and knowing that it's all going to be worth it at some point. And I think that's the mentality you got to have going into it.
Anytime you're sitting in a 7 a.m. meeting with somebody and they tell you that they've been up for 2.5 hours, it's like, well, you're much more adult than me. I am very proud of you. I'm more of a moon guy. Okay, I'm kind of up a little bit later than you are, but damn, 4:30, you can get a lot of stuff done in those early hours. And I'm excited to hear that, it was a chatter about love of ball, because I think love of ball kind of takes care of everything else. The film study, the workout, the preparation, the buy-in, everything. I think it revolves around love of football. And we know you were a baseball player as well. Yep. And everything that's kind of chit-chatted about you in your playing game is can move, obviously can shake, rattle. But that moonshot deep ball that you throw is almost like your calling card, I would say. There's players that are known for things. There's fighters that are known for different combos. There's wrestlers that have different finishers. Feels like you're known for like the moonshot deep ball. I didn't play baseball. I don't know if there is a correlation of baseball with throwing a moon drop into somebody's lap, but this is like your thing. Why do you think this has become your thing, and is this just the most comfortable throw that you have?
Yeah, well, I think it's definitely I've been fortunate. Guys giving me a gift to be able to throw the ball down the field, and put it where I need to for guys to make a play. I think there's a few things to it. Number one, I think the guys you have making plays is always everything. You get to put the ball up in the air, guys like Tyler Lockett, as you saw in that picture, guys like DK, but also, guys like George Pickens, his ability to track the football. Calvin Austin, you saw that this year, his ability to make those plays. You're watching George right here, but I think what's interesting is that, like, when you got guys that are great center fielders, guys like Ken Griffey Jr., they can track anything when you hit the ball deep down the field. And so I think for me, in terms of the moon ball it's kind of like watching Steph Curry shoot. You want to give that high trajectory just to give the guy the best chance and give him the time to track it. And I think that I guess that angle to departure of the ball is always good. But, I have fun with it, man. And it's definitely a strength to the game. I think that, but it's always the guys around you making the plays that make it even that much more fun.
Yeah, certainly some highlight reel catches are possible on deep balls, and you've had more than a few of those on the other end. But like they say, the hoop's bigger up there. It's bigger when it's coming from up there. There's some of those throws that we just watched, obviously this one, it's like this thing is dropping down like a punt, basically, in between people. It's unguardable, D, but it feels like some of these are literally unguardable. Back shoulder, they say, unguardable. And then if it's being dropped from the roof, I feel like that's potentially a tough one to get your hands on.
Yeah, it's tough to find it late for DBs. Like receivers, obviously, they got a better job tracking it. A lot of DBs will look back at the quarterback as opposed to up. Like Reggie Wayne, OG, he was like, hey, look up, and you can track it better. But when it's coming in from that trajectory, dropping it, definitely tough, super tough for DBs.
Okay, so let's talk about – go ahead.
You know a little something about punting, too. It's kind of like, you got those great punt returners, and you saw that video of Cortland catching that one. But, like, just, you got to put it to a place where they can get it. And I think the big thing, too, is having that hang time just to make the play,
Hey, did you hear him talking about you maybe not being able to do that anymore because you're old as shit now? You know that. You've been around so long, right? You've played so long now, 9-time Pro Bowler, let alone the rest of it. 9-time Pro Bowler, let alone everything else you have going on. 3 different stops. But that was one of the conversations during the offseason whenever you're either trying to find a place or it wasn't working out in Denver. They're like, Russ is old now. This ain't young Russ anymore. This is old Russ. He's not able to do all this. I assume you heard those things. Every professional athlete tries to hear and find those things. But did you hear the shit that was being said about you, both, we'll say professionally, football-wise, and personally, you as a human? Or you keep all that out?
Yeah, you hear it. You hear it around you. You feel it sometimes. And listen, I think that what we do as athletes every time is, trying to defy odds every day. I think that's the mentality you got to have. I think, going to Denver my first year, I was banged up quite a bit. I had my lat torn and everything else. I was trying to battle through it. But in the second year, I felt great. I felt like, going to those games, and just battling and just, trying to light it up there in that moment. And, I felt like I played really well. I felt like myself again in my second year. And then I got, opportunity to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers and be there. And obviously, like I said, this year, was an exciting year in a lot of ways. It was tough at the end. Obviously, we didn't get it done, but I got so much more in me, man. I'm excited. Obviously, my goal is to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers a long time and, hopefully finish my career there, God willing. But, I'm just trusting God in the process, but also knowing that, I've always gone against the odds and people, doubting. And I think that's just part of my nature. I don't know if it's little man syndrome or what, but I love ball, man. I love competing every day, and I just love getting after it. And anybody who knows me knows that, I'm going to do everything I can to be my best for the longest time possible.
Okay, on that answer, and it's the last one for me before the boys have questions for you, and we can't thank you enough for your time here on this glorious Wednesday. You talked about, what were you, 4th round? Was it 3rd or 4th round?
Oh, 3rd round.
3rd rounder, okay, but they had just signed Matt Flynn, I think, to a massive deal over there in Seattle. And you talk about defying odds and everything like that. You weren't supposed to be the starter, but I think it was halfway through training camp maybe where Pete Carroll came out and was like, hey, we really like Russell Wilson. You and Pete kind of together seemingly echoed the same exact sentiments. His name is now being floated back into head coaching cycles. People are saying potentially Las Vegas Raiders for Pete Carroll. What was it like working with Pete? How would you describe your relationship with Pete, and have you caught up with him since you have left Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, my rookie year, was an amazing moment just because, kind of going in there, and I was 3rd string quarterback at the time, and just, I just kept my head down and just kept working. I think that, I think the first preseason game we played against the Tennessee Titans, I remember throwing a touchdown, I think Braylon Edwards, and I ran when my guy Charlie Martin made an unbelievable block, and I ran up for a 50-yard touchdown, dove from the end zone. That was kind of my first, okay, and then the second game, I think we played in Denver, played well there. And then the third game, I got the start against the Chiefs and threw a few touchdowns there. And so it was just like, okay, here we go. And it was, I had such great players around me. I had such great guys that were competitors, and, you think about just the players that we had. And so I thought Coach Carroll did a tremendous job of leading us and, pushing us every day to be our best back then. And I think us players wanted it. We wanted that level of work and attention, and that kind of defying the odds in a way. So yeah, listen, I think Pete's an amazing football coach. I think he's an amazing individual. I've been fortunate to play for 2 really special coaches in terms of men and how they think and how they process the game. Obviously, and Coach Pete Carroll and obviously Coach Mike Tomlin are really unique individuals in how they lead and motivate. I think they're culture builders. And so, I think people, do a great job wherever he goes. I'm not sure exactly where he's looking or whatever, but if he gets the opportunity, I know he'll do a great job. And, we've always stayed in touch. I went to see him in a lot of the other guys, Bobby and the guys like Doug Baldwin and DK Metcalf and all that, and Sherman, all those guys. When Coach Carroll got let go from Seattle, we spent a lot of time there, and we flew back in and just spent a lot of time with him, and just we have memories. And I said, it's funny because I said, if Sherman and I could be in the same room, it's always a good thing,
Yes, yeah, I would imagine.
We were just all competitors, man. We love playing ball, we love winning, we love pushing it, and I think Pete always did a good job of that.
I'm happy to hear that you guys went back there, had a little reunion, to celebrate the times that you all had up there in Seattle. It was a special era up there, man, especially with that stadium rocking. I don't want to break this news to you because you might not know this. I guess that stadium's gettable now.
Yeah.
Other teams' fans are coming in there and getting it. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that place is special.
I think that when it was named CenturyLink, it was a certain vibe to it. I don't know. I'm not sure. If they need to go back to CenturyLink, who knows? But it was a special place. Obviously, just the guys that we had and the competitors was always unique in itself.
Yeah, it was fun to watch you guys. Legit, it was fun to watch those teams. And if Pete Carroll's back chewing his gum on the sideline, I'm in. I'm in. Just the energy, the massive Monarchs. With the just walking, doing his thing. Throwing warm-ups, spinning it. I mean, absolutely spinning it. Hope that's the case. Hey, the boys have some questions for you. Is that okay, Russ?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
My
What's up,
man,
fellas?
talking about you being an old-ass dude now, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Russ, as a Packers fan, a lot of sleepless nights that you delivered to me when I was a little bit younger, because it seemed like a lot of times, hey, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, boom, Russ is going to pick up 16 with his legs. Now, obviously, you've gotten older. You mentioned it, and not to say that you can't do that stuff anymore, but you were such a dynamic athlete early in your career, picking up all those first downs with your legs. How have you kind of realized you've had to change as a quarterback as you've gotten older and maybe realizing, like, okay, these guys actually have a step on me now, whereas when I was a younger player in the league, I could very easily pick up those, 3rd and longs with my legs?
Yeah, I can still run. I can still, get up and go. But I think that as you continue to evolve, trying to facilitate the ball to the right guys at the right time and guys getting it to them in the air as much as possible, letting them do their thing. And then when it's time, using your legs, and I think that's a big part of the game, and obviously my ability to get outside and naked and play action and boot. That's always been a huge part and still is, and a part that I feel like I still do extremely well. I think, you try not to spin out and do crazy stuff all the time, but when you need it and you got to do it, I think I go back to the Cleveland Browns game. It was 4th and 6 this year, and it was a torrential, just the downpouring of snow.
Great blizzard.
And I just kind of spun out and went left, and we had to have it. And I ended up hitting Pat for a big first down. He made a great play, and I just remember Myles Garrett just rocking me right there in that moment. But just those things, I'm still capable of doing. I think that we got playmakers around you, though. You try to get it to them so they can make those plays as much as possible. But
point guard,
I'm always working on my speed. I think that's a big part every offseason is make sure that I can still get up to 19, 20 miles an hour and still feel good about it.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, saw your ass day after season ended doing this one right here. Let's go ahead and get that.
Yeah, you look good doing that. It's like
not bad balance. Hey, I've been working. I've been working on a little bit of balance. Are we doing any more baseball? I remember we see you.
Baseball. I'm playing baseball with my son. Future. He's got a chance. He's got a real chance. So my son Future and Wynn's 4 years old, but I think he may be a shortstop for the Yankees one day. And I got Future over here who's actually playing for the Major League 10-year-old to 12-year-old Yankees. So I don't know. I need to call Derek Jeter and get some tips from him playing shortstop. But I think he's got a chance. He's got a good swing. He's got a home run power swing. He's got some speed to him. He's got a good arm. So,
okay,
that's the baseball I'm playing right now. It's fun though.
Yeah, visualize through the entire thing because Ty, who's a Yankees fan, just noted.
Yeah, Russ, the Yanks don't have a second baseman right now going into this year. So listen, I understand you still want to play quarterback.
Free agent though.
But hey, maybe something to think about.
I turn a mean double play. I'm just saying, I still can't.
They need that. They had the most errors at second base in the majors last year.
Hey, listen. Can we talk about this finally? Because every time you do this training camp thing, every time, or whatever it's called, what do you guys call your
spring training?
There it is, spring training. I don't know baseball.
Same thing.
I apologize, Russ. I don't know baseball well enough. I do have respect for the fact, though, that the Yankees are the Yankees, and they're the ones that are having you at spring training. It's not like every human is allowed to just come do. You're a good player, good baseball player, and can you hit a curveball? Like, isn't that the big difference? Tim Tebow, right?
Yeah, the ability to hit the curveball is always everything. The thing is, it takes so many reps. I think baseball is one of those. It's kind of like golf a little bit. I don't know, Pat, if you can play golf at all. It's one of those things that your ability to hit, something that's coming at 90, 97, 98 miles an hour, and then also the ability to, at any point they break it off. I think that ability to do that. So, I could hit for sure, but I need to spend more time on baseball. I'm glad I decided to do football. God just kind of said, hey, let's come over here and just do this. But it's been fun. I love baseball, man. It's just being able to play and just I think it's God created baseball for everybody to enjoy some of my favorite times were just being on the baseball field in my young years.
Were you a sunflower seeds guy?
I was a sunflower seed. I'm a sunflower seeds guy, but I chew all the sunflowers. I don't. Everybody that breaks one at a time. I'm kind of one of those guys that just like, it's almost like if I had chew in, that's me. I don't chew. I'm sure you and the boys do, but
no.
It's like,
I am not a tobacco guy. Actually, tobacco, nicotine, the only thing that really all the other things I'm okay with. My body does well.
All the other things.
All the other things. Yeah, we all know there's a list. There's a plethora of them. The forest is where I like to remain mostly. That is where nature. But all the other ones, had nicotine and tobacco. Just kind of it sent me into the whirly birds way too much. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I had to do like the leg on the ground.
Oh yeah.
On the bed.
Yeah, we don't want you punting. We don't want you punting with a little swirly in your head.
But I did booze pretty good whenever I was punting. I don't do as much. Do you never? You're not a real. You'll have a beer with the boys.
I try to be clean as possible for me.
It makes sense.
I'm not in the forest like you as much.
Hey, anytime you want to hit a different altitude, you let me know. I'm assuming there's a lot of people that have that offer on the table for you. Would love to smoke with Russell Wilson.
Seattle, Denver,
oh my,
Marshawn.
Those are great states for the entire thing. You'd have to take a trip back, obviously, just like when Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
You head out to the. D-Bud has a question for you, Russ.
Yeah, that's probably the reason you hit the ground running. As a rookie, you came in, set a passer rating record, threw for 26 touchdowns. I think that was a record as well. Went to the divisional round. What's your thoughts on what Jayden Daniels was able to do out there this season and now during his playoff run? And I know you spent some time with Dan Quinn in Seattle. Thoughts on him as a head coach leading that organization to their next chapter?
Man, that's a great question. First of all, we got to play Jayden Daniels this year and the Commanders and guys like Bobby, I got to go against, man, just a guy who I truly admire, and just going against him and calling plays against him was fun this year. And it was a battle. It was a great game. It went down to the wire, and it was back and forth. Jayden was a special player that day. He was also special throughout the whole season. I think, he's got a great demeanor to him. He's got great poise. I think that anytime you're looking at a quarterback, through the highs and lows of the season, do they remain the same? Do they remain the same? Do they stay confident in the midst of it all? What are their practice habits? Can they make plays in certain moments? The game's on the line. Do you believe that they're going to make the play no matter what the circumstances are? Do you believe that, hey, when they're down and, at the half or whatever, do you believe that they can bring it back? And I think those are the it factors and the things that you got to believe. And I think Jayden does a great job of that. I got to be around him some last offseason and everything else. And he's just got a cool demeanor to him. He's obviously confident. And, I had a lot of respect for him when we played him. And he's going to have a great career for sure. Going back to your Dan Quinn question, though, he's just, he's one of those all-time great motivators, him and interesting story, Mike Tomlin and Dan Quinn were actually, boys for a long time. William Mary VMI, Coach Tomlin was telling me that during the season when we were about to play those guys. And I've always stayed close to Coach Quinn. I think he's just a tremendous individual. He's a guy who gets there early as well. He's just a guy who's dedicated to his players. He's a tremendous teacher. I think all the great coaches are great teachers.
There's some photos coming out of Quinn back from college and high school.
Oh, man.
Yeah, meathead.
Yeah.
Stats.
He might have had the tobacco.
Yeah, horseshoe.
Yeah, he might have had.
Maybe.
Yeah, that head too. I mean, he was. Backwards hat Dan Quinn has been awesome to watch, and they certainly look at this guy.
That's Dan.
Nuke.
Yeah, there has been a half a tin in that right side of that face before. No, I've seen it. I know it for sure. Dog. Absolutely. I think he has some record in track and field there at Salisbury State, and then obviously his football photos are hilarious as well. And now he's flipped an entire franchise like that overnight with new ownership, and they're obviously happy. Speaking of being happy, a man who's been a diehard Steelers fan his entire life. Let's head to Hammer. Dahn. AP Tone.
Yeah, Russell, first and foremost, thank you so much for everything you did for the city this year, especially the Children's Hospital. I know that means a lot to the injured, so we really appreciate that. But you talked about wanting to finish your career with the Steelers. Has there been any talks with Omar or Coach Tomlin about that yet? And if you do, how much do you think, second year with Arthur, second year with all the weapons, how much do you think development like that can help next year?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. First of all, the kids in Children's Hospital, they have a great Children's Hospital there in Pittsburgh. Obviously, the people there are unbelievable, and it's really about the nurses and doctors and what they do for everyone. Man, it's it's really special. Just I've been fortunate to meet so many kids over the years, and that's kind of my Tuesday. Just kind of, just thanking God just for the opportunity to try to be an influence and impact. And those days are like some of my favorite days. That and Sundays, just they're the best. But I think first of all, yes, we have been starting to talk a little bit, obviously, and we've had our our meetings and everything else, and kind of just getting into it. So I think that it's an exciting time. I think obviously to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and the opportunity of what we can do. But I think at the same time, I think that Omar and Coach Tomlin, man, I really love those guys and who they are, and the team that they put together, and the team that we can put together. And so I think that's a big part of it. And I think, I think as you mentioned, I think anytime you go into any offense, I think, always that first year, second year, third year, those years together always make a difference and grow. I think, you think about some of the all-time great guys, you guys like Tom Brady and guys like, obviously Peyton Manning, they've been in systems for a little while. I think that always helps too. And so, I got a lot of respect for Arthur and who he is, and as a teacher, as a coach, and a competitor as well. We spend a lot of time on Fridays together and all that. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about the opportunity of being in Pittsburgh, hopefully longer. And just, like I said, I'm always trusting God in the process.
You like Arthur?
Oh yeah, I like Arthur. I think everybody trusts.
Hey, there's reports you hate him.
Anytime you lose the game or two, or whatever it goes on, people always try to tear things down. I think Arthur's just a great coach. I think obviously has been a head coach, and we love trying to find ways to compete every day and just get better. And so he's a great coach.
I didn't even think about last year. You didn't even have a chance to do training camp because you hit a sled too hard. What do we not know about this story? Because when it came out, I'm gonna let you know. Tone and all Yinzers were like, "What are we doing?
Oh no!
What we lose our quarterback because of a sled drill in this entire thing? What happened? You were full pads. Who was standing on the sled?
We were just pushing this heavy sled as fast as we could and whatever, and just doing this workout testing thing we were doing, and it was unfortunate. But I think the best thing that during that time period. It was ironically good for me because going into Latrobe, I'm sure you guys have been out there before, but going out there was a special time because we had to sit late at nights and just sit with the fellas and play Uno and have some good times chopping it up with the guys, and then early in the mornings and I get in the pool and work out quite a bit, and then lift and everything else and do whatever I could do, and just being with the guys in the training room, and just guys like Gabe and Dino, and there's special people in that building, and players as well. And just, I think sometimes we, go through as players, we're so competitive. We always want to be out there, but there's so many things to learn, even when you're down and out for a bit. And so I was able to learn the guys a lot. And I think probably my favorite part of the season was just the whole offensive dinners, taking the guys out every Thursday and watching Thursday night football and just laughing and having a good time. And just, breaking bread together. So those moments, I think, even when I was injured, just being able to grasp, the playbook and grasp the time with the guys, and then still finding my work in the day, even if I was hobbling around the first couple of days, it's like, okay, let's still work. We're never not doing something. And I think that's kind of always been my mentality of the process.
Yeah, getting better every day. That's Russell Wilson, baby. I want to let you know that is part of your brand. Because remember, we heard the flight. You did the high knees during the flight over to England. Remember? Heard that.
Yeah, listen, I think every player in the National Football League, any NBA guy, they're always moving on the plane. I think they drew that out of proportion. But
no! I heard you were
maybe not that much movement, but close to it. But I think that I think it's part of being a pro is always being able to move and keep your body fluid, especially on a 10-hour flight. But it's all right. I'll take the memes. I don't mind. So,
you did get murdered. I mean, you got murdered for that. That one was a murder scene. Yeah, but it's all like for good works too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Cares too much. And I think everybody just assumes it's fake. I think same thing happened with Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Like we met Tim Tebow. And I was in the era of Tim Tebow. I think we all kind of were. And it was like, there's no way this is who this guy is. There's no way this is how they're portraying him. I don't think it's your fault that the entire world portrays you in one particular way, and media and everything pushes a lot of the shit that you do. Just like I didn't think it was Tim Tebow's fault that everybody was pushing it. But in everybody's natural reaction is this can't be how this person is. And then we meet Tim Tebow and it was like, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
This guy's really like that. Is that kind of, you think, how people, because I feel like the image in which we have of you, works too hard, cares too much, always there, always ready, preparing all the time, like everything that is projected publicly about you, once again, not your fault, this is how they're talking about an NFL quarterback who's very good at his job, is like perfect human. Is it hard to kind of live up to the hype of like a guy who's like a perfect NFL quarterback? And has that weighed on you at all throughout the entire process of your celebrity and fame in this entire thing?
I think that whenever you're trying to be great at anything, I think there's a process. I think it goes through this whole process where you're kind of starting. I was a 3rd round pick, 75th pick overall. I had to do everything I possibly could to be great. I had to do everything I could to be on my stuff. You know, at the time there wasn't that many African American quarterbacks. There definitely wasn't many short quarterbacks in the league at the time. There was only a few of us at the time, and you know, there felt like there was a responsibility for me to play the game and to process and do things at the highest level, and to also, you know, try to, you know, continue to create opportunities that others had created for me, you know, and I think that's a big thing to me. It matters to me, you know, and how we go about, how we become a professional and how you learn from others. I remember guys like Leon Washington that I got to learn from and how he processed and how he took care of his body, how he took care of his mind. And it was a 365, 24/7 thing. And it was an obsession with it. And I got to be around some greats that did that. And that mattered to me. And it always has mattered to me. My dad, my brother, they showed me that. And that was important to me. But I think a big part of it too is that I think anytime I'm a positive guy by nature. I think that's me. I try to be uplifting. I try to, speak life into every situation. I always say that, it says in the Bible that the power of life and death is in the tongue. So what you say matters, how you impact others, how you encourage. When I walk into a room, I want to speak life into every situation. When I'm on the field and we're down, and 21-0 and a half, can we come back? Let's go. Here's how we do it. And that's who I am. And I'm not going to change for anybody because that's who God created me to be. But I think a big part of it too is also understanding that, I think just being consistent in who you are, no matter how you are, no matter what you go about it. I think that's an important thing that people can trust and believe in. And I think so for me, when my dad was on his deathbed, I think a lot of it for me was understanding that, when he passed away, I remember the next morning just kind of hearing the sun still comes up in the morning. And that kind of changed my perspective of life in a big way, because I knew that, no matter what we go through in life, and we all go through challenges, we all go through, circumstances and everything, we have the obligation and opportunity, especially when you got, the football in your hand, you're one of 32 guys in the world. Why would I be any other way? Why would I be negative? Why would I bring others down? I just want to lift other people up. And I think that's something that I really take pride in, and it matters to me to do that. And I think God's given me a gift to play the game of football. And He's given me big hands and an ability to throw a moon ball, and try to punt it, throw it high as high and possible as you punt it in the air. But it matters to me. And I think that's just the obligation that I have to the game.
Yeah, I think you should take pride in that, brother. Hey, that was beautiful.
Hell yeah.
That was absolutely beautiful. We need more yous in the world, not less of you. And I think all anybody wants anybody to be, especially who's in a public position, is be who you say you are. We just heard Terry McLaurin say that to his teammates before they went and upset the Lions. Be who you say you are. I think you have done that. And I think some people just find it hard to believe because there's not a lot of yous out there, brother. And on that point, I think I heard that on Monday, you and Sierra were literally in L.A., I think giving diapers to babies and stuff like that after the fires. It's like, you talk about 24/7, 365 being a professional. It feels like you and your family 24/7, 365 try to make the most of everything and try to do everything. Thank you for doing this, legitimately. And what was the group you were working with on Monday?
Yeah, it's been really cool. Sarah's on the board of Baby to Baby, and we wanted to make a difference in LA. Obviously, everything has been so sad, man. We've seen so many people lose their homes. When you think about it, you come home and it's where you bring your baby home the first time. It's where, life happens, this and that. And, all the memories that people share and cherish, a lot of those are lost. And, it's hard to ever get that back. And so, for me, it was, for me and C was just trying to make a difference. Our youngest daughter, Sienna, not our youngest daughter, but our young daughter, Sienna, she's 7. And she was like, let's make a difference. And we really wanted to. And so we all kind of got together, me and Sierra and Sienna and Future. We all drove up to LA and just we partnered up with Baby to Baby, and our foundation does a lot of stuff with them too. We wanted to do more with them, and so it's been a cool process. And what they're doing, Baby to Baby, is really, really amazing. They're doing some really, really cool things. And so what we were able to do was just go into a warehouse, pack a bunch of stuff, bunch of things for survival kits, essentially, in a way, for people. And just there were so many great individuals and so much great leadership with Baby to Baby. And we're excited with our foundation to be able to do more stuff with them. Hopefully, Why Not You Foundation and stuff. But and then I did this real cool thing with Fanatics. I'm excited about too. That the Fanatics team did. I got to meet this guy who his son plays tight end for Cal, and just a really, really good African American dude who's tall. His dad's like 6'7". I don't know how big he is, but got to meet him, and he surprised him with Fanatics and gave him a Steelers jersey. He's a huge Steelers fan. Nice. He lost a lot of his memorabilia in the fires, and so I gave him a Steelers jersey. And then his son, we're doing something pretty cool where he's gonna get his own trading card, and we're gonna try to raise money around that and stuff. So that was really cool too. But just I think that it's making a difference and everybody coming together.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Ruben too. Yeah. Let's go. I like that out here. Yeah. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on that.
On that one.
And Russ, thank you for making the world a better place, man. And thank you for waking up every day trying to be a positive influence on it, because I know you get shit on a lot because of it. So the fact that you just, in the face of all that, continue to do that, it's a beautiful thing. And I asked Rich Paul this. I asked Travis this. I'll ask you this. Are you helping write any songs or do any? Are we?
No, I'm staying away from writing songs.
Smart. I see you dancing though. I see you dancing every once in a while in there. I don't know if you're going to give any.
Yeah, after we beat the Commanders, I hit them with I think it was the AB.
Yeah. Put that shit on. Huh? Okay, respect. All right, we appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, guys.
Future Hall of Famer Russell Wilson. Thank you, buddy. That was cool of him.
Yeah,
that was a long time. I don't think you're supposed to be on that too.
That was awesome.
Good dude.
It was a good chat.
That answer was incredible.
Yeah, I had to get to it somehow. I didn't know how we were going to get there, but at some point we have to be up like, hey, nobody thinks you are, basically. Mm-hmm. And him giving that answer, I just choose, when my dad was on his deathbed, he said, hey, son's going to come up or whatever. It's like, I guess he has reason.
It's a good message.
Yeah, this guy.
Good perspective.
Legit. And he said the power of the tongue, which I had heard that be said before. But it is interesting how you say things, what you say, when you choose to say things. So powerful in other people's lives and your life in the world that we're in right now.
Absolutely, man. So everything he said, especially with that answer, everybody should live that way. Because when you talk about even your own life, whatever situation you got going on, the more negatively you speak about it, it's more than likely it's going to start to go that way. Wake up, hey, it's going to be a good
Lucky
day.
to be here.
Say something nice to somebody. It might change your life. That's real shit.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. It might change the direction of everything. There was a documentary I think I saw on Netflix about how actually putting out positive vibes.
Oh yeah.
Scientifically in return, you should be able to. Yeah, I think that was it or whatever. I couldn't make it all the way through, because I'm like, all right, because I do try to be as positive as possible. But when there's it's a scientific proof that it was in there, I'm like, all right, I don't need to watch the next hour. I heard
That's
what you
all
said.
I need. Yeah.
I believe you.
It's in the Bible.
I believe you. I'm gonna move forward. What an interesting time to be alive. Shout out to Russell Wilson. Tone, real quick, we got 30 seconds. You want him back at the Steelers, or how's Pittsburgh feel?
It feels like the tea leaves are leaning towards Justin, but no, I think the second year under Russ would be good. Like we talked about it with Arthur and all those weapons. No, I wouldn't mind Russ back.
And I think, he was saying I didn't even get training camp here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give me 2 years with Arthur, 3 years here. We can really get moving. Sounds like he loved his time. I loved that he stopped by and chatted the way he did. Hour 2 will be on the other side with J.J. Watt, A.J. Hawk, and the boys. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life.
Last week, I have no idea what to expect. I will say, since Kirk Herbstreit is rolling around in a Bentley right now to a plane, Nick Saban will be the holder today for the field goal kicking contest. $80,000. Rob McElwainey's here, obviously absolute dog, owner of Wrexham, obviously his soccer team, and also It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think you have 10 other investments. This guy might be a billionaire. I have no idea, but he is awesome and entertaining. Kyle, you're a junior here, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Pat.
Have you ever talked any trash about kickers before?
Of course I have, Pat. Come on now.
This was his sign that he brought today. This guy. Is there anything you'd like to say to him before your first hold on TV?
Good luck, man. That's all I can tell you. I'm rooting for you.
Did you ever hold before?
Yeah, when I was in high school. That was a long time ago.
Okay, you're going to do great. Rob, former soccer player, maybe sign him to Wrexham after he makes this kick or no?
And look how confident he looks. I mean, I would be shaking. He seems very, very confident. I think he's going to make it.
Go! Go! 80,000, Kyle! All you got to do is put it through the uprights. Nick Saban, the greatest of all time, on the call. Oh, no. Oh, no. Spiral. Throw a completion down the left side.
Wow. I said give him another kick.
Rob, he immediately blamed the holder. Okay.
I don't know, but it looked like it was coming back. It wanted to come back. If it had a little bit more distance, it might have gone in.
Coach Saban, does he deserve another kick, you think, or what? Oh, no, Steve, back
That's another kick.
I want to make Coach die.
That's smart, yeah, make him make a play. Coach, you think he deserves another shot?
Let's give him another shot.
Okay.
Make it.
This one for $100,000, Kyle. Nick's looking out for me here a little bit of coaching.
Rob,
what was your
right
did you graduate?
I did not go to college, so I've adopted Oregon as my home.
If you were to go, would general social sciences be your thing? Hey, hold on, Kyle. Good luck.
Come on, Kyle.
$100,000 in Oregon. Oh, what about hey, all right, Kyle, I feel like you hustled me a little bit.
Yeah.
Your second kick was so much better than your first. Shout out to Nick for the hold.
How important is the holder?
Hold is the most important.
Great, man. Congratulations. That's great.
This thing is getting
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Russell Wilson, J.J. Watt Wednesday. January 22nd, 2025, hour 2 of the program starts, and now... Football! It's wonderful. We're lucky to talk about it every single day. We just got done chatting with Russell Wilson for the first time. I saw him one time outside of Super Bowl Radio Row during COVID. So there was a lot of social distancing going on. He made it a point to break through the group of people that were kind of separating him from the group of people that were separating us while we were walking. You know, don't look at each other, don't look at each other, don't breathe the same air. Mm-hmm. Nobody. 2 masks on, please. Sunglasses, eyes down. Wear a hat too. The fucking hair follicles can COVID it. Don't let the hair follicles COVID it. Okay, the whole thing. That's what it was. Especially with Russell Wilson. I think at the time he was up for some award of probably Walter Payton, whatever.
It was in LA.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah, he was winning Walter Payton. So we're doing this entire thing. He sees through. He is not the tallest guy. Certainly tall in real life, but in football, you know, vastly different. Looks through, breaks through, shakes Foxy's hand, I believe. Yep. Chit chats with us quickly about our show, and then I tell him like, "Hey, we're going to put a request in at some point for you to come on the show. Feel free to turn us down." Like, it is completely, people turn us down all the time. We don't hate you if you turn it down. It's all good. We understand how it all goes. He goes, we'd love to get on and catch up or whatever. And then it has been able to happen. And then now, boom, we have him on. That was a great conversation. I'm thankful he stopped by. I think he talked about a lot of things that a lot of people have questions about. Mm-hmm. Didn't ask about Mr. Unlimited. But I think he addressed it. in one of his answers somewhere in there, at least at some point. And we're appreciative of him. Talks Tip was here at Boss Conor at Ty Schmidt. Can certainly let your jokes fly about Russell Wilson over time. I think he did a great job sitting in the pocket right there.
Without a doubt. And I certainly have let my jokes fly about Russell Wilson several times in the past. But it is like you hit the nail on the head with the Tim Tebow stuff. Like when we first met him at Radio Row, like that. It's very easy to be like, this guy's full of shit. There's no way any human being could be like this all the time. But there are a handful of people in the world that what you see is what you get, like legitimately at all times. Tebow is that way, and it's pretty evident to see that Russell Wilson is probably that way because, like you said too, like it'd be very easy to just turn negative when you're doing all these good things for people and like being a very positive impact on our world, and you just immediately get shit for it. Like people just, this guy sucks. He's full of shit. That's not real. And he just continues to do it and continues to show up. And then all the football stuff is secondary. Like, like you said, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer probably. But anymore, it's just like he just gets killed for how he plays, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Like, very few people are indifferent about Russell Wilson, and over the last several years, it seems like he's become more of a punchline than he probably deserves to be.
Well, and then he had a couple lines in there that told him he's okay not remembering the Denver times.
Sure, no doubt.
Then there's a couple of things in there. I think he was alluding. I think he puts massive respect on people that show up early. Because multiple times when he was complimenting somebody, guy gets in there early. This guy gets in there early. Because I think those I assume Russell Wilson falls in this category. Those super high operating humans.
Yeah.
There's some of them, billionaires, that are nocturnal. Those are more the artists, creatives, going with that. The high operating business people, normally early alarm clock. And they don't mind telling you about it too. And their schedules are every day. This is what we do. Boom, boom, boom. You can tell that Russell Wilson puts high respect on the people that have that. Because people that do that, I think there's other traits that are about them. Okay, these are very well organized, very thoughtful, very no stone unturned, very focused, very body. Like that's how those people view it. And the only reason why I know that is because I'm not one of those people, and I get to do business with those people. And whenever they send over a time for us to talk, and I respond, how about 1:30 a.m. instead? Whenever they're doing that number, I've tried to joust, with these people a little bit, but they very much believe in the waking up an hour and a half, 2 hours earlier than every other person on earth. You have a 20-hour day or an 18-hour, 19-hour day where everybody else has this thing. Russell Wilson, once again, is who he says he is every single day. He did not talk about Denver at all in there, though.
No, he didn't. Understandably so.
So Sean gets there late. Is Sean a night guy?
He must be. Well, yeah.
Sound like it a few times.
He must be. And I think Nate Hackett, he'd get in there at 3:30, but then he was playing Minesweeper for 4 hours. Wasn't really.
All right, 9-year NFL vet. Darius J. Butler is here. D-Bunch, how you doing, man? Obviously,
good game.
Minesweeper's a great game.
Very
If you get lost in there, too,
you can.
You can start clicking. Whenever they have the number, that was a good game.
It was.
Tough enough. But also easy enough if you wanted it to be.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good game. Felt like a genius, too, whenever you beat it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm so smart, I can fucking lead a war.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had to do that entirety. So maybe Hackett did think that was a good part about getting better. What did you learn there from Russell Wilson?
He is who he says he is.
I think so.
Yeah, and you can see why. A lot of people obviously shit on him, for the most recent years of his career, but he's had a long, very, very, very good career from the beginning. Like, he came out with the Andrew Luck and the RG3 class, but he went to the divisional round as a rookie. He, threw a bunch of touchdowns. He had a great defense, had a good running game, but he fit right into that culture. And as you mentioned, usually when you bring a free agent over and you pay him, like, you're going to at least give that guy that year. And for him to win that job as a rookie and just kind of taking, obviously he has a chip on his shoulder. He has a hell of a perspective on life. So I became a bigger fan of Russell Wilson after the day for sure.
Here's some stats that we pulled before he came on. Career passing yards, over 40,000. Touchdown passes, he has over 300 career passing touchdown. He currently ranks 5th all-time in career passer rating. He has over 5,000 career rushing yards, over 20 career rushing touchdowns, 9 playoff wins, including a Super Bowl, obviously, 25 postseason passing touchdowns plus, and then obviously he won a Super Bowl in a 43-8 win over the Denver Broncos. It's like, has had a pretty good career.
Yeah, Peyton Manning's Denver Broncos, too.
Yeah, and that was whenever the Legion of Boom knew all the signals.
Yes. Almost that guy.
Locked in.
They knew exactly what was coming for every single play. What a genius performance by that Seattle Seahawks defense, which is a big part of the conversation about the Seahawks in total. Who goes where, who stays, who's getting treatment, who's not getting treatment. So him saying that whenever Pete Carroll gets let go and they all go back and they're hanging out, that's a beautiful thing to hear because you guys were a fun team to watch over there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fun team to watch all together. 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion AQ Shipley's here. AQ, I know you wanted us to chit-chat about some of his offensive linemen. Feels like the time kind of got away from it. But he takes the boys out every Thursday night. I learned something from that as well.
That was cool to hear. I mean, we've heard so many stories of him not being one of the guys, and the fact that he took the boys out to dinner, that's a
huge ordeal.
That's a staple deal. That is a staple of quarterbacks and O-linemen getting together Thursday night, eating, watching the game. That's a pretty cool deal.
Some of the O-linemen are boozing.
Sure.
Yeah, some of them are, because we know the quarterbacks got the credit card here, too.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't a credit card roulette situation. This is one guy's doing this whole thing. So, yeah, we'll have that. We'll have that double jack, yeah.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
You guys have 32 ounce?
Gentlemen?
You guys got Louis? You don't have Louis here. All right.
All right.
Normally I drink Louis the 13th. But
Normally.
Yeah, but I guess I'll just do Jack here, I guess. Yeah, is this gentleman Jack here? Yeah. And then some of the boys have a good time. Then you start talking about families. Then you start talking about other things. That's where the camaraderie really grows.
That's where it comes
Him
together.
not having a half a season, basically, or 5-6 games, whatever it was, because Justin Fields was playing so well, and they were winning games. And then him not having training camp because of the sled push thing. It's like, I feel like he feels like I stumbled out of the gates, didn't get a full opportunity. He's a free agent. We'll see how it goes. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who just won a national championship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, a guy who has a tree on the Ohio State University campus. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl champion, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawker, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I appreciate it, but I did not win a national championship. I did nothing for anything on the field. I just supported from the sidelines like all the great fans. So
No, you're a
credit to
Buckeye.
the coaches and the boys.
Coaches and the boys won, but you won. You won the national championship.
You're a buck, man.
Oh yeah, I say we.
Congratulations.
I say we for Ohio State, of course. Yeah, win or lose, I say we.
Okay, so you won a
We
national
did it.
championship.
We did it. Yeah, we did it.
Boom.
What did you do?
We won a national championship.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Congrats, AJ.
Could have taken out the last minute
Thank
of
you.
semantics in that entire thing. How is the state of Ohio? Is it everybody feeling a little bit lifted? Is everybody kind of just hovering around? Is everybody feeling alive over there in the Buckeye State?
Yeah, it does seem like people are pretty excited. I think I believe the national championship trophy is on display for 2 or 3 hours at a local grocery store somewhere right now. I think it's happening. Yeah, people are excited. I think they're going to eventually have some kind of celebration for him. Hopefully it gets above 0 outside so people can enjoy it. But yeah, things are good here.
Okay, so parade. Would there be a parade for these types of things? I don't think I know how college ball works. And Ohio feels like this is a paradeable situation, especially because the setup in town is already kind of a parade route whenever the players walk to the field and everything like that. But it's so damn cold, that's probably holding things up.
No, I mean, I think they're just getting things set up. I don't think there's a parade. There may be a parade. I know at least after my freshman year, we won the national championship. We had a huge thing at the stadium where basically almost probably 85,000 people showed up in negative 20-degree weather for us to, walk around the stage and see Grant, a great linebacker who I was his backup. He sang Carmen, Ohio. It was a special moment. I would assume it's something like that at the stadium, but I honestly have no idea.
Okay, and don't you guys do the skull sessions or whatever in the arena right near there?
Yeah, St. John Arena, the old basketball arena. It's an awesome place, but that doesn't seat enough people, man. I think that's only like 5,000-6,000.
Okay, so there is going to be. Is that normal for national championships? I don't think I fully know what.
I think, right?
Yeah, I
what
forgot
do other teams? What did Michigan do last year? Did they do anything?
Forgot if they did buses through Ann Arbor. Or if
I don't
they did
remember.
something
I don't
like
think
that.
parades are that. That's what I just assumed was either you do it in the stadium or they do it in like the basketball arena.
But people do it in the stadium. I don't think I
I could see doing the basketball arena, the Schottenstein Center, the main basketball arena. It seats like 18. You could do it there.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it normal for college national champions to do a ceremony?
I think so.
There's like a celebration?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
I
What
think
did Michigan do
before,
last year?
Well, that's the thing is that
Michigan did a parade, I'm getting from the back. Yeah, they went through town.
Okay. That'd be sweet.
A lot of times.
That is a sick shot with those buildings. Look, you could tell you're on a university campus.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of old school.
Yeah, like I don't think that's super common.
Like a parade.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, because Super Bowl, a parade is happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Parade is happening, then there's a stage at the end. National championship, I don't think I know what is, I guess this would be it. Okay, so Ohio State, we assume will do something big, even though it's cold as shit, colder than it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, they got snow down there in the bayou, like real storm.
Yeah.
Real snow down there. That's
So
weird.
you just wait for it to melt, I guess?
Yeah, there's no way they're prepared. I mean, this is obviously the home of the Super Bowl in 2.5 weeks right now, and there's no way they have anywhere near the amount of salt or plows or anything that you would need for an actual snowstorm to come through there, because why would anybody clear a budget that has all of that shit in it whenever it very, very rarely would ever happen? And it's like, we got snow there, cold there, this here, cold here. It's like, what's going on? Is this just an abnormal winter?
Global warming.
You don't believe in that.
Global warming.
More.
That was DC, AQ.
Do you have
That's it.
Do you have any other sentences, or is that just?
No, it's just what I've heard. That's what I've been reading.
Okay, so you see that and then you just period. You don't do any more research?
No, that's it.
Al Gore.
Okay, well, thank you for doing that.
Of course. Thank you, AQ.
Thank you, AQ.
Of course.
AJ did have a question
Thanks,
about
AQ.
Monday. We didn't see you down at the national championship. What was that, Age?
Yeah, were you? I thought I saw some clips of you. Were you on a bus with Logan Paul, Theo Vaughn, and those guys?
No, I didn't make that bus. bus.
He was on Elon's telling him what to do on stage.
Yeah, hey, here's a good hand motion.
No.
This is good audible
Oh,
that we
no.
give. Is that right? Is that what you were doing?
Nope, I was at home with
I've
the
watched
kids.
that a
Kids
few
were off
more-
school that day. So
I've watched that a
Yeah.
few more times.
Keeps popping up.
I mean, I don't know how
I don't know if he was grabbing his heart. It doesn't feel like he was throwing his heart from what you told me.
Just so, I mean, the form is pretty.
Seen that form before.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Back to back.
That's alarming. That was scary. He's a goober, they're saying.
Yeah, he's a goofball.
He's been a
Goofball.
billion.
Yeah.
He's been a
He's a
billionaire like
goofball.
5 times. You have to have some sort of awareness that is something.
You'd think.
What if he shows up with a mustache?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, yo,
Comb over.
He's gonna be like, I didn't know. I didn't
New
know.
haircut, Elon?
I don't. That was wild. I'm telling you, the more I see it, I'm like, man. All right. Without sound, it's even more obviously more what he was talking about, thanking everybody and everything like that. But I don't know. All right, let's talk about some breaking news in the NFL. I mean, that was just like.
You just can't be doing it.
God.
You just can't be doing it.
Some things you can't.
That feels like that thing everybody kind of knows. And then, boy, they're matching up with some other videos. They're like, but they're not saying my heart out to you in the videos. It's like, okay. All right. Agreed.
Sure.
Agreed. They're not. Boy, that looked pretty.
So is everybody then?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and then I see other photos of people. I'm like, how many people have been doing it?
Wait.
It is a.
Are all of them?
I don't, and then I start looking. I see photos of me. People are putting photos up of me a point somewhere, and it's like, whoa,
Whoa.
wait a minute, whoa. I'm pointing.
Yeah, I'm pointing.
I'm pointing over there. It's like, whoa. The internet's gonna do what the internet's gonna do. But boy, when you do that, I think there's gonna be a reaction. All right, KOC has signed a multi-year blockbuster extension with the Minnesota Vikings, AJ Hawk. Now, what does blockbuster mean? We assume that means it's a big number. The reports are that Ben Johnson signed for 13. Sold. That's what the Lions fans are saying. Yeah, he sold out.
Yeah.
$13 million a year, allegedly, for the Chicago Bears. He's never been a head coach before. Obviously, he's had multiple opportunities to become a head coach, and he was the belle of the ball. But if the reports are accurate about him getting $13 million a year and never winning a game as a head coach, and Kevin O'Connell was up for renegotiation, and Kevin O'Connell has done a very good job with the Minnesota Vikings and obviously won a lot of games and has coached his ass off, we assumed he was going to be worth a lot of money. Sounds like that is the case. They will also be turning their attention now to Quasi, who's the general manager, to give him an extension as well. So status quo will remain in Minnesota, which I think is a good thing because of how successful they've been over the last couple of years. Obviously, a question mark still remains about the future at the quarterback position. I assume they'll be able to figure that out. And one of the reasons why they gave KOC this blockbuster deal is because he can make quarterbacks good, is the expectation and the thought. Good for the Vikings, I think, AJ, and the NFC North remains dominant, it appears, for at least the foreseeable future.
Yeah, doesn't this feel like it had to be an absolute no-brainer? I would assume they paid him more than $13 million guaranteed a year, but look around. Like, look at all the teams that are constantly going through coaches, trying to find a good coach. Like, we talk about it a lot on this show, like how difficult it really is to be a head coach in the NFL and to be successful. And with all the things KOC's had thrown at him, as far as like the quarterback situation, the different quarterbacks that he's had in there and have looked really good in his scheme, like, I think it would be crazy. KOC does seem like he is a mixture of a guy that will hold him accountable, but he's also that offensive guru, genius type guy that can draw things up and get people open, but he also has control of the team. So, yeah, I think absolute no-brainer. You have to re-sign this guy.
I heard Ty Schmidt poop his pants whenever this signing was announced. Ain't that right?
No, you didn't.
What?
No, not
What about
really.
Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears? There's been videos now coming out of that particular building with Ben Johnson now leading the charge. One of my favorites, and I haven't heard him from today's press conference because it's been live, is whenever he walked in and addressed the entire building, as this has become like the new thing whenever a coach or GM is brought in. The entire company, who's been working there for years and years and years in every department, come out and give a round of applause. Well, Coach Ben Johnson addressed the Chicago Bears building for the first time yesterday. Welcome. We love you.
Everyone get back to work. Listen, thank you so much. My family and I, we are beyond excited. This is exactly where we wanted to be. This is exactly where we wanted to be. Where we want you. This is going to be a challenge. I am well aware of that.
This is going to be a challenge.
I know what this division's about. And this is exactly where we want to be. We're going to go after this thing, and it's going to take all of us in this room. It's going to take this locker room. It's nothing more important than that locker room and us serving that locker room and those players. All right? They need to understand that, and they need to feel that from us every single day. And if we do that, the wins are going to come.
Okay.
The playoffs are going to come.
Okay.
All right? Can't wait to get to know you guys. And thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you.
Hell yeah! Yeah, man. It's going to be a massive challenge, all right? You guys know you've been here. This place kind of stinks, all right? Thank you for the warm welcome. You've had to do a lot of these over the last 10 years, and I want to let you know it's all about that locker room right there, okay? And when the wins come and the playoffs come, sales, a lot easier. Ticketing, a lot easier. Sponsorship, a lot easier. Parking, a lot easier. Social media, a lot easier. Hey, everybody's life gets a lot easier if we take care of that locker room right there, okay? So that's all I'm saying. And this is where we wanted to be. That's where we wanted you to be. Okay, it feels like it was a perfect start between the building and Ben Johnson's era. He had a press conference today, and, Lions fans were killing Ben Johnson for going to the Bears and seemingly potentially putting together a staff before the games were over for the Lions. And Lions fans got creative like Boston Conor did the other day, where he's like, Ben Johnson's holding back plays so he can run with Caleb and not Jared. That's why they lose in the playoffs to the Commanders. We don't think that's true. But he said he loved beating LaFleur twice a year. He said today. He said, I didn't mind beating LaFleur twice a year. That was a good time. Trying to win Lions fans back while also taking a shot at the rival Green Bay Packers for the Chicago Bears tie.
Yeah, see, I appreciate that because he comes in and he understands that rivalry does mean something. But let's get two things straight here, okay? The Lions got their physicality and their toughness and their overall demeanor and attitude from Dan Campbell.
Thank you.
They didn't get it from fucking Ben Johnson.
Thank you,
He can say that, and I appreciate that. But you know what Ryan Poles said when he first got introduced as the Bears' new GM? He said, we're going to take the North and we're never going to get back. And they've been hammered dog shit since he got there. So you can say all that kind of stuff. That's great. Hell, they beat the Packers to close out the season. Now, granted, the Packers, in the second half played all their scrubs and all the guys who probably aren't going to be on the team next year because they didn't have anything to play for going into the playoffs. Now, in hindsight, they should have probably played their starters so they didn't look so bad going in the playoffs. Maybe it would have helped against Philadelphia. But you can say all this kind of stuff today, and Bears fans are, just eating out of the palm of his hand. They love it. And they should. They should, because he understands how big of a deal it is. But if you want to, win the Super Bowl when you're not in the playoffs in January when you hire your coach and you're trying to figure out this thing for the 500th time in the last, 30 years, fine by me.
Congratulations.
Do it. Yeah, and enjoy it.
And they did.
Enjoy it.
And
enjoy
they
it.
did.
But I don't want to hear a goddamn thing when they start 0-5 next year.
What?
And Bears fans are saying, this ain't the fucking guy we hired.
No.
What the hell? I didn't want this guy.
No.
I'm just saying.
They said that's where we wanted you to be in the video we heard it. Let's go to a Chicago Bears fan here. Zito, Ben Johnson, his rollout, his debut as a Chicago Bears coach, aside from the selfie video that they put on social, I think has been awesome. Do you agree up there?
Yeah, this is like the first time Chicago's all been on the same page, too. Like, that never happens. So, everyone legit, rooting for him the whole time. And obviously there was, Vrabel was obviously a part of that as well, and McCarthy. But Ben Johnson is a absolute mastermind, and I do believe that we will be beating the Packers 2 times this year.
Okay. Sounds like he's making himself believe. It sounds like he's trying to convince himself in the middle of that answer there. And he was looking right, and he was looking straight. You know, I was watching Zito's eyes, searching.
Yeah.
He was searching for something there.
Searching for confidence. Searching for confidence in what he wanted.
And that's what Ben Johnson's supposed to do.
That's how he should.
And I think that's why Chicago feels the way they do. It's like, yeah, we got the guy. Yeah. He's saying all the right things. I think aside from that selfie on the social media video, everything else, he's saying the right things, Conor.
Yeah, saying the right things, but just the demeanor, I think you mentioned, like when Mike Vrabel came in, we're not doing the wuss, clapping it up, hey, let's make this guy feel good. Okay, because that guy's coming in feeling good. He knows what he's
Ben Johnson said everybody back to work.
If we were, if we were to go back and look at who exactly got clapped for when they walked in the building, just a couple names come to mind. Rand Carthon. His ass got shit canned. I think we could go through a few more. I don't know if they're still with him. And to be completely honest, I've never seen Ben Johnson without a hat on.
Yeah, that's the first time.
And now that I have, boy, oh boy, I'm glad the Patriots got Mike Vrabel.
What's your problem?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He looked like a fool. He looked.
I thought he sounded great. He also had that coaching stance with the hand.
Yeah.
Okay, he did one of these. Good leadership talk. I think he appreciated the banter there. A couple different times he was waiting for the team meeting. I thought he addressed the crowd well. I think we got a chance to look inside one of his meetings there, AJ. I have faith that Ben Johnson will be able to figure it out because you said you hadn't seen him without a hat. I don't think I've heard him talk.
Yeah.
That's my first time really hearing him talk there. I think he does have some leadership qualities, AJ.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's not an easy room to walk into and try to
You guys have sucked.
Yeah. Like I give him credit. His kids didn't interrupt him and didn't pull on his arm and tell him that they'd take a leak or something. Like that's something that's tough to do if you're speaking with your kids right next to you. So I give him credit, him and his wife. But I mean, ultimately, you got to ask the guys that played for him. Like I know the guys that I have talked to that have been on the lines. Like they honestly have a lot of respect for this dude and they think he could be a great head coach. So that's all I can go off of when I have no personal interaction with the dude. But yeah, can you lead a group of dudes into give them all one singular direction that they can all chase? Like, can you be that guy? We'll see.
So he pointed at some of his players, allegedly in his press conference, Caleb and the boys, and said, get comfortable being uncomfortable. I don't know the delivery. I don't know the tone. I don't know the phrase. But the tweet that I read said it was a good moment. It was a good moment between new coach and locker room. D-Butch, early thoughts on the Ben Johnson regime up there in Chicago?
I'm optimistic. He chose this destination. There was obviously, you would assume he had his pick of the litter with the teams. He chose this destination. He chose Caleb Williams. Now, Ryan Poles is still there, and the things about the turnaround and what's going on in Minnesota and what's going on in Detroit. Front office, Brad Holmes has done a great job building in the draft and in free agency with Dan Campbell in the front office. And Quessy, what he's done in Minnesota, bringing in like guys like Cashman, Van Ginkel, Grenard, like those guys come in and instantly produce and help that team. So those are the things they're going to have to O-line, running back, because you had amazing weapons in Detroit. And we all know coaches can look great when there's great players running their system. And now you have a young quarterback still trying to figure it out. You have good, talented players, but you got to get those players to play and produce at a high level. So how he works with the front office and then obviously how he commands the team. We know he's a good play caller. So who's going to be defensive coordinator? How does he build the rest of his staff out?
Who all did he bring with him down there? Do we know? Does he have an offensive line coach?
No, I don't think they've named anybody yet, but I know Hank Fraley, I think he wanted him, but Hank's interviewing with Seattle. He's the O-line coach in Detroit, but he's interviewing with Seattle, and probably, I bet at the end of the day, is just using that as leverage to stay in Detroit.
Yeah, and then the other two that have been tied to him is Dennis Allen as DC and Rizzi
that would be great.
His special teams coordinator.
Because he has history down in New Orleans. And Rizzi's name still potentially up for the New Orleans Saints job because Alvin Kamara said, Coach, I want rhymes with fizzy, dog. And that would be?
Rizzi.
See? Got bars.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And see, even there, wherever I pointed at AQ, I was a little bit. Everybody's kind of on guard.
Yeah, a little bit.
Should be. You're good with a point.
Yeah, one finger.
Yeah, even two.
Butch,
some people
keep going. How about three?
Go four then, Butch.
No,
No, but I will say, Rich Rodriguez told me one time not me, it was a team meeting. He said every time you point a finger at somebody else, there's three fucking pointing back at you. Never forget it. So whenever you're blaming somebody else, you're blaming yourself in the process. You might as well just do that at the beginning. So I remembered, like, when it's definitely somebody else's fault throughout the rest of my life, you go four fingers at it.
Easy.
Your fault.
Whoa. Keep that elbow tucked.
That's first down.
Keep that elbow tucked.
First down.
Elbow in.
I'm first downing.
Be careful.
And if I go from my heart, I think it is in the delivery as well, just a little bit more casual, just a little bit more. Okay, because I think it was like just the force in which it was
the force. It was like he snapped it. He snapped it too hard. That
practice, rehearse. Like this guy's got form. Like whenever you see somebody salute the flag, and you'll see the actual, like, hey, those are the real deal, real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciating, I get it.
Yeah,
I got it. But whenever you see the person like snap it in, it's like, oh, that's that's real deal right there. That's what that one, and I think it's all because of the form.
Yeah, snap that down.
I think it's what we're all seeing on that video is like the muscles have been.
Well, you're thinking like that's probably not the first one.
Bingo, yeah, like the muscles have been.
But he said my heart,
created,
He said my heart goes out to you. That's what
I know. But that's a weird way to throw it.
I know, but that's what I've been bouncing back and
Is that
forth
what he's really saying? I didn't hear the audio. He was
the audio is his heart goes out to people, but not to people past first row, because if you're throwing like that, I don't know
how far it goes.
I don't know how far that's going. Yeah, we talked yesterday. There's a lot of different ways to throw something.
Unless it was a frisbee-shaped heart.
Yeah, you're right. Could have been a frisbee. That is, I guess that's.
No, frisbees.
You throw that underhand as well.
You still.
That way.
You think he's got snap? I don't think so.
Come on.
He's got snap in the.
I guess
in the bowl.
Everybody's different. Nick did twirl.
Yeah, because you can.
True.
That's very true. You can bring it back here and throw it that way.
Yeah, but there's also I got C in frisbee in college.
You gotta be good.
I couldn't get that one.
Yeah, Elon doesn't have that one.
I thought we were watching this morning.
The final stone skipping comp on ESPN the Ocho. This is a Western Pennsylvania thing, I think. And we got video actually of the GOAT, Kurt Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a big-time championship skip of the stone. Now, obvious the goal is to look cool and to skip the shit out of a rock. And the camera people have been maybe the worst in the history of any sport.
Look at that.
42 skips right there.
My God.
Boom.
42 skips right there from Kurt Steiner. Okay.
That follow through.
He's from Erie, Pennsylvania, which is obviously Western Pennsylvania. There's a couple competitors from Tidiute in Franklin, Pennsylvania as well. I believe this was hosted in Franklin, Pennsylvania. As a former rock skipper, Crick boy, I feel like I wish I would have found out about this. Let's go to Hammer, Dahn, Town. I think our street in general with the cricks, because Hilly Town, and where I was on the street, it was the bottom of all the hills. So there's creeks, there's a lot of them. So easy thing to do if you got shit to do is just we're skipping rocks. Now, finding the rocks is a big deal. These guys are allowed to bring their own rocks to the skipping competition. So they're finding these rocks, curating these rocks, probably these rocks in this entire thing. Tone, I think we could have kept up with these guys whenever we were younger as we were watching it this morning on ESPN the Ocho.
Yeah, I mean, we're cut from the same cloth. We cut our teeth in the same region there, skipping rocks. So I don't think there's any reason to believe we couldn't. And, we were river kids, and, everyone knows the river rock. It's much better than a lake rock as far as skipping is concerned. And I was actually thinking this morning as I was watching, I was like, I probably throw the way that I do because of skipping rocks, and that's probably why the pop time was so proficient back in the day.
Yeah.
So, I think we could easily hang
Yeah, because you got to take that thing here.
Yeah.
You got to take that thing here because you're trying to get as low as the water. And that first skip is a very important skip. The camera person has never seen somebody skip a rock. And then they watch 50 people do it, and they still had no idea. They thought that first skip, they were zooming in the rock went straight down. Watch this, you'll see this. The first skip is just like to get that thing going a little bit. And they just, let's keep, every time I got distracted. But I appreciate all the stone skippers out there. Good work.
Yeah, keep it going.
Joining us now is a man who I think would be a terrible stone skipper.
No doubt.
I don't think you can be 6'6" and be a good stone skipper. I think it's going to be tough unless you got those arms that potentially orangutan down to your ankles.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar is probably the greatest because his hands actually go all the way down to his ankles. So it's just, he's really just sidearming that thing. Ladies and gentlemen, future first ballot Hall of Famer. Member of the Bull Ring of Honor down there for the AFC South champions, Houston Texans. Ladies and gentlemen, J.J. Watt.
Yay!
What is that?
What's up, guys?
Oh, cool. You got an Umbro kit on right now? What is that? Who is it? What is that for?
Yeah, we got a Burnley match coming up in about an hour and a half. 1980 retro kit here. We play Plymouth Argyle at 2 p.m. Central Time. So
the whites normally look terrible in yellow. You look very good there.
Phenomenal.
You look very good in that.
Great jersey.
Seems to be a lot of conversation around that topic in that Thunderdome today there. But I appreciate it. I look good in the yellow.
We're talking about the way to throw a heart. Is that what you're talking about?
We played Plymouth Argyle today. Fun fact.
They're good.
Home of the Mayflower. Home of the Mayflower.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's right.
I love that. Plymouth Argyles. They come out 3-5-1. They're ready to go. Or the 3-5-2. They're ready to go out there.
Plymouth Rock.
Yeah, because that's up there in
where they landed.
Yeah.
Named after.
In old Mass. Yeah.
Wow, in New England.
Pilgrims.
Where America was invented, some would say.
Away from old England.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is where this lad is an owner of. Are you guys wearing those tarps? You bring those back? Do you do merch stuff? Do you do other jerseys to make a buck?
I got a bunch of old retros in my closet. Also looking at some stuff in the future. I personally love this old school crest, and I just love it. I would love some incorporation. So anytime I get a chance to wear it, I enjoy it. What do you think? Do you like it?
I can never wear that, me personally. The way I am built, can never wear that. I think yellow's tough.
You wear a lot of stuff, though. You wear a lot of stuff. You look good in
black.
a lot of
You'll see me in dark colors because the way I am built. Yellow would be a tough one for me. But I played for the Colts, and we wore white Spanx on primetime on a regular basis. That wasn't great for me either, So
punters really hate the all-white because Leichler hated the all-white.
Yeah. Your belly button looks like it.
O-lineman, too. A lot of O-linemen.
You weren't big. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. But the white Spanx certainly say this. We were OnlyFans out there, but
you guys are loads.
This is actually an interesting question. I'm very curious to hear the answer. You, D, but did you ever wear any jersey besides the home and away of the Indianapolis Colts? Did they ever do an alternate?
I think we did it one time. We moved the stripes from here to here, and then we had a different helmet one time.
Color Rush?
I think we did white.
I don't think Color Rush came in until 17, 18, right?
We had a Thursday night Color Rush for sure at home. Against the Broncos, I think. All blues.
What was your Color Rush?
All
Was that the helmet?
blues.
Was that the helmet? The different helmet?
The Boys of Summer?
Was that 17, though? And that's Indiana Knights,
Yeah.
you
It's not the-
asshole.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't the Indiana Knights disaster.
No, because she grew up disaster.
Whoa.
Listen,
It's a beautiful dress.
your uniforms are playing for another team. Okay, so I don't want to hear it. You always.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yours were sitting on the couch, so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But you have great. I do like your main uniforms. They're good. They're iconic. You don't mess with an icon. I think that's part of the reason why Indiana Knights didn't work that well. A, because they weren't designed that great, but B, because your normals were good.
Well, and C, it was a 1:00 game because the Colts had no night game, so there was a lot. There was a lot that goes into it. But I do believe the family that owns the Colts take great pride in the tradition of the uniform and the logo and everything like that. Anyways, I'm happy to hear you're not an owner that's super duper greedy and just tries to turn out an alternate jersey just to get a few bucks. Just get a few bucks. Because why would you want to do that for Burnley? Why would you want to get a few more bucks? Maybe sign some free agents. Keep that goalie. Keep that goalie who's he's a real deal. He's a guy, isn't he?
He's a dog. He will be the number one for England at some point. He is a dog.
He's going to be very expensive for you, so maybe we start selling these yellow jerseys.
Yeah.
Maybe we start doing some business out there. Go ahead, comment.
He's going to have to play for the Bengals.
Yeah, wasn't that the deal between you and the goalie? I seen it on the internet.
It was the deal. We were just joking around. He's a big Bengals fan, so we were messing around. And he said, how about you come out of this was before the Bengals played the Steelers, so he was trying to round me up a little bit. He said, how about you come out of retirement and play for the Bengals? And I said, well, if you don't allow a goal the rest of the year, then I'll do it. It's a deal. And we have played 5 games since then. He has allowed 0 goals.
Yes.
And he saved 2 penalties in 10 minutes in the last game. So he took it very seriously. After 3 games, I messaged him. I said, hey, you're taking this a little too serious. He messaged me and he said, how do you eat a whale? 1 bite at a time. And then after this past game, I said, all right, now you're getting real serious. He said, I want this pretty bad, man. So it's heating up a little bit. We still got 18 games left.
Oh, okay. So that's a lot. We're nowhere near it. We're nowhere near the end. But, hey, how do you eat a whale?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Tell him. Do you tell him you don't want a guy to be on your team that eats whales? But nonetheless.
Because he's a Kennedy guy.
What's that?
Because he's a Bobby Kennedy guy.
That's true.
Are whales gluten-free?
Remember they put it on
remember he took a chainsaw and sliced the whale's head off and then put it on top of his car driving back from the beach?
Yeah. You remember this?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
True story.
True story. Yeah.
Drove on top of his Volkswagen.
Tell it.
I'm okay. I'm going to look this
true
up.
story, yeah.
I'm going to do my words. I'm excited to look this up. I don't remember the story at all.
Beached whale. He said, we got to get this thing out of here. Go grab my chainsaw. Sliced his head off, put it on top of his car like luggage back in the day. And
tied it on there.
Yep.
His daughter told the whole story.
Yeah.
That's actually what happened. Here we go.
Boom.
RFK Jr. being investigated for decapitating a whale and driving across state lines with school.
Yeah. It's real. Hey, it's just letting you know.
Yeah.
Just news report. Journalist.
We didn't create this report.
No.
That was actually out there. I didn't. That one. I must have missed that one.
Yeah.
That was middle of season there, September 15th, 2024. Whenever they were out to get everybody.
Oh yeah.
Was Aaron almost the vice president at this time?
Yeah. That was around then. Yeah.
It's amazing what they find out during those times. All right. Anyways. I don't know. You're right. I don't know what Bob did, and maybe he thinks it's healthy, but I don't think that's going to become cuisine for anybody. But if he goes, you have to play for him too, right? This is kind of a thing. Like you would have to play for the Bengals.
Oh, if he does this, I will do it. Yeah, definitely.
Holy shit!
Put it on SeatGeek Ticker. Jage potentially back. He said this past season was the last time.
Yep.
This is the last time anybody will do it. But that defense, they lose their defense coordinator. Lou Anarumo now defense coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. Ben Johnson now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Pete Carroll's name is being linked to the Las Vegas Raiders now. Allegedly, Tom Brady's running that whole thing too. Over there. Tom Brady's running that entire thing. Saints don't have a coach. Jacksonville Jaguars don't have a coach. Aaron Glenn potentially going to the Jets, but they're saying he's also maybe going to the Saints, who aren't able to do in-person interviews for a few days because of snowstorm. Which one of those storylines is most intriguing to you? Jacksonville Jaguars potentially bringing Saleh back. I think Saleh was down there as a coach at one point, knows the Cotton family well, right?
That's correct. He was a linebackers coach down there for a while. He's probably going to get that and have a guy.
Okay, so maybe Saleh goes down to Jacksonville, which hasn't really been chatted about. Liam Cohen just signed an extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, allegedly going to $4.5 million a year as a coordinator, pulling his name from the Jacksonville Jaguar job. Which one of those stories you think is most intriguing? Like Ben Johnson in Chicago, does that change anything? Aaron Glenn, if he goes to the Jets, does that change anything? Like, which one do you think we should pay attention? Pete Carroll getting back. Which one do you like the most that is kind of being lingered right now, or have already happened?
I got a few thoughts. On the coaching situations right now. I think, Chicago has to be excited. Obviously, we have no idea what's going to happen, but it feels like they got the number one hot ticket guy of this coaching carousel, and that seems like a change from the past, in my opinion. I mean, unless there's something that I'm forgetting or missing here, this seems like, holy shit, the Bears actually got the guy. They have the young quarterback. They have some of those pieces that you feel like you add a great coach to it and they have a chance to flourish. So if I'm a Bears fan, I'm sitting there extremely excited right now. Obviously, a long way to go. We'll see what happens. But overall, with this coaching circuit, I think it's partially to do with the rule changes for when you can do your interviews. But it does seem like it's taking a little bit longer than coaching carousels normally take to fill out. And it also feels like coaches are being much more selective in how they are going about teams. It's not just, can I get a head coaching job? It's, I want to land in the right situation with the right quarterback, with the right GM, with the right organizational structure. I do think that's starting to play into effect more, where head coaches aren't just like, I'll take any job just to become a head coach, because they're starting to see that if you get in the wrong situation with the wrong ownership or the wrong team or the wrong makeup or the salary cap, you could be one and done, and that could ruin your only shot.
Yeah, but you get a guaranteed contract. There's always a fine balance. And I'm intrigued to see what Cliff Kingsbury decides to do, because he says he's not doing any interviews until their run is over. Ben Johnson, he didn't sign on to be the coach of the Chicago Bears until immediately after the Lions lose. Then the Lions fans got all pissed off. Lions fans, basically kicked him out the door. Hey, thanks for nothing, bud. You brought us back to real prominence and relevancy and number one seed in the NFC, and our offense was electrifying to watch. Going to a game was so much fun. We were obviously scoring more than the other team. Great. Haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
But the way we were scoring was explosive, and you brought the best out of a lot of people that we haven't had. With that being said, he went to the Chicago Bears. You're already trying to put a staff together. Go fuck yourself. That is what a lot of people in Detroit were saying, right?
That's what everyone's saying. I still don't understand it because we still have MCDC. We still have Jared Goff. We still have that incredible weapons around him. We still have a great defense. We still have so many pieces. We're the back-to-back NFC North champions. So I personally am not afraid of Ben Johnson, but it sounds like a lot of Lions fans are afraid, and they're deflecting here.
Okay, I like that you're calling it afraid as opposed to just mad. What are your thoughts on this particular situation with Ben Johnson and the Detroit Lions and now the Chicago Bears?
I can understand being disappointed that your great offensive coordinator is gone and the fun football that you've been watching. Now you have to hope it keeps happening. But I don't understand the anger. I don't understand like this, why is he taking this job? Like, you get a chance to be a head coach in the National Football League. This is a chance that you dream about from the day you start coaching. And you should be happy for him because that means your team has been successful. You know, there's other teams out there who are complaining that their coaches have never had coordinators hired to be head coaches other places. You have both of your coordinators looking at other jobs and being the two top candidates in the entire coaching carousel. That means you're doing something right. That means you have a great organization. That means everything is going well where you are. And that also means that your head coach picked those two guys. So maybe you should trust him that he's going to pick two more great guys and fill in those roles. So I don't think there needs to be all this fury. Be happy for him. I have a feeling a lot of players in that locker room are happy for him because he made them look great and play great. And they also know how hard he worked and how big of a dream this is for him. So I don't understand the extreme anger about it.
Amen.
It's because it's in the division.
It's in the division, and he's been talking to Dennis Allen about joining his staff. So the Lions fans are like, whoa, I thought we were paying attention to winning games or whatever.
Kingsbury said hey, I'm not going to even entertain any of those till after, and then they win, and he's the OC of the other team.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to keep making points to debunk the Detroit's anger. Like, Cliff Kingsbury has already been a head coach. He's already got a head coaching guarantee contract he's still getting paid off. Ben Johnson's never been a head coach before. So Ben Johnson, not just in the last 4 days before the Commanders-Lions games, has reached out to people to say, hey, would you join me? This has been happening probably for years.
Exactly, and he's earned this.
Didn't they put up 500 yards of offense, too, in this last game?
Yeah, but he was saving plays for Caleb, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's kind of the word on the street.
Yeah, that J-Mo pick he dialed up.
See how much nonsense this is? This is why I don't understand why Lions fans are upset. It makes no sense. They're acting like this has never happened in the NFL before. It happens all the time.
I think it makes a ton of sense.
How often?
Rarely in division.
Yeah, how often the guys go? That's why.
If you want to be mad at the Bears head coach and you want to say, I don't like the Bears head coach because I'm a Detroit Lions fan, that's fine.
Yes.
But to be mad at him, the coordinator, for leaving your team, that I don't understand.
Okay, well, fans can do fan stuff. And
Right.
I'll tell you what, the Lions' expectations are really high now. Are you going to be able to do it without OC and DC that have led you to this prominence? Now, I think MCDC is able to find guys. I think MCDC's culture is settled in there. But this is what your world is now. This is what a winning franchise is like.
Well,
you lose your coordinators.
100%. And honestly, that's why I'm not that worried about the Bears or the division. AJ says it all the time. Who cares about winning the NFC North when you want to win a Super Bowl? And so now I'm looking at Nick Sirianni. He went and found 2 new coordinators. It took a year, and now he's back in the championship weekend. So hopefully MCDC can do the same thing.
Yeah, and it's an NFC East championship weekend. I thought the NFC North was the one.
Yeah, they shit the bed.
geez.
It's not.
Big time.
Oh, gee.
Foxy, what's your window? Foxy, what's the Detroit window? What does it look like right now? If you don't win this next year.
No, we got a lot of young guys. We got Goff for a couple more years. I mean, the roster's so young, and MCDC is going to have them ready to go. So I still think we're right there. I'm not worried one bit about that.
Okay, we have some breaking news out of the NFL. The New York Jets have officially hired Aaron Glenn as their next head coach to be the leader of Men at One Jets drive over there in New Jersey. Obviously, Aaron Glenn played, coached, understands that building over there, and what he's been able to do with Detroit with injuries to every starter, basically, while still remaining the defense coordinator of a team that would end up being the number 1 seed in the NFC before losing a devastator to the Washington Commanders, is now a head coach in the NFL. You know, the last couple of years, his name has been floated in a lot of different jobs. I think last coaching cycle, if he would have won all in, he probably could have got a head coaching job with how great he has done and the turnaround that has happened up there in Detroit. Now, he seemingly has found the job that he wants, going back into New York, New Jersey area to lead the Jets to potential prominence. I'll start with you, Jage. What do you think about Aaron Glenn getting the head coaching job with the Jets? And this was kind of an unkept secret for like the last 4 days, seemingly. Everybody knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, I like it. I think every single person you talk to talks about how prepared and how ready he is to be a head coach, how they think he's going to have great success. I think the fact that he was a first-round pick for the Jets, that he was a scout for the Jets, I think somebody being in that organization before, not necessarily from the success of it, but from caring about it, from having a passion about it, from not just being an outsider who's never had any connection before. He's going to want to do something great with that. He's going to want to change the fortunes. He's going to want to be the one to take it to that next level. Now, obviously, you've got to figure out some things there. You've got the quarterback situation. You've got that future. But you win in New York, you can basically write your own ticket in that city. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how that goes.
Yeah, and you'll be on TV forever. You know, if you go to New York, you have a job in TV forever. He's got a guaranteed contract now at head coach, which is going to be big money, especially with the success that he's had. We just saw Ben Johnson allegedly sign for $13 million with the Chicago Bears. D-Butch, your thoughts on Aaron Glenn?
You're slamming the guaranteed contract. I like it. It's little, the players got to start.
I mean, there's a lot of players. Hopefully, with the new NFLPA, after we lay off 150 people, 150 people got laid off? Did you know we had 150 people?
I didn't know. I was just about to ask, what do they do?
500.
Yeah, like 530 or like 525.
500. NFLPA, 530. Yeah. Laid off 150, you won't even know it. Still have a thing. Yeah, we got to up the fees. 500
full-time employees?
150 people got laid off. And they're getting paid a year worth of, full time, 500 something. NFLPA. Got to up the fees too, though. Got to build up the war chest. Got to build up the war chest. Yeah. For who? For who do we have to? Have you guys got anything done? What do we? 500.
Oh, we've lost. We're getting crushed on CBAs left and right.
Every single thing. Merch deals, contract. I mean, everything. TV. You name it. L. We need more employees to get it right. We need more employees. Actually, we need more people that we can spend these doofuses' money that they're just giving us blindly. Remember, used to have rats walking around the locker room before us.
That's right.
Guys used to have to work 3 jobs before us. Guys used to smoke cigs in the building before us.
Wow.
We saved it.
Should bring that back.
Thing, we need to hire 100 more people. Yeah. To do what? Well, to do it.
What are you talking about?
To do what?
Keep the lights on.
Doing it, man. Doing it. Who do you think puts these slides together? The rats in the locker room. Who do you think does this?
Come out of nowhere.
Who do you think does this pity party every single time we come around and get you at the end of your work day after you've worked already 9 days on a Thursday and they have a meeting? Any questions? $11,000 bucks.
Those meetings are the biggest joke of all time.
We got our Madden check. We got your Madden check. As soon as we get out of here, everybody's going to just pick up a check for doing nothing. $13,000, $15,000. Any questions? Madden checks on deck. Any questions? That's what we thought. All right, see you later, everybody. Yeah, we got to go to the next town. All right, 600 people. Let's go up. Let's go over do the same song and dance over here. These fucking idiots don't know anything. Bang, right into the next one. Hey, any questions? That's what I thought. All right, pick it up. Show goes on. Staying at the Four Seasons too. Yeah. What every suite that you have. Four Seasons.
We're gonna vote for your team rep, and he's gonna be cut the next year. And we're gonna vote for a new one, and he's gonna be cut the next year. We're gonna vote for a new one. He's gonna be cut the next year. Oh, you don't want to be a rep? Why? I don't know, because they've all been cut every single year after they become the rep.
Yeah, Mawai? Is that the center?
Kevin Mawai.
Hall of Famer. Unbelievable. Becomes president of the NFLPA. Can't get a job. Yeah, you're retired now. Oh, great. So who ends up being the reps that are voting on all these things?
Long snappers.
Bingo. It is. It's an interesting dilemma over there. But I think the NFLPA laid off the bad 150 people.
Yeah.
And we hope they get new jobs. And we're thankful that as players that we could just send a check blankly and you have a job. Way to go. They're getting it right over there.
They'll figure it out.
They're getting it right over there. But the head coach guaranteed contract, the reason why it's such a big deal is because $13 million, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, I mean, you're getting paid throughout the entirety of that check. You're a baseball player. You're an NBA guy. So if a ownership or organization wants to change their mind after a year, you could be a professional golfer making more money than most of them other than Scotty Scheffler for the next 4 years getting paid off of last year, the year before. Cliff Kingsbury's still getting paid off the Arizona Cardinals deal.
McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels still getting paid. He's up to New England. Congratulations, New England.
Oh,
Josh McDaniels
still getting paid from the Raiders.
Is now the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots while he's still getting Raiders checks. I mean, it's insane how it works. But yes, NFLPA is going to figure it out, Jage. NFLPA is going to figure it out. They got the right 350 guys there.
Yeah, they do.
They got the right in ladies. D-Bud has a question for you, Jage.
I'm going to ask you about the defensive fronts left in the conference championships. Who do you have, I guess, the most confidence in going forward to win these things and get to the Super Bowl?
I mean, obviously I'm a Houston guy, and I just watched Karlaftis take it to tight ends. You can't. I'm just gonna. You can't block guys with tight ends. I'm just gonna say that right now. Chris Jones, obviously up there as a beast. That first sack that he had, he just ran straight past. That was a tough one, and they got Omenahu back. He wasn't out there the last time that they played the Bills, so he's great. I think the Eagles front is phenomenal. So I think my top two would be the Chiefs and the Eagles right now. We'll see how Jaden handles that, but the Chiefs just. They blew through the Texans, and Spags at the end of the game brought heat. I mean, it was perfect. He brought heat at the right time, and they hit and they hit and they hit, and so it just closed out the game. He knows what he's doing. There's a reason he's possibly a Hall of Famer as only an assistant coach. It's incredible.
I think he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer as an assistant coach. Every time they put out stats about what he's done, nobody else has done it, basically, in most of the success and wins and everything like that. Let's talk about that game a little bit. The storyline of this game is the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and the refs want the Chiefs to win. As a Houston Texans homer, as a citizen, I believe, of Houston now, as a guy who's in the Bull Ring of Honor in Houston, what were your thoughts on how the stripes worked and calls like this happening where Patrick Mahomes almost lost his entire skull?
Damn it.
And everybody said, and then he's flopping on the sideline as the face of football. Age, what was your big takeaway from the chatter that followed this convo, which is the Chiefs are in bed with the refs, and it's very obvious, which is pretty much the sentiment.
Age or Jage?
Jage.
Sorry, you said age.
Jage.
Oh, me.
That is confusing, though. A couple J's left.
The two calls everybody's talking about, I think, are justifiably talked about. I think that they're legitimate. I think it was great how Troy called them out. I think that was all great. I also think it's absolutely absurd that they've come out after the fact and said, no, we made those calls correctly. Let's just, the whole country agreed. Don't even get into that. Now, what I will say is Pat is notorious for knowing how to take full advantage of the rules. He's a great quarterback because he does everything great, not just on the field playing and everything, but he also knows how to take full advantage. He'll slide late. He'll stay tightrope along the sidelines and make you hit him so it looks like he's out of bounds. He'll do all these things. Don't blame him for that one bit. I would do it too if they were giving me the calls. To me, that's more on the refs, which is why I was happy to see that they didn't throw a flag on that sideline one, because they weren't going to give that. So hopefully you're sending the message that that's not going to work for us anymore. But those two other calls, the reason they lost the game? Absolutely not. You can't complain about the refs as the reason we lost. We'll see you in the next round how it keeps going. See you tomorrow.
Whoa.
Not bad.
Okay, Jay.
Holy shit.
Okay, Jay.
That was pretty good.
Not how you. I just started talking bullshit at the end of that. I knew I had to wrap it up.
No, hey, listen. Every once in a while, you got to find an exit. There's been multiple times I've been on TV and there's no exit in sight. With where I'm at, and I have somebody telling me in my ear, "Hey, we gotta go," and it's like, I don't know where you want me to go, bub. There is nowhere for me to head to, and then the brain just starts. How do we get out of this? And it's like, talk back. Wish I could say. We got about 4 to 5 more takes in this thing. I don't know where you want me to go. You found an exit perfectly, I'd say. And that was real hosting stuff.
That was great.
Yesterday, we sent it to a break, and we didn't go to a break. And then we're on for another 45 seconds.
It worked today.
But that was certainly something.
Nice.
That was certainly something. So you guys,
yesterday was impressive, huh? I mean, you guys had to be a tough day.
Yesterday was a massive day. What day is today? Wednesday. Yeah, so Tuesday was a massive day digitally for us because National Championship Monday night kind of carries in to Tuesday. Huge day digitally. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Bubba Gumpino. Gumpy, huge day on the interwebs for the old Pat McAfee Show.
Massive day on X on Monday and Tuesday.
What was it?
83.9 million impressions.
It's today. It was huge. Big
Fucking
days.
awesome.
But so I used to, with X and Twitter, you can always see those numbers. Like in the back end of it, if you pay for the blue check mark now, you get that. If before you used to have a blue check mark to get that and had it, I would always check it. And the numbers would be wild. Like X and Twitter has always been a platform that I've focused on. That's always been where I live since the very beginning. That's literally the only thing I've really done. You as well, I believe. And like the numbers would be huge. And I'd be like, I don't want to post these because I don't know if these are big numbers. Like, I don't know what's a big number. You know, like I don't know. Like if I put this out, is somebody just going to fucking...
Yeah, comparatively.
Yeah, who's this? Yeah. Who's this on? Now we're at the point where it's like, I think people should see what ours are at least, and then let's see what is everybody else. 80-some million in 2 days is a wild day on X. And I'll tell you what, whenever you're having those numbers, you get a lot of people that don't like you on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people are seeing it. A lot of people that like you are seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Focus on those ones.
A lot of people that hate you are seeing it as well.
People hate Russell Wilson.
They shouldn't. Did you see Russ on the show? Did you see any of him talking to us?
I saw him. I didn't have the sound on. My son was watching Moana, so I had Moana.
Nice. Oh, I understand.
I didn't have the sound on. What did I miss?
Listen, kid, I can go on and on. I can explain every natural phenomenon. You know,
It's a good movie, man.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
a good movie. I'm going to see 2 this afternoon. I've heard mixed reviews on 2, but
no, it's good.
going to see 2.
I've heard great
things.
It's unbelievable.
Just like the red one, The Rock's in it. It's going to be good. So that is just what you need to know. Moana 2 is going to be good because of it. Russ is just like Russ, I think. I think he's always Russ. I think it's similar to what you had to deal with there for a bit. You were being portrayed as this superhuman, perfect guy, right? And I think you sensed it and you backed away from everything because you were kind of over that being a thing. Not that you're not a superhuman and a good guy, but whenever everybody is like saying, and like pushing it and thrusting it basically in people's faces, humans are naturally going to start hating that thing. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Everything is professional wrestling. Like, that is life. So, like, Tim Tebow had it. I think you had it for a bit. Russ is very much in the middle of this type of thing, too. Like, look at this perfect guy. Huh? Isn't he perfect?
He is.
He is perfect. Look at this guy. He's doing all by himself a fake drive down the field with a sky cam right over top of him. He's going through the huddle. He's visualizing everything. And it's like, is Russ doing that from the cameras? Gotta be. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. So he's kind of been a victim of that thing. After talking to him, it feels like he is who I think he's being portrayed to be. And maybe some of it is a little corny, but I think he's just trying to be a good force in this world, especially in sports. So I respected him coming on, and I thought he did a great job.
And I think there's also a thing that's like, okay, how long does somebody have to do it? Let's call it an act or not. How long do they have to do it before? No, that just is who they are. If they are acting, that is a 15-year act that is gone on, and that is who they are. I mean, the guy goes to the hospital every single Tuesday for his entire life. Like, do you think he's just putting on this every Tuesday and he's like, at some point these people are going to see it? No, he's just doing it because that's what he does. That's who he is. I know mine obviously is a little bit different, but I agree. There was a time where I went through that there's definitely a time where I wanted people to think that, like, oh, Captain America, all this perfect and everything, and you try and portray everything. You want to control every interview. And I think there's a part of that where you're a little, I don't know if it's scared or worried. You're like, I don't know if people would actually like you if you just were yourself. You're supposed to play a character. You're supposed to be this perfect image. You're leading a franchise. You're doing these things. You want to give out the perfect image. And then there just comes a point where you're like, nah, like, I can't. For me, I was like, I can't do this forever. Like, and if people didn't like it, so I was like, fuck it. If they're not going to like me anyway, might as well just
be myself.
Just be normal. And so,
is there an imposter syndrome that comes in there too? Like, I wonder about that. You know, like Tim Tebow. The way he was being covered was as if he was Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's holy shit.
Still might be.
Jesus playing
might
football.
be. I mean, we don't know.
Jesus is a lefty. I don't know if we knew that. And he plays quarterback for the Florida Gators. Like, that is how he was being portrayed. You remember? We all remember it. That was like ESPN. That was literally sports media. I wonder if there's ever the weight of that.
No doubt.
Has to be real.
No doubt. Yeah, because they're like, okay, at some point, like, I'm a normal human here. Like people are gonna, at some point, they're gonna turn on you. And also, that's something with our society. They want to build people up, but then they also want to turn on. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how great you are, doesn't matter how much success you have. They want to see the rise, and they also want to see the fall. So it's knowing that that's also there at some point too. It's an interesting place to be. I wasn't at that level, but it's got to be interesting.
You're up there, brother. You're up there. I mean, you're on every. We saw a lot of Jade there.
It's happening now.
Saw it
with some people. Like, I know right now the tide has turned a little with Jason Kelce, just because he's on so many things.
Exposed everywhere.
Yeah, and I think JJ has brought this up before. Like, a lot of times, like, hey, look, people are offering you money to do stuff. Like, who are you? You got a family, you have things. Like, who are you to say no to these
Guy
things?
out of Cleveland.
Yeah, but, like, exactly. And, he has his own business to run and things of that nature. But you can kind of sense that on the internet, at least. Like, he's in a lot of commercials. He's doing a lot of shows. And, of course, a Philly guy. Like, there are people who know him as just like, hey, center offensive lineman, and now people don't know him as that anymore, and so naturally people are turning.
We are scared. Like, obviously. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
There also is a figuring out of wading through the waters of that world if you've never been in it before. I mean, you mentioned, like, yes, he's been extremely famous. He's been an offensive lineman his whole career, the Super Bowl, he had the speech and all of that, but he hasn't necessarily had a lot of the same commercial opportunities coming his way, the TV show opportunities, night show opportunities. So you're wading through these waters for the first time with people just throwing offer after offer after offer and opportunity after opportunity at you. And everything sounds incredible because you've never had it at this level before. So people are like, we'll give you X amount of dollars for this commercial. It takes 1 day to film. That amount of money for 1 day? Absolutely. We'll give you this amount of money to have your own show and you can have your wife on and your kids. Yes, that sounds great. I would love to do that. You don't at the moment think about like, oh, these people are going to backlash against me for this or that, for the other thing. And as you go through it, then you start to learn what you really love to do, what you want to do, what makes sense from a financial and a time commitment standpoint, and blending it all together and trying to find that right thing. The first time you go through it, man, it is hard to say no. It's almost impossible because you're just like, this is unbelievable.
We appreciate you saying that, telling your story, obviously, because you were a part of that whole thing. And we think Jason Kelce is going to be just fine in the long term. No. But there's been a lot. And as somebody who's on TV a lot, me, Age, the boys, we're out there a lot. There's a lot of us. Like, the commercial world, that's when you're showing up when people don't know you're going to show up. Like, I feel like where we are now, everybody knows where we're going to be. Okay, the assholes are showing up. The asshole is going to be on this. The commercial thing is like, now you're just in every bang, bang, bang.
Truly getting shoved down people's throats.
Yeah, so that's a big decision to be made when you get in the commercial world. Obviously, you've done a great job. Your commercials have been very well received this year, I think, right? Don't you think all your commercials have been very well?
Thank you. Yeah, they've been great. They've all been good. Dodge has been great. They helped my foundation a lot, which was cool. The Dodge Ram. The Dick's one with that was awesome. The
Peloton,
Christmas one. So
the taco one.
But that's one of those things I'm talking about. Like I'm trying to pick and choose and have a little more input in the creative, so that when it goes out there, I'm really proud of it, and I'm like this. I'm okay with it so the ones that I do now, if people have backlash on them, I don't care because I am 100% completely comfortable and confident in them, and that's just somebody who wants to be met.
Love that. All right, another guy that's probably going to experience this going forward is maybe having the greatest rookie year in the history of the NFL. And somehow we're saying that after what C.J. Stroud was able to do last year. AJ has a question for you. JJ,
I wonder your thoughts on the Commanders as a whole. Obviously, they're taking on Philly. I've said before, like I think they have a chance to win this game for sure. I think they got something special going on. What are your thoughts on the Commanders, Dan Quinn, obviously Jaden Daniels, and his historic run as a rookie quarterback?
I think it's awesome to watch. The way he handles himself, the poise, the calmness, the confidence, the ability, the talent, it's unbelievable. And then B, I think it's the perfect example of what happens when all the stars in an organization align. Clearly, the Commanders had a problem for many, many years and struggled for many, many years under previous ownership. They change ownership. They hire a new head coach. They have a new GM. They get a rookie quarterback, and all of those things combined to create a successful situation and basically an incubator for an explosive success, and that's what we're seeing right here. So I think of it as, you look at all these other owners around the league, and I think of this coaching carousel that we're going through right now, and I always picture these front offices meeting with their owner, and the owner sitting down and pointing to the Commanders and saying, why can't we do what they just did? They have a new coach, a new GM, and a rookie quarterback, and they're in the NFC Championship in their very first year. We're about to have a new coach. This guy better have us in the championship this next year. Why can't we do that? And I just laugh because of how unrealistic and how crazy that is, but the Commanders did it, and it's a top-to-bottom change. They had a full, complete change of philosophy. They changed an entire organization which had a history of struggling for the last 20-plus years, and they changed it all in 2 years, 1 year really with the coach and GM. It's just a credit to when everything aligns. And it also speaks to what happens if we put quarterbacks in good situations as opposed to young quarterbacks in tough situations.
What are the names of that team over there in D.C.? What are the names of that team? It was the
football team?
The Commanders.
My favorite.
Yep.
And then what was the football team's your favorite one?
Yeah.
But not their fans seemingly have another favorite one.
Yeah, they don't like the other two.
They like one of them.
We were having a conversation about this on the CBS desk the other day.
Did you guys say it on air? You guys said it on air?
No, but this is the conversation that we were having because we were watching an interview with one of the former players, and he was talking about. He said, "I got drafted by the Washington Redskins," and they were like, "I don't know if you can say that on air." And I'm like, "Well, that's how would you say that if you were drafted in 1995? What team do you say you were drafted like?"
Well, we know how you would say it. We just found out.
Yeah. Say the other team.
Yeah, yes.
The other franchise?
Yeah, potentially the other one. Terry McLaurin was actually drafted to that Washington team when they were known as the
Washington Redskins. That was the name of the team.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit, let him fly.
This show.
Captain America.
Ever since.
How would you throw your heart if you had to throw it to a group of people?
Yeah.
Not that way.
Maybe overhand throw.
What is the way you would do it? We talked about a few different styles. Cricket might have been the one.
Cricket's
I mean, if he would have grabbed that and then just started doing it.
I like the frisbee. It's just I like the frisbee out. Like
Got a good wind up.
Yeah.
that was a long ass cricket throw.
Yeah, you got to split the wicket somehow.
I throw it to a bunch of people there.
That's all. That's as far as I get watching one of those games. I try, and then I see the whole run up and the run. I go,
The highlights are electric.
They are sweet.
That's all I see.
Yeah.
That's all I see is the full on.
Oh, you watch
They
cricket?
have like
dude?
3-month games, don't they?
Nah, I think
Years.
It can last that long.
I think that's bullshit.
Everything's coming up Burnley. Greatest English cricket bowler of all time, Jimmy Anderson. Grew up in Burnley.
Jimmy. Was he a lefty or righty? I couldn't even imagine being a southpaw in that world.
I think there's some
believe
countries
he's
that
a
have
righty.
a bone to pick with that.
I've never seen a lefty.
Yeah, India probably.
There's some countries that have a bone to pick with that. I said he's the
Yeah,
greatest
you know.
English bowler of all time.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
okay.
Well, the sun never set on the English Empire too. So what do you really, about that? You know about the history?
I know some history. I don't know all of it.
Should look in.
I watched Gladiator 2 the other day. Does that count?
How was it?
I mean, after one, like nothing compares to one.
I've heard it's very good.
Denzel.
Though. I've heard it's really good.
It
the
is.
second
I
one.
love Denzel. Denzel's awesome. I love.
I think
Is it worth watching?
it's better. But
You think it was
Yeah,
better?
I mean, it's always
The original's
it's still a
definitely-
Gladiator movie.
Yeah.
it's Gladiator.
You think 2 is better than 1?
No, the original, in my opinion, is better. But 2 is great. But the original,
Okay.
But it's not one of those one where they embarrass the franchise.
absolutely.
Yeah, did too much.
Absolutely not.
Definitely
Not
not.
embarrassed franchise.
Do not embarrass the franchise.
It's no Dune 2, but
Great movie.
Don't embarrass the program.
There's program.
Connor's got a question for you, Jage.
yeah, Jage, I believe right now the Eagles are the betting favorites. If they're not the lone favorite, they're either tied with the Chiefs or it's right around the same number. But how do you feel about the Eagles? They're the odds right there. They are the betting favorites. How do you feel about the Eagles' chances? And the question really right now is, hey, can Jalen Hurts get it done? Does he worry you more so than the other facets of their team? Or what do you think their chances are looking ahead?
I mean, I've been saying it for a while now. I think their defense is the undersung hero here as opposed to the offense. I don't think Jalen has to shoulder the load for the entire team. I think he has Saquon. I think he has a great offensive line. I think he has a great defense who's been playing well. Jaylen Carter's playing out of his mind. So I don't think that he has to shoulder that whole load. But I also don't think that you can have a betting favorite not be the Kansas City Chiefs at the moment, just based on their history, based on what they do, based on how they find ways to win. So I don't think that that's, in my opinion, accurate, but I do think that the Eagles are set up for success because of how they are built, and they don't expect Jalen to have to win it on his own.
Hey, Jage, we appreciate the hell out of you. There's one last question coming to you live from Hammer, Dahn. AP, Tone?
Yeah, Jage, I did have a question about, how the Rams kind of handled Jaylen Carter and how everybody handles Jaylen Carter. They double-teamed him on over 50% of all of his pass rushes, which I assume you have dealt with many, many times. And then in the fourth quarter, they were like, you know what? I think we had this guy handled. And they just tried to single him, and then he was let free. Like, does that ever happen?
Yeah, so this is crazy. It's a crazy phenomenon about playing defensive line, and it's something you have to learn because it's one of the only ways to keep yourself motivated through a game where you're getting doubled all the time, because it's unbelievably frustrating and aggravating. So you're getting doubled, you're getting doubled, you're getting doubled. But what happens as the game goes on, I'm interested to hear AQ's perspective on this, is teams start to fall back into their routine ways as opposed to what they game plan for this game, because the game gets going. Maybe you're getting into 2-minute drills, whatever it may be. You're setting your protections and you're going. You're setting your protections and you're going. Or you're calling plays that these guys have known since training camp, not necessarily to game plan for this week. So all week long, the plan has been double Jaylen every time, no matter what. But then as you start to get into the fourth quarter, you're falling into those old habits and those old play calls, and you just going by your training camp rules as opposed to this week's rules. And I found as a defensive lineman, that's when I made a lot of hay, was in that fourth quarter, and that's what kept me going through all those double teams, knowing at some point they're going to screw up and give me a one-on-one, and that's when I have to win.
That's where that 10% luck comes in.
Well, I think the other interesting thing, too, is with double teams, I'd love to know how this is categorized and how they're figuring out if it's a double team or not. There's certain guys, JJ, you were one of them. It was, hey, we're going to slide to 99 regardless of where he's at. Aaron Donald was one of them, right? But, like, even if you remember early in your career when you had Wade Phillips as your D coordinator, he would always set the mic to the 3 technique. So we could do that. And the same thing whenever he went to LA, he would set the mic to that. Well, then they bring Staley in, and now Aaron Donald's over here and the mic's over here. So you got to pick your poison. Are we going to Aaron or are we going to the mic? And then also, if it's a 3-by-1 protection, the nickel's out going to be over the slot to the 3-by side, which is also where the 3 tech is if you're a nickel over team, right? So then the center's always going to slide to the 3 tech, right? He's always sliding to the mic and the Sam. So
everybody knows that.
Yeah, right. And so, like, at the end of the day,
of course,
whenever this happens,
We're just joking.
just listen for a sec. You're always
You know a lot of football.
You're gonna slide. You're gonna slide to the mic in the protection. So is that really a double team, or is that just part of the protection? I guess is the center's going to be uncovered.
I've gotten a lot. There has been many Mike 99 games in my day where they don't mic the mic. They mic the D lineman. I know Aaron Donald's faced that as well. There's a few guys that face that. There's nothing more frustrating than when you walk out for the first play of the game and they go Mike 99. You're like, oh shit, this.
So explain that. Mike 99 is they're setting the protection off of you. Normally, whenever they say Mike's this, that's who they're counting in, counting out, right?
That's right. It's normally Mike's 52, and then you make your sort call, you make your slide call, whatever it
Why
is, right?
Mike 52? What does that mean?
That's his number.
Yeah, but why?
Is that the starting point for you guys?
Well,
Like,
so you always read the protection, right? So you look at the defense. If it's too high, then the slot's probably going to be the Sam. The next guy ends the Mike. The next guy's the Will. If it's one high, now the free safety's down over here. He's the Will. The next guy ends the Mike. The next guy's the Sam.
So what do you do for your protection, though?
You just basically find the middle of the 3, and you're going to the middle of the 3. So there's going to be a center, a guard, and a tackle sorting 3 of most dangerous 4 to the Mike. But if JJ or Aaron Donald is away from the mic, we might just say, fuck the mic. We don't care. We will put the back on that guy.
We are sorting to.
We're going to him. No matter what.
It's all a numbers game. It's just a numbers game. They're trying to get the numbers to match up, and that's the easiest way to do it is by doing it with the mic. But then sometimes teams will choose a guy if they're that guy, and they'll just say, we can't afford to have that guy ruin the game for us, so set it to him. And sometimes that means somebody's free on the other side. And if you got a good D coordinator who can take advantage of that, generally it does.
Is TJ Watt okay? Is he happy?
I mean, he's not happy. He'd prefer to be playing right now.
Is he okay?
For a different team?
Is he all right? Is everything okay with Tej? Tej okay? Going to come back stronger than ever?
Yeah, that he's going to do. I can promise you that.
Is he going to play on the other side?
They do need to move him to the other side.
He's going to play on the other side and then maybe in the middle too?
Not just the other side. I mean, we talk about this literally almost daily. But it's not just going to the other side. That's not the easiest solution. You have to move all over the place. You have to make it so they don't know where you're going to be at any time. So they can't sit in their meetings and say, this is where he's going to be and set all their protections. You have to be able to play a 3 technique over the nose. You have to be able to play the other side 3 technique outside. And it also has to be within the defense. The defense has to be willing to do that as well, and you have to have a plan for that. And you got to scheme some stuff up.
And also, if you find a guard who's a fish, right, we can just go here.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
take advantage of the fish, man.
There's a mic'd up segment where you find the guy. I think I've watched it before, where you sit on the sideline, and it's like, yup, we found him. And I think it was a guard. You were going on the inside, and then you just started cooking the guy. And then there's other mic'd up moments where you're like, they picked the wrong guy. You remember this guy?
Oh yeah. Maybe we're just better.
Yeah, and then with all the moments of him, like, this guy flips a switch out there.
Oh, yeah.
We love it. We appreciate you, owner. We do. We appreciate you, man.
I miss it.
Bengals, maybe.
That made me miss it.
You're gonna have to
Maybe James Bradford. If he does it, dude, I would be, because it would be the most incredible feat in the history of sport. I think if he went 19 more games.
Oh,
without getting
yeah.
a goal.
No goals in soccer.
in the G League.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come
that
on,
could be.
Jay.
Impressive.
That could be.
Be impressive.
Never seen
I
it.
would gladly
Better
do
than
it.
3 straight Super Bowls, no doubt.
Starts today, 2 p.m.
Who are we playing again? Plymouth Rock. Argyle.
Plymouth Argyle, bottom of the table, absolute shite.
They're a tough team, though.
Yeah, they got a couple goal scorers.
absolute shite.
They are tough.
Gritty bump.
They got a couple goal scorers that could maybe put this entire Bengals situation in jeopardy.
Oh, yeah. Big Jim.
When James gets it on his left boot,
look out.
He shapes that fucker.
Bends it like Beckham.
They go, what a dig by James, oh Jimmy Lefty. That's why he fucking shapes that thing.
Like Rudy.
And then the Cincinnati Bengals' entire Super Bowl hopes next year.
In the back of the net.
He buries Burnley early. Yeah.
I feel like the Bengals D line's already got a few white guys with arm braces on. I feel like they've got that.
They can use another one.
They're getting shipped.
Yeah, I don't know if Hendrickson's going to be there, is he?
I don't know. He deserves a lot of money. He's earned a lot of money. So we'll see what happens there.
Well,
Jamar Chase has earned a lot of money. Congratulations, buddy. Bet on yourself and won big time.
Still has another year, and then a franchise, and then
I
another.
hate that process. Bring that back to the PA conversation, because I was the first year of that. My first year was the first year of the 2011 CBA. Trent Williams was drafted in my same spot the year before me. I believe he made 4 years, $23 million, and I was drafted in the exact same spot the next year and was 4 years, $11 million, and I had a fifth-year team option. Again, this is all perspective. You can't complain about millions of dollars. No shit. But they had the team option, and then they can franchise you, So the team has control for 7 years. You're screwed, man. I got so angry my rookie year.
Is that where it happened? Is that where it started?
Yeah, I told the rep.
Is that where JJ Wah started? Is that where it started?
Yeah.
Shane was there?
Yeah.
Shane Gillis was there?
I was pissed.
Point
I was
tackle.
pissed. I let them know. I was like, we got screwed here. And they were like, we don't want rookies to have all the money. I was like, well, you have to understand the entire ecosystem.
They didn't understand the ecosystem.
Nope.
We told them that the whole time.
That's why it's snowing in New Orleans.
And they knew you were right. That's why they were like, this guy's name is JJ Wah. They would say this guy's crying. They tried to deflect. That wasn't the case. You were JJ. Wow. Big break.
Yeah, well, at the moment, he's Shane Wah after the national championship.
There is maybe a couple extra L's in that last name, isn't it? Shane Gillis. That's a shame. We don't love that. We may or may not have talked to him since the game, and he is heartbroken. There's a lot of deflecting going on.
Down bad.
Yeah. He's been firing his shots.
He really was. He became the mascot of the team there for the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's the guy. He got paid to do a prayer.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of goes without saying. That's bad juju, probably.
Is that how God...
Example of a good commercial. He chose a good commercial to do because that turned out good.
Yeah, well, I think Shane's creating all these, they give idea and then he is producing it.
Getting it done.
And that's why they are amazing. Super talent, obviously. Well, I'm sorry. Talent.
Yeah.
Shane. Extra L. Gill. What a run by that Notre Dame team.
Has Saban called him since the end of that game?
We had to fool. We don't.
Saban wants to beat the shit out.
Yeah. Yep.
We don't know if that's true. We've not.
What if he did just choke him? What if he went to Shane, just grabbed him, choked him? Like, what would Shane do?
Oh, hi, Shane. All right.
I also want to know this. Maybe you've talked about it, but Ryan Day seemed legitimately mad about the Lou Holtz thing. Has he done an interview? Yeah. Has he done an interview since with you? And was it an actual tense thing, or was he
in the room kind of like this one I just did?
The one where you're sitting down with both of them, and then
yeah, I thought Ryan handled it awesome. I thought it was like hilarious, actually. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious because there was more he said in there that they edited out when he was talking shit to me and to Ty. He was basically like, "What do you guys do? So you guys just sit down and say, how am I going to do something absurd or something like that?" It was very.
Yeah, I saw that, but like there was a part of me when he said you guys have already got me with this shit once.
Yeah,
like it to me made it seem like he was like, all right, guys, like this isn't going to be my running joke. I'm sick of this shit.
No.
So I was wondering if he was actually.
No, look, he was, I thought it was like the best way he can handle. In my eyes, when I was in it, I was like, "This is the best way to handle it." And there was 14 people in that room. I mean, it was a pretty packed room with a lot of people.
Room. Of course,
stiff room. But I thought it was the best reaction personally. Like when I saw it,
I think he handled it great. I just wondered if there was actually a little underlying, like, guys, this is stupid.
So here's the issue for Ryan Day, and he knows this. And it's maybe us taking advantage of a situation. AJ being on this show every day, okay? This guy's like royalty over there in Ohio. Like, actually. You know what I mean?
Rightfully so.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Ohio State I mean, there's a reason. So I think Ryan Day knows our shit. Like, I think Ryan, knows. I think Ryan knows our show. And I think Ryan knows, we are just fucking... I think Ryan... I thought it was great out of Ryan Day.
Me too.
Like, as it happened, and then we were talking about it afterwards, didn't even think, day before a national championship. Like, that didn't even cross our mind.
Yeah.
That was not even a...
Certainly crossed my mind.
For mine, it was not. For mine, it was not even
It crossed mine when I heard it was happening. It crossed mine. I was like, I don't know how it's going to go, to be honest.
See, I didn't even think
that's what happened. That's what crossed my mind. When he was like, I got a guess for it, and in my head, I was like, there's no way he's bringing it out right now.
Oh, see, I didn't even think about it. That's part of the problem, I think, with this entire thing is, we go to Dublin, the crowd in the bar can't hear us. There was no other option other than me drinking 30 beers with these people because they couldn't hear our show. Mm-hmm. These people all came, couldn't hear us, so they're going to at least get something out of this. Zero other option other than chugging beers. Then I wake up the next day and I got a lot of people attack me for that. I'm like, you and I are never going to see things the same. Because in my head, there was no other option, especially for the people being there. In that one, no other option. They're playing Notre Dame. Ryan Day, Marcus Freeman are there. Mm-hmm. I think we're cool with all parties here.
It has just gotten brought up again, in his, a very recent press conference talking about it. That was the big thing.
So in my head, there's no other option. Just so people can get done. There's not even a question of whether or not it's good. And then immediately afterwards, people are like, I can't believe you did that. Some people in the room, and I'm like, what do you mean? I don't even know what you're talking about. And then yeah, probably not at the right time, I guess. But no, it is the right. It was the only right time. You had to be there.
That's what makes it great. That's what makes the show great. That's what makes you great. That's what nobody else on the planet could pull that off. If anybody else, if Tom Rinaldi sat down and tried to bring in a fake Lou Holtz to the interview, that ain't flying. You're the only person that could possibly do that, and it was great.
I thought Ryan Day handled it great. I thought Ryan Day looked good coming out of that piece.
Yes, he did. And also, if that goes absolutely terrible, Pat's going to say, we're not going to run this thing.
Yeah, I don't like getting – I'm a big let's not bury people guy. So if he didn't handle it well, in my eyes, if I didn't think it looked good, we would have said, let's just end it. Yeah. As I say, it's over.
I am surprised you haven't had the golf cart driver on the show yet. I thought we would have that by now.
We had Will. Will's good. Will was sitting right behind her.
That was great.
Told the story.
Yeah, we got to the bottom of it, I think. She was also a menace on the field, which hasn't been – we've only seen – 4 seconds of her driving.
Yeah, her worst moment.
Absolute worst. And I don't know how she didn't kill anybody on the field.
That's any indication?
I don't know how.
They probably got the fuck out the way.
Yeah. Move! She was saying, hitting the horn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's never comfortable to be the people on that cart or in that escort while the people are acting that way, by the way. You always feel uncomfortable. There was this GBI, which I don't know what that is. Is that Georgia Bureau of Investigation? I don't know.
Probably something like
that.
that.
This guy had a fucking thing on. He was my security guy to get me back and forth. He was leading the way.
Playing no games.
None.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
Coach Day he took a neck shot or something there because he was walking a little. I didn't notice it until Will said it, but he was walking a little gingerly there.
Whiplash. Guy just got whiplash. All right, great. I'm a national champion now. I got whiplash.
And my neck kills.
All right, sweet. Gonna feel great. He's gonna be sleeping like a baby tonight. Upright. What a time. What a moment. It'll be remembered forever. And lady, you're doing great. We appreciate your sense of urgency. Now, granted, she had an eye on that wall, though. Very clearly saw the wall.
Depth.
She smiled through it. She smiled right through it.
She
Give
thought
her
she
a lot
had
of respect for that.
How about whenever she was going to back it up? All those dudes, look at this. All those dudes are still sitting on it. Still sitting on it. Hold on. Let me go ahead and lift up and pull. She'll start to pull. All of those people are on there. She's 1,000 pounds probably on there. Let me go ahead and pull this thing out.
That is absolutely totaled, man. That axle is gone. The wheels, everything is just poof.
I wonder if they're going to auction that thing off.
By the way, hold on, even more. They should autograph it and auction it off. Will Howard laughing through it all.
Yeah.
This guy's a guy.
He is.
Will Howard's a guy, I think. That's my biggest takeaway. I think he's a guy. He came on the show, was good on the show as well. I think he's going to be a real deal on Sundays, I think, personally.
I thought that obviously I haven't watched every single Ohio State game of the season, but the way he handled himself in that game and the way he just stepped up to the plate time and time again, Very guy-like, I will say.
How about 3rd and 11, brother, to win it? Deep shot to Jeremiah. I mean, that's,
Just bomb. I mean, unfortunate situation to leave the DB one-on-one there with that for the game on the line. That's tough.
Yeah, Christian Gray, tough spot. They thought it was going to be a run. They went heavy, though. He said he went heavy with all goes. So I assume Notre Dame thought they were going to run one more time, kind of kill our last time out, and then try to play the field position game with McGuire punting it. But instead, I love that Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, Will Howard, biggest moment, biggest decision. What do? Unload the clip.
Let's go win it.
Just like whenever we saw Aaron Glenn for the NFC #1 overall seed.
Yep.
He brought pressure more than any other team the entire season. It's like in the biggest moment, what are you? You scared? Are you going to go?
Be who you say you are.
They went. I like Will Howard a lot.
AJ, are you pissed that everybody keeps saying like the $20 million thing? Like no other team in the league has a $20 million reward. Like, I don't know why you guys seem to get pigeonholed. I keep seeing everybody saying, "Oh, well, yeah, that's what happens when you spend $20 million on your team." I'm like, what do you think other teams are doing? Everybody has enough money. Some reason you guys became the face of having an expensive team.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I think now it's kind of coming around. People that actually pay attention will see like people coming back and letting you know, hey, yeah, like there's other teams that have actually spent more money than Ohio State did. And so, yeah, I mean.
The reason why is because the season started with that narrative. I was a part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a big part of it. I'm like, hey, Ohio State's going all in. They spent $20 million on a roster. They brought this thing, and it's all because of Michigan. What Michigan just did, like this is a make or break year for Ohio State. They're going all in, and it was like openly known somehow. I don't know how we got the information, but it was like openly known. And I'm not saying we broke the news. Other people broke the news. I learned of the news and we're like, yeah, this is even more of an implication that this team's going all in. So I thought it was a vital story to be a part of. I wasn't the only one. Everybody's talking about it. But then as the season goes on, we talked about this a lot. The convo was Ohio State spending, Ohio State spending. A lot of these other schools were like, yeah, Ohio State spending. Ohio State. That was like kind of the story of the year. Because there's big checks coming from a lot of big places. And a lot of them have 4 seasons. A lot of them have inclement weather. Mm-hmm. A lot of them have a lot of wealthy alumni.
Yep.
And I think there's a real conversation going. Caleb Dahn's best player in the SEC as a true freshman last year.
All-American.
Right? True freshman last year. Where's he go? North. Mm-hmm. Quinshon Judkins, best running back in the SEC. Where's he go? North. It's like there's a chance that the North does have a little bit more in the bank when it comes to alumni than the South. How's that going to work out going forward? Are they going to get guardrails on this entire thing so that at least there's some comps in some rules? It's like we're in an interesting time right now, but like Penn States of the world, who have a lot of rich alumni who would like to see their football team play well, in a great spot. Great. SMU even.
Oh, yeah.
SMU has a lot of big money people around them in alumni. They're in a great spot. But I feel like a lot of the schools that have a lot of money around them are now like being enticed to be like, hey, you want some tickets? Yeah, just give us $5 million. We'll pick up 3 players. Yep, boom. Like that's starting to happen now. It's like real deal. But Ohio State was the ones that were being talked about as like the only group that was doing it. And
but the annoying thing was, and Kirk and Dez got into it, but it was more about, even I knew at the moment, a lot of it was retaining your roster. Keep a lot of these seniors, a lot of these older guys came back. Yeah, of course they got some studs, but the majority of the money I think was spent in keeping the guys that were already there.
Well, I think that's a big part of everybody's, Yeah. Like, could Alabama...
That's the thing I'm interested in now, because these two teams just played way deep into after the portal's been open. What's going to happen now after this game? How does that all work? That's part of the reason I said I think that the Rose Bowl on January 1st should be the national championship, is because you got to end this thing earlier so that all this other stuff doesn't keep floating into the different parts of the year, like the NIL, the transfers, all of it. I feel like ending this earlier just makes more sense.
You got a lot of games, bro.
So many games.
It's a lot of games.
It's an NFL schedule now.
It's a lot. But they also got school. Well, they at least have to act like they're doing the school. Like all of them have to act like they're doing the school throughout the entirety of it. It's a lot. This season, this college football playoff was long. It felt like an NBA playoff, where like when the NBA playoffs start, like in a lot of people's eyes, those are the only teams in the league.
Yeah.
Like those are the only teams you're going to see. This college football season, it feels like the college football playoff was so long. Like only the teams that played in the playoffs are going to be talked about in the offseason. Like if you didn't make it to the playoff, it's like that's like 2-3 months ago. Like so long ago, you haven't even played football.
Even the first round of the NBA, people don't even start watching until like the second round sometimes because there's so many blowouts in the first round of the NBA, just like
the college football playoffs.
Used to only be 5 games, remember?
Yeah, now starting with 12.
Count down to 1.
That's how you crown.
The CFP National
Champion.
You heard it. All right, good luck to your Burnley. We'll be back on the other side with D-Butch and AQ Shipley with some film breakdown. Jay, yeah.
Double thumbs up.
No, you got to shoot it, I think. You got to throw the heart. Yeah. All right, sweet. All right, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, owner of Burnley, who's got a big one against the Plymouth Argyles coming up in about 30 minutes or so. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Watt. Thank you. All right, let's take a break. We got some film. We got some accolades. We got some ball to learn on the other side. And then we'll wrap this thing up on a glorious Wednesday. Russell Wilson, first hour. JJ Watt, second hour. Holy shit. People say, wow, a lot of high horse in it.
Yeah.
I say, genuine quality ball talk.
Hell yeah.
With a couple of the lads. I think we fought off some narratives today.
I think so.
For Russ.
No chance. No chance. I think he's one of those people where you either love him or you hate him.
I'm gonna shit my pants. I mean, this last like 6 minutes has been.
Don't use the bathroom in the back.
No, yeah, I know.
Well, it came out of nowhere this morning too. You said
it did.
Your face right there. I said, I think we beat some narratives, and Ty. Just like a full fear set on. Why don't you go to the bathroom?
Okay.
We'll be back on the other side. Got a lot
I
of
want to watch him shuffle off. Can we see him shuffle away?
I can't hear you. I'm gonna shit my pants. I'm not listening.
Yep,
Ty, shit, shuffle, Schmidt. Oh, he's trapped up. He's trapped in here.
No.
Oh, look at that. Whole body Dio is getting sprayed. Smart. Boys, that's smart. He's got sweats on there, light in color. Gonna want to make sure you get to the toilet. We'll be back on the other side. Maybe you should go do that. I don't know what you've been up to if you're watching the program, but maybe go take a dump. Maybe go to the bathroom. Maybe utilize some dude wipes like Ty's about to do. And maybe on the other side, let's get better. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5! Before we get you out of here, there is somebody that has a question, though.
I'm sure I know what this is happening again. These guys got to set me up right here. You guys ain't getting me with this again.
Coach, come on over here.
You've already got me with this a couple times.
Coach, come here.
Listen, Coach Jay, I'm going to start with you, okay? Do we need to take this to a back alley or something?
You are gone.
Listen,
you guys realize that, right? You guys are out of your minds.
I
mean, where do you come up with this stuff? I swear to God.
I mean, we got a weapon.
You guys just stay up late at night and come up with this stuff?
This guy's a good Lou Holtz impersonator.
Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much.
They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now.
That's crazy. And also take us off the fucking team. We do not deserve to. They all commit and love what's going on in that weight room. They all commit and love what Jim Harbaugh's preaching. And everybody in the building's happy. Everybody's like excited to be there.
First row. Mark pressure in the first row. Second row is up here.
It is infectious what they got going on. And how many owners are spending $300 million on a new facility just for the practice facility?
This is Butler Birdies. Wow!
Oh my God! Oh shit!
In the bunker.
Great shot. But then for them to do it upright for the last couple, it's like, look out for the Chargers, dude. Look out for the Chargers.
Coach. Hey, we got a gift for you.
Here we go.
Okay, so we missed your birthday, we missed Christmas. We couldn't have
Whoa, look at that.
Your perspective on high five is one of the greatest things we've ever seen.
A long-time great invention.
I love the high five. Yeah, give each other a high five.
Boom!
Bam!
Boom!
Bam!
Boom! Boom!
Oh my God!
Wow! Boom!
So
we wanted to make you basically something that you could high five. My dad made this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He is talented.
Yeah, boom.
Get that feeling.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Boom, boom. And we tested it. I think you can get a pretty good pop if you need. Yeah.
That is incredible.
Obviously, national champion, Michigan man, and greatest high five.
Yeah.
Because of what you brought for the high five world.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to give a handshake to that particular high five trophy. Did break the hand off. We had to put it back on.
Yeah, way to go, handshake.
Oh no!
There we go.
We have so much respect for you.
You guys just roll deep. This would be entourage level, wouldn't it?
To be honest, we didn't know we were going to be able to get 11 people in here, and then we pulled up and we have 11.
That's where it should roll 11.
Yeah. Always start 11.
You're the best.
I mean, wow, it looks like a lot of highlights against one particular team.
They played more than one game. Why did they have all these TVs for one game?
Imposing our will.
This sucks.
Party in the backfield. No one.
We mean no
one. Out beats the hut, but this might be close. I love that Chargers team even more now. If you were to touch this grass, it would feel as if the history of football was kind of one with your soul, one with your body. And then you look at the views, the sand
Gabriel
mountains with the cotton candy clouds, the way the sun will rise and then the sun will set, and as the sun is setting tonight, there's going to be a football game taking place. You're talking about movie stuff. What do you think it is about your team and that locker room, and why do you think you guys have been able to show up every week?
I think the buy-in on our team is unbelievable. We talk about a player-led team. I think a lot of people say that, but so rarely do you actually see it.
Two Goliath Big Ten teams. What a magical matchup here in the Rose Bowl. And watching Ohio State do what they did to Tennessee, it felt good for the North. It did. It felt good for the bowl.
Look at that field.
God, look at those mountains.
Look at those mountains. San Gabriel Mountains. There's the field.
The San Gabriel. Obviously.
San Gabriel Mountains.
I believe that means the Gabriel.
All parties and all agree that it's in the best interest of everybody and public safety that we postpone the game for 24 hours.
AJ Hawk's working for the bowl. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to beautiful Pasadena, California, the granddaddy of them all, the 111th Rose Bowl, which will be taking place on the most beautiful field in the history of football. The Oregon Ducks, who are the Big Ten champs, will take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. College football playoff is obviously in the middle of a transition era, but we go back in time into a movie-like setting to battle in the Big Ten to see who gets to move on and who goes home. Our UFO just flew over top B-2 smoke bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. You might take a shot, but you're never gonna win. And 10 for Will Howard. Same exact play action. Drops it off to Jeremiah Smith. With space. He's a monster! Jeremiah Smith! First touch is a touchdown! Time. Shot down the middle. Puka. Ooh! Touchdown!
See the split safeties right here. So Will Howard knows his route, looks him off, steps up in the pocket. Great throw.
Takes a shot. And what happens? Jeremiah Smith comes up with the ball. Handoff. Run to the left. Jordan James. Ram. Will Howard. Time. Oh, no. Jeremiah Smith's wide ass open. And that's a touchdown. Ohio State is kicking the living shite out of the Oregon Ducks. If Jeremiah Smith is on your team, I think you can win every game. Travion Henderson. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown! They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now. Now there's a low snap. Rolls left, throws back to the right. Jeremiah Smith's on the field. So that's another first down. Thus far, this game has been
absolutely shite. Step it. Oh my God. Wow. That is so beautiful. You got Matt Hardy on the left there. AJ, chance.
I see it at the 47. Unfortunately, my youngest son puked all over himself, went to the hospital, so my whole family's not here anymore to hear that. But I'm getting some updates every once in a while. He seems to be doing not much better. He puked over the whole section. Jeez. Instant urgent care, instant hospital.
Oh, no.
What type of shite was he eating? Is someone making salmon down here? We came down here and smelled like fish.
Look at this.
For those that have never been here, I would recommend coming and checking it out. Although this particular game was absolute shite. Woo! Roll ball.
Pat, I talked to you about it before the game. Texas 108th in red zone offense versus the number 2 red zone defense.
108th in the country at 130. It doesn't show up till it shows up. 4th and goal in the 4th quarter for the Texas Longhorns. Quinn Ewers, fresh off the 4th and 13. Jack Sawyer, give me that! Strip set from Jack. He scoops. He runs. Jack Sawyer, touchdown! Wow. JTT, Jack Sawyer, in this Buckeyes D. Put a punctuation mark on this Cotton Bowl. Montgomery's going horns down. Taft's trying to fight him. And the Ohio State Buckeyes have taken a 13-point lead because Jack Sawyer is an absolute problem. Hey, look it. Rebound's taken to the semi-zone. Look at Weeman. Weeman has beat the hell out of semi-zone. Punches and bunches from Weeman. I think he learned something from Brock. And Weeman back in the ring. He's stalking Sammy. Listen to this place. Oh, to the kneecap. Weeman so active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Weeman body slamming Sami Zayn. Weeman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn. Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP. Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this What Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is wonderful. That's AJ Hawk. He just won a national championship.
Let's go, Hawk. Hell yeah, Hawk.
For you, the talk today was here at Boston Conor and at Ty Schmidt, 9-year NFL vet and F1 superfan, Darius J. Bullers.
Baby, to watch.
Congratulations again, Hawk.
Clapping for that.
Hey,
Fuck you too, then.
Whoa. F1
Absolute shite.
It's a new day. Lewis Hamilton.
yes, it is. F1, are we in the middle of the season right now?
No. That starts till March.
Anybody watch the TGL last? You're a big golf fan.
I watched a little bit of it, actually.
Did you? On the internet or on TV?
On TV. I had it on. I was actually working on my swing, crafting at X Golf, and it was on the TV.
Okay, and Foxy, Detroit Lions fan, golf super enthusiast. Did you watch TGL last night?
Yeah, I watched it. The Atlanta Drive kicked the hell out of the New York Golf Club. Once again, it was another snooze fest. 4-0. they got a lot to work on over there. I'll just say it that way.
Be excited to see what the numbers are. Debut night obviously does its thing. Tiger playing does its thing. Now it's week 3. Saw Billy Ho coming in doing a dirty bird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Saw him
that was good.
He's a goofball.
What?
He is an absolute goofball.
Billy Ho missed out on a massive Saudi Arabia check when everybody else was taking it, and now he's hoping to cash in, hopefully, for TGL. And as a blue-collar guy, we hope Billy Ho gets an opportunity to do that. So I like to see him showcasing a little personality and pizzazz out there. I didn't get to see any of it. I obviously DVR'd it, and I will certainly catch up. But they used you, the Atlanta Drive. They used you in the video saying all of these have been blowouts, and the Atlanta Drive said, and we plan on keeping it that way. And they lived up to their projection.
100%. They kicked ass from beginning to end. The Falcons owner, he owns that team, and then the Mets owner, he owns the New York Golf Club too. A lot of celebrities in the stands, so yeah, it's quite the spectacle.
So a lot of influence, a lot of influential people. So obviously they're calling their friends to watch TGL and everything like that. Ty, you are now one of the talking heads of TGL. You've been used in a social media video. Are you going to pay attention and really keep track of everything going on over there in the TGL?
It's interesting that they decided, because I didn't think for a second to watch that last night.
What?
Tuesday.
Yeah,
I didn't know what was happening.
It's Tuesday!
Patrick Cantlay doesn't really strike me as hey, this guy's got a big personality. I want to hear what this guy has to say in between shots. Maybe. I gave it a chance the first 2 weeks. I did. I tried. Tigers team went out there. They got the absolute shit beat out of them. All right. I'll maybe check it out when Rory
That's next week.
Next Monday.
Boston Common Golf Club.
Yeah, sure. I also don't get that. I mean, what connection does Rory have to fucking Boston? I mean, it's like they were.
He's Irish.
He's Northern Ireland.
So what? I was gonna say.
Oh, he's Northern Ireland.
Yeah, he's from Northern Ireland, and I think they are more British than anything else. There's a big discrepancy there.
Two different Irelands. They're like big deal.
Exactly.
Oh,
so big. I don't understand
Protestant Catholic situation.
It's just. It's the same goddamn thing every week.
So, and one thing that's happening is they're getting slower. Week 1, it was bang, 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 bang. It was so fast.
Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, they're much slower now.
What do you mean?
He's the king of playing slow. Remember, Brooks was like, hey, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of this guy if he doesn't, move it along a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put some pressure on this asshole. Everyone on tour hates him because he plays so fucking slow.
No, he's probably a good guy, but you're talking about his style. I didn't think it was possible to play slow at the TGL. Yeah. We didn't watch. If you could please inform.
The shot clock.
AQ's
just the pace.
Yeah, they changed the rules too.
There's AQ Shipley, 12-year NFL vet, also a golf enthusiast. He's a member of a cult out in Arizona that runs a golf tournament.
Yep. And Foxy and I were talking earlier. They're changing rules.
What do you mean?
So any of the shots that were 100 or I think it was like 125 and in previously, they would go from the front tees. But since Tiger was airmailing the last couple weeks, apparently it was throwing off everybody's depth perception. Mm-hmm. So now 125 to like 50 yards is going to be at the front tee. Or, I'm sorry, the back tee. And then 40 yards and in is in the front tee now. Get better depth perception. They're just changing rules week 4.
That's
I actually
huge.
don't
that might
mind
save
that.
the whole thing.
Yeah, that's you're right.
Revolutionary.
Because now we're going to
rule
start
change.
seeing like from 120 chip-ins. See?
Yeah.
That's what we've been waiting for.
It feels revolutionary. It feels revolutionary. I haven't really seen much to understand what AQ is talking about. It sounds like an absolute groundbreaking change.
That's a game changer. That's huge. I didn't realize that.
I heard,
it's huge.
So
it's going to change everything.
I'll go back and
next
watch
week.
it.
Next week.
Well, yeah,
Tuesday's coming around. Tuesday's going to be here before we know it.
I know.
I can't wait.
Okay, so let's watch this. Front tee, back tee, a little bit different.
Big difference.
Because they couldn't. That perception was
changes everything.
Yeah, truly.
I think we were told. I might be mistaken. You guys had conversations with these people more than I did, actually. TGL has invited us to go down whenever we want. Is that
anytime we want? We'll get the whole facility to ourselves.
Who was that through? Who was that from? Do we remember who we would owe if we were?
Vino was the one we were talking to.
Yeah.
So Vino owns the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Vino, dog, genius, hard worker, juice guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a juice. Yeah, genius. He gets to the money. Vino gets to the money.
So once I heard Vino was a part of it and I saw all the slabs in there, I'm like, okay, I'm connecting some dots here.
Yeah, now we know who's kind of doing that particular aspect. The only issue is he's not running probably the broadcast.
I don't think so.
And they need to fix
No, it's a guy from NBC. Remember, we looked this up.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Tomorrow Studios.
The guy who grew golf.
Bingo.
What years?
The most important one.
It's funny you mentioned that. No, sometimes you're in the right place at the right time.
What?
And you get a guy like Tiger to come along, and you kind of change the face of golf.
And ratings go through the roof.
Exactly. And guess whose shoulders that's on?
Mm-hmm.
That guy's.
You're right. His resume, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's certainly on his resume. I'm bummed out that I had zero. When I thought about turning it on, it was over. Because it was on at 7 or something?
Yeah.
7, yep.
And then it had been on later before, right?
Yes, it has been at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock was the first one.
So that's I think it was like 8:50 maybe. And I was like, oh, TGL. It was already off. There was a college basketball game on.
Yeah.
And then I saw some of the clips. I saw a Billy Hoyle entrance.
Yep.
Awesome.
And that was
cool. So cool.
Everything doesn't need to be that.
Horschel.
Oh,
Yeah, it was sweet. It was. Horschel.
Yeah,
Billy Hoyle.
Billy Ho.
Billy Ho, yeah. Billy Hoyle. Billy Hoyle.
Entrances got to go. We're
No
putting the golfers
way,
in
man.
some
That was the best
terrible-
part of the whole fucking
They
thing.
are-
That was the only clip that I saw.
That was the only good part of last night.
Oh,
Was it.
Dirty Bird.
That
Dirty
was
Bird.
We gotta
sick,
stop
That was a
dude.
sweet
Okay.
entrance.
That was fucking awesome.
Wait 1 second.
I thought he was going to take his shirt off and play.
He could have. He's jacked. I've seen him on boat.
I know.
Remember?
See, I didn't even have to keep
so
watching
cool.
it. I said, okay, after that, you think fucking Atlanta GC is going to lose? No. Game over.
Yo, you golf fans, so hard to please.
It
You want to
is.
see more of these guys' personalities,
Yep.
and they show it, and then you
I
say,
don't.
no,
Good
don't
point.
show us anymore.
I don't want to see their personalities. I want to watch them play golf. That's all I care about.
Well, it's hard to watch whenever it's this cold and there isn't a season going on. So they're hitting into a big sim. Then they zoom in on the sim. Feels like I'm watching a video game. Then we're in real life. Then I don't know who's doing what. I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah.
How are we getting points? We got a front tee. We got a back tee. I just learned that. I've watched 2 episodes. I did not know that was happening still.
Hey, you know they can raise the lip too on the bunker shots.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, it's super mechanical.
They should have
Real.
waited. They should have
Really
waited
real.
till after football was done, because then we'd be like, man, we need something to watch.
Especially on Tuesday.
Like if they waited after the Super Bowl, we'd be like, you know what, this is kind of cool.
No, they're getting all the. They're figuring it out right now.
Yeah, but that's kind of.
Yeah, they are.
I want it to be good. Don't you guys want it to be? Like, I really want it
No,
to
I
be
think
good.
it can be good. I think that's the biggest thing. There's
Okay.
just a couple
There's
things
hope.
that got
All the stars are in there. Not all the stars. We could still get Brooks in there if we want. Is Brooks in this?
No.
No.
This is a PGA operation.
Correct.
Okay, so all the stars of the PGA.
No Scotty.
No Bryson.
What is Scotty supposed
No,
to be in?
Phil.
The PGA Tour is also happening right now, so it's probably a tough sell.
Phil, Bryson, and everybody else. They're on a different. We had already. We said this is not the live golf. This is PGA. So. If we want to run through the live roster, we can do that right now.
John Rahm.
Dustin Johnson's not in this either.
DJ.
Do we want to go through the entire Young, the one Young, the putting?
Yeah,
Cam Young is not in. So these are all people
Com
that are not
Smith.
in this.
Mm-hmm. Let him in. Let him in. What are we doing?
We agree. We agree. But I think PGA is a part of this entire thing. Has all the stars.
Yes.
Has the tech. Has the building. It's in there. They'll find it.
Yeah, when it gets good, let me know.
Matt Berry needs help. He's on an island the whole time, and he's doing a fantastic job. He needs more, though. He can't just run the show the whole time.
I don't know. I do love him saying every single time on every single shot, no matter what. How's your heart rate? How you feeling on that one?
Do they have
Pretty
whoops
good?
on it or no?
No,
No.
It's just like okay. I don't think these guys are that nervous. All right.
Well, Kiz was. He bladed that.
Kiz was boozed up. I don't know if he was nervous. I
difference.
think he might have been boozed up.
What
which
does that
is
guy
fine.
shoot this weekend? Quintuplet bogey.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That guy.
Went from 600 to +2.
That poor guy. I mean, it did look difficult. The shots.
That hole was stupid.
Yeah, that bunker.
Yeah.
Golf is so awesome. That's why we hope TGL is good.
They'll figure it out.
How many more weeks of it are there?
What? Not enough.
I don't know.
That's the answer.
But no, because that's what I was like. I really think there are only like 5 or 6 weeks left. Right?
Is there a playoffs? Do they have playoffs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is playoffs.
It's crazy.
I know.
I don't know. They keep score. I don't fucking know. I thought the one team lost like 4 different times and no points changed on the scoreboard. So I'm not. That's
it.
my issue too.
Well, did they throw the hammer down?
No, they weren't throwing the hammer down at all last night, which is bullshit. And I know
What does that
Tiger's
do,
pissed
though?
about.
What's that about?
That's double
Everything.
points. Double
Okay.
points for the hammer.
Hammer down holes are fucking nuts.
Hammer Dahn sounds so cool too.
Yeah.
Sounds so cool. We need to watch it more.
loves it.
We haven't even watched it.
I
Look,
watched the first 2 weeks in the entirety.
I had it on TV last night.
Yeah, but you're playing video games.
I was watching American Primeval or Primeval.
Primeval?
Primeval. I don't know how to pronounce
Peter Berg.
Peter Berg, Jim Irsay.
Peter Berg.
#1 on Netflix for a few different days. Congrats to them. I've heard that's a great.
Good shit.
It's pretty good, yeah. I like it a lot.
Those throwback ones seemingly doing really well in our era right now.
Mm-hmm.
Society would like to watch the crazy shit that happened before.
More killing.
We got some crazy shit happening now. We'd like to see what happened
yeah.
back then as well.
I had no idea about Brigham Young.
What's that?
Learned about him.
What'd you learn?
Just learn about him. That's how he operated.
On American Primeval?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's very defensive over Utah.
Bit of a gangster.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Well, yeah, I said we got the gold boards, gold plates out of upstate New York.
John Smith.
This place is ours now. So
Let's just say not every religion is founded on squeaky clean values.
You could say none of them.
No.
Could say.
fair.
There's a few. There's a few out there.
Buddhism.
Are there?
Super squeaky clean.
Mm-hmm.
How about these monks? I see these monks walking up these cliffs. They're like
Crazy.
squeaky.
That was pretty cool.
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Just straight. He had a different trail. It feels like they should have maybe went with the trail he was going on. You know, they had the ropes right over here, and then there's a monk just walking up over here.
Didn't see this.
Strong feet. Strong.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
It was unbelievable.
He had his chi right.
Really?
He did have his chi right.
Always.
He's wearing like a dress.
His monk thing, yeah.
Yeah, what are those?
I don't know. It looked like just a normal hill to walk up, to be
I
honest.
think so too. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
we got
Jay Leno
ropes.
made it?
We got ropes. They said
Jay
right over
Leno's
here.
not making it up this one.
And then
Ooh, boy. Jay Leno's not. Yeah, that might have been Hill JL.
that could be Pittsburgh. Yeah, it could be the Jay Leno in between the Best
It's
Western.
like one of those goats. And those goats that walk up those mountains like sideways.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of what he is.
Well, isn't that what we learned too from the Middle East? Over they're able to sprint up and down these rocks that are just like at a different level. I'm a good hill guy, just like I'm a good crick guy. Skip Stones. Did you ever skip stones growing up in Ohio?
Yeah, I still do as an adult. Yeah.
How are you? How many skips you think you're getting?
I'm legit. What that guy have like 42? Is that what he said?
That was his championship record, world record. I think it's like 70 something or 80 something.
88
plus.
I mean, if I had this guy's rock, if I had this nice smoothed out, grinded down rock, I could get up there.
Well, that's part of the
Look at-
process.
he's got he's like a pitcher. He's got a rubber. He's pushing off too, so he's got power.
Yeah, and this is just championship throw for Kurt Steiner. This is not his best throw. This is just when the lights were the brightest, when the water was the smoothest. We have some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Trent Baalke has been fired as the Jacksonville Jaguars general manager. If you do recall, Shahid Khan, also known as Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, was on a Zoom press conference with Trent Baalke. They were the only two on the screen. And the media asked, if the new coach comes in and wants a new general manager, will you heed to that? And he said, absolutely. And Baalke just had to sit there and say, well, I guess I could be gone. And that is certainly the case now. Baalke out. Is that because of a head coach coming in and saying, I like this particular general manager, this is how I want to go? Or is this potentially Shad Khan realizing that maybe nobody wants to coach for his team because he's keeping Baalke, who's been around like 10 different times and has always survived bad situations? Shad Khan says, following several discussions with Trent Baalke this week, we both arrived at the conclusion that this is in our best mutual best interest, respectfully separate, effective immediately. Turned off his fob. Trent leaves us with my deepest appreciation for his efforts over the past 5 seasons. Ethan Wan will serve as interim general manager and play an important role with others as we continue the process, the interviewing candidates to serve as our new head coach. I am deeply committed to building a winner here in Jacksonville and look forward to introducing a new head coach who will make that happen for our players and fans alike. A lot of people are going to immediately say to Sean, you could have fired this guy weeks ago.
Bingo.
Could have fired this guy weeks ago. Could have already been in the process of interviewing new general managers, maybe, But I think Sean probably had a comfort with Baalke, obviously. That's why he stuck with him. And maybe he wanted his insight for the hire. As soon as he said, though, on that Zoom call that, I'll fire this guy if somebody wants somebody different, that felt like that was the writing on the wall. It now takes place. What happens next for Jacksonville, we shall see, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that they have their head coach in the sights. Like they're about to hire their head coach, and he either didn't like Baalke or had his own ideas of who should be the GM, I'm thinking. But yeah, this does feel like it should have happened a month ago.
Yeah, and I think Jacksonville Jaguars fans are going to be okay with this.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't think they're going to be tore up, D-Butch.
He's had some solid picks, but yeah, with two offensive-minded head coaches, because wasn't it rumored that Liam Cohen was going to be offered this job? So maybe he was like, nah, not going to go there. So you put that either on Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, don't want to work with him, or don't want to work with the GM. Then obviously Ben Johnson choosing to go to Chicago. So if two offensive playmakers saying, or play callers saying like, nah, that's not the destination for me, I probably had to have that conversation, figure out, okay, maybe we get a new coach and a GM to come in at the same time. So
all eyes are on Coach Saleh, potentially go to Jacksonville now. I know he was interviewed at other jobs. I think he was interviewed in Dallas. I assume he's being interviewed in a lot of places because of what the Jets became after he left and what the Jets was like whenever he had to deal with it. I think everybody outside of the Jets is like, do you really you really have an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Does he want to be a defense coordinator again? Which I assume he will have the opportunity to be if he wanted to go to the San Francisco 49ers. But he's been interviewing a lot for these head coaching jobs, and it's like Jacksonville he has ties to. So Robert Saleh, I assume if he has ties to Jacksonville and the Khan family likes him, if he wants to be their head coach and he doesn't want Baalke to necessarily be there, that could be a reason why they move on from Baalke, Kush.
Absolutely. I read about 35 tweets this morning that said as soon as Liam Cohen pulled out of the race, it was basically like everything came out about Trent Baalke's the reason nobody wants to go there.
Okay.
And that was the biggest thing that I kept reading.
Which maybe they aren't saying that, but that's an easy thing to kind of declare if you watch how it's all kind of going down. And once again, could have seen this coming. I think everybody in the football world kind of saw this one coming. Shad Khan had to see it for his own eyes, we think. What do we expect there?
Yeah, and maybe, Joe Brady still kind of out there as well as another offensive guy. The Bob Saleh thing is kind of interesting because, you go from one organization that has, an owner and a kid that's a little involved, and then the Jags, you could argue, is almost the same situation with an owner and a kid who's a little involved. But I don't know. Maybe
he's an adult.
He's an adult man.
He's a chief football strategist for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, which I believe
he did. He took a Tony Khan driver, showed up to work the next day.
Which gritty, definitely. I don't know how much that helps you win football games, but I do think that it's definitely something Saleh would be familiar with. I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is thinking. Man, all these offensive-minded coaches don't want to come coach for me.
I think Trevor understands the situation down there in Jacksonville. I think he knows. I think Trevor wants to be part of the solution. I think Shad Khan wants to be part of the solution. I think Jacksonville Jaguars fans are yearning for a solution. And you move on from Trent Baalke, I assume Jacksonville Jaguars fans say, okay, all right, here we go. I think they're probably excited, AJ. I think they're probably pumped down there in Duval. That's a cool chant.
It is.
They got great mascot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He should be GM.
If they offer to Robert Saleh, he's definitely taking the gig. Like, you can't – he doesn't know if he's ever going to get another head coaching opportunity. Like, you got to take that.
If they offer to him. Joe Brady, maybe.
Yeah,
potentially. If. We don't know. Pete Carroll, if the Raiders offer him the job.
Man, Pete would be interesting. If I was a team trying to bring in a coach, especially a place like Jacksonville, I would definitely bring Pete in and see how it feels with him there.
And they've done something of the past. Coughlin, obviously, he's vastly different than Pete, but they have had older, successful coach, been around as a consultant and as a coach down there in Jacksonville. Pete Carroll, being a head coach, he's being linked to Las Vegas at the moment. Not that that's real. People have been linked to places a lot of different times, and then obviously as offers change, as situations change, things can change. It's a fluid situation, but what we're being told and hearing out of Las Vegas is that Tom Brady's running that shit. This isn't like Tom Brady's just flying the wall.
No.
This isn't like, how does this go? What we're being told is Tom Brady is the one asking questions. Tom Brady is the one kind of conducting the interviews. Tom Brady's the one that is kind of figuring out what's the right way, what's wrong. That's just from our source, says AJ, which I think is why Mark Davis wanted him in there so much. But once again, this is going to feed the narrative about this guy's the actual owner. He's a comment. What are we doing? It's like, it's Tom Brady. It's the greatest of all time. We should like that he's back in the game, but I don't think a lot of us expected him to act as if he is owner of Raiders. We assume this is just going to be an investment type thing, go shake hands type thing. They're hiring now, and he's very active is what we're being told, AJ Hawk.
Well, if you're Mark Davis, why would you run through the whole process of bringing Tom in? We know you had to go through all this stuff, get it okayed and everything. Why would you do that if you didn't want Tom's input? I mean, you're the dude's paying to come in there and let you know his opinion on what's going on, I guess. So yeah, of course. I want Tom in on the interviews if I'm a Raiders guy.
Absolutely. Sure. And I guess I should have expected that, but I didn't think that's how the NFL ever goes. Like, there's minority owners all over the place. People have a percentage of a team. Dave Tepper used to be one. Haslam used to be one. Like, a lot of these guys go from being minority owners to teams to being, okay, now they know the business. They're in with the NFL. They've shaken the hands. They can get approved. They can get the money. They can own a team. It's like, in this particular case, it's like Tom Brady, hard to get through because the value in which Mark Davis wanted to give it to Tom, which I think was a discounted value, little hometown discount for Tom Brady to get in there, which, once again, we as players love. Give the greatest player of all time a little bit of, relevancy in ownership matters and how the league is going to run. We like that. We like that a lot. But I thought it was going to be. I didn't think Mark Davis would be like, yeah.
I mean, you only
run it.
That's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get the GOAT.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And I should have expected it. I guess we should
Yeah.
have expected it to be this way, but like what we're being told is like, hey, welcome to my office.
Well, we thought egos. Don't you think egos usually get in the way with I don't. Tom can come in and be minority owner, but that's what he is. He doesn't have any say in what we do. So I give him credit for actually listening to Tom's opinion.
Think about the other minority owners of the Raiders going like, well, how come we don't? Fucking Tom Brady.
Well, are you Tom Brady? Yeah. What's your name?
Well,
Not
then
Tom
that,
Brady.
well, that person has to have enough money to be a percentage owner of an NFL, so I assume their ego very large.
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't throw touchdowns. Okay, I only started a company that fucking saved 10,000 people's lives. You know, like the egos at that level with that amount of money, because everybody you would think is successful or comes from a family that is very successful. Those people obviously haven't proved anything, so I'm not saying that. But like Tom Brady running it, I think is a good thing for the Raiders, not a bad thing. I think this is a good thing for the Raiders, not bad at all.
I think it's a great thing because if you have a guy that has won everywhere that he's been, literally that was the whole narrative when he went to Tampa. Can he do it without Bill? He does it without Bill. He has seen the way it's supposed to be run. He has been in an organization where they had players that won it and what it takes to win it. And so why would you not? Why would you not listen to this guy? He understands everything about winning.
And that's why he was calling Lombo.
Yeah.
Bill potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, hey, this is my first time really. This is my first owner cycle here. We got to hire a lot. What should I be asking? What should I not be asking? He's very well researched. Everybody knows that. I think they're going to get it right maybe. They don't have a quarterback, but they're going to maybe get it right over there.
Obviously huge. You talk about egos, shit. Mark Davis, you want to win. You know, Al Davis, like they won. You know, just win, baby. They won Super Bowls. They won it. Like that is who made that iconic. Like that's an iconic brand worldwide. So if you're Mark Davis, you want to win and kind of take your own era. So I can see him definitely stepping back and let Tom run the show.
Imagine the people interviewing, walking in. Mark Davis sitting down. Tom's sitting down. Who do I say hi to first? The guy with all the money. Mr. Davis, good to see you. And Mark goes, talking to him, buddy.
Yeah. I'm out of here.
All right, Coach Mr. Brady.
I'm just here for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting in the corner playing Game Boy during the interviews.
No, he's taking notes.
I doubt it.
Tom, how do I beat this guy?
You guys got that one. Nah, we don't want to out it.
No.
We don't want to be a part of that. There is a gaming console out there that has stolen everything from every other company and is in your hands.
Correct.
And it's the GOAT.
Just popped up in my algo.
It is the GOAT.
I can't believe they're still getting away with it.
I thought it was a Game Boy when I saw it.
Yeah, but it is Game Boy.
It looks exactly like a Game Boy.
In a way.
But it is
Switch, Game Boy.
There's no way they're paying royalties for all the games that they have.
No. Straight off the black market.
There's like 1,000 games in this thing, right? In movies?
21,000.
Yeah, bump that up.
20.
But basically got every game from every console ever in the palm of my hand.
Was it $40,000? How much that cost? That should be $50,000.
$110 maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
I don't like that we're even talking about it right now because there's no way that this thing is supposed to exist.
Worth every penny.
But it's like showing that they got ads for these things, and it's like, look at this. We've taken everybody's shit.
Great
and
battery
you can have
life.
it now for the rest of the time. They got movies in there too, right? Isn't there like some movie stuff?
Who makes it?
No movies. We will not reveal who makes it. But there are enough games in there to last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
Is this black market like type stuff?
No, it's being marketed.
Like it's in
Instagram
Best
ad.
Buy or something.
No. But it's like an Instagram ad. You can buy it on Amazon.
I think it comes from the makers of TikTok.
Pretty close.
I don't know anything about that.
You do.
What?
Sounds like you might.
Yeah,
Sounds like you
it is.
might.
Yeah, and I know that you do. So do you.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I did not.
Who makes
Because
it? Putin?
I asked you what it's not Putin, I don't think. I asked you, well, where'd this come
Narrow
from?
it
And you
down.
guys both said, Xi Jinping. That's
No,
what you guys said.
No, we do not know how it got here. It didn't come in a red flag communist box.
No,
I
it
know
didn't.
that, and that's kind of the dead giveaway usually.
Shocking.
So I assume it was a United States made. I assume this gave jobs to American workers.
Oh, is that right?
I assume whoever did create this thing had the idea like, this is going to spread freedom and justice.
It is a lot of joy, I will say, to whoever made this, maybe in China.
No, I don't think this is a Shanghai province type situation. I think this is a
Are
very.
you guys sure of that? It sounds like you guys.
Not sure.
I'm
but
not positive,
again,
but
I'm not leaning on that.
yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not going to be sinking a bunch of hours into some Chinese gaming device. It's crazy.
Exactly. I'm not grabbing this thing saying ni hao wa. Okay,
not a
I'm
chance.
grabbing this thing saying Thank you, America.
Country of origin for this thing, China.
That's not the one I bought.
Okay. I was going to say, let me see.
It's not the one I bought.
It's in mine. Mine's got 256 gigs. Mine's 128.
Boom. Amen. Scroll up. That's not the one I have.
If you get on Amazon, you should be okay,
That
right?
has 30,000 games. Mine only has 15,000.
The walking onto the plane and you both just having your head down on this thing.
Probably fucking
I was like,
Bandicoot.
what is this thing? Game Boy? They're like, on super steroids, brother.
Yeah.
And then you, I think, said 20,000 games on this thing. I was like, what games? Crap games? All of them.
Yeah.
What games? All the games.
Everyone.
Playing Top Gun.
I was like, how is this thing even created? How's this thing even created? We don't care. I hit a link, I bought it, and I got it forever. And it had a good battery life, too. You guys played it the whole flight.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot to charge it, actually, for this upcoming trip to Atlanta. 8% lasted me 2 days.
What's going on with these things?
Look, it's powerful.
Well, it's crazy. They thought TikTok was disappearing, and then these things showed up.
This has no connection to the internet, so this is just, hey, you want to have some fun?
It has no connection to the internet?
No.
It all comes all preloaded, all that?
Old school spyware, huh?
What is the old school spy? They'll have to come pick it up at some point. There's a card in there.
They had some shit before the internet.
Certainly did.
I mean, look, I've taken this through customs, so I know it's good.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy you guys found something that makes you happy, no matter where it's from.
Oh, if I found out if it's from where we were talking about, I'll fucking destroy that thing this afternoon.
It is from there.
No way.
I'm under the impression mine was made in Sweden. So
Under the impression. You're under the impression.
So
that's your truth?
That's my truth until I hear otherwise.
So he thinks it's America, you know.
Mine only has 15,000 games. This has 20,000. That screams Sweden. So, I mean, that would make more sense.
Got a Swedish gaming device.
Yeah.
I'm happy you guys found that. International gaming device.
Yeah. Exactly right.
International gaming device.
Universal.
A lot of happiness has been brought through that. Speaking of happiness, let's get better at ball. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for 2 segments that make us all better every single week, and we're thankful for. There's only a couple weeks left of this.
Yeah.
So we got to enjoy every single play that is highlighted or maybe even low light that is brought to attention. It is time for OG in the Trenches with AQ Shipley.
Here we go, boys.
Kirsch, what are we doing? We're going in the trenches of the divisional round?
We are. And let's take a look at this. And this is why I love this, right? It's 3rd and 4. You guys see that in the bottom right? 3rd and 4. So they go overload because they think this is going to be a pass. This is one of the best calls versus pass. We got 2 linebackers up. Let's just watch Mekhi Becton, number 77. Throw him. Boom! Throw his ass on the ground. See you later.
Okay, Mekhi Becton, 6'7". I believe he's 350 or something, 360.
That's right.
Supposed to be a tackle. They move him into guard. This is a Stoutland University type move?
This is just being an absolute unit. This is 6'7", 350, and just using your absolute strength. The one thing I love about this, if we go, first of all, Mekhi Becton was a throwaway from another team, and he comes to Stoutland U and becomes a dog. But this is what we have become used to seeing. Let's watch Lane Johnson right now. Hand up.
Gone.
He knows it every time. He does it every single time. When there's still people able to make a tackle, he just knows as soon as it's through the first part, Saquon's gone.
So Tooney goes from guard body type to tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mekhi goes from tackle body type to guard. Which one's harder there? Because I feel like on the inside, you got to be lower. Isn't that kind of the lower thing? And Mekhi has played guard fantastically at 6'. He's got to be the biggest guard in the NFL. Got to be, by far.
Him and Faalele, right? They both are tackles, move inside, and both have ended up being really good guards. It's a lot harder going guard to tackle. At the end of the day, Tooney has 31-inch arms, and he's going out there and going against Will Anderson. I mean, he was just getting pressed the whole game. I feel bad for him out there because he doesn't deserve to be out there. He's so good inside. But when you have the length and you have the size, you can get away with a lot of shit playing guard.
Yeah, but it's a little bit more gritty and grimy on the inside, right?
Absolutely.
Think they moved Tooney back this week with Humphrey's help?
No, they got to stick with the continuity at this point. You just got to roll. This is the group that's together.
I can't wait to see your Kansas City Chiefs offensive line.
Yeah, they didn't make it because they don't have any highlights on there. Let's just be real. But you know who does have a highlight? Landon Dickerson.
Whoa, another one.
And this is going back to last year. We haven't shown many of these this year. The old guy loops out, target locked, go get some ribs. Here we go. Let's watch Landon Dickerson come across, help Saquon. Boom! Throw his ass on the ground.
Jeez, almost takes out Saquon.
Yeah.
Careful.
What's he doing?
We're looking for work.
Yeah, I like that you're looking for work, especially on the gritty Philadelphia team. But watch Saquon, little pump fake. How you do? Boom!
Saquon appreciates that. I know he got his leg a little bit there at the end, but he appreciates that.
No, it's physicality's football.
Take this guy out of here.
What do we got next here, AQ?
We got the Commanders. We got the G scheme. First of all, Cliff Kingsbury calling unbelievable games. He's fearless. He's aggressive. Awesome. It sucks that they lost Sam Cosme. They're going to pull both guards here. First guy, kick out. Second guy underneath. Let's watch him throw him out the club. See you later.
Jeez.
Don't want any part of it. Sam Cosme, T's and P's. Torn ACL sucks.
Damn.
Ooh, that's huge.
That is huge. That is a big deal. That's the guy that's circled right there?
Yeah, first round pick. I think maybe first or second round pick out of Texas a couple years ago. He's become a very good guard. That's a big loss for them.
Cliff Kingsbury not always like all in on protection and run game, right? You should be just pass guy.
Yeah, he was all in on pass. Really didn't give a shit about the run game. But Bobby Johnson comes from the Giants. I think they are working very well. Understands the run games every bit to help the pass game, and they've done very well with that.
Let's go to the fourth quarter here with the Commanders offense.
We got another one. So, Fox, you remember they were blitzing the shit out of him. They were actually doing a decent job stopping the run. So here we do. We block the guard down, get the center around, and then you get a huge hole. Austin Eckler. This was a critical play in the game. Fourth quarter, big chunk play.
Creating a big,
gaping hole.
Did they out-physical the Detroit Lions?
That is the key to every team that won this week. And as we get further into the Buffalo Bills, we will talk all about physicality. But yes, Washington Commanders played physical on both sides of the ball, and that's why they won. Usually, which is the team that's the most physical wins every game.
Let's go in the trenches with the Buffalo Bills, as you just pointed out. Deion Dawkins' split is hilarious.
Hilarious, and his stance is hilarious. But the reason why I got this clip on, we just got to talk about the chop, and I'm fucking sick of it. I am sick of it. I talk about it over and over again. You chop the inside arm, and then that dipshit in the back left throws a flag at him for no reason. This is not a foul. This is using the defender's weight against them. You chop the inside arm. These two tackles are better than everybody in the league. It is a part of playing offensive line. Work smarter, not harder. Chop their ass down. Stop throwing flags.
It was so casual by Dawkins.
Yeah.
Let me post. He posts him with his left hand.
Boom.
And then right hand chops him down.
Never once even grabbed the jersey a little bit. AQ, what's the rule saying this? What do the refs claim?
They keep all they do. This is what they do. They scan, and whenever you see that, a lot of times they think it's just a jerk pull down. And when that happens, they scan. They see somebody on the ground. It's like, oh, where's my little yellow thing so I can throw it at somebody and look like a dipshit.
Hey, Bills Mafia, let's amplify this a little bit here because this is something that needs to be heard. We've tried to spotlight this earlier in the year. This is a Deion Dawkins move. He's a special player with this.
Absolutely.
Takes timing, takes power, takes precision. It's not just like any dipshit can do this particular move. Deion Dawkins is a highly skilled chopper, and it's he even like tries to help him down almost. It's like the casualness of it all.
It's a very skilled move.
Are people claiming he grabbed the jersey there? There's no grab ever there.
What the explanation was, I've seen this in slow-mo, but his left hand gets the inside of his chest plate.
And pulls.
So
him
it's
down
a pull
with
push. The chop. Yeah, so that's
it
why.
was a smooth
Can't tell from that angle.
It was a smooth pull, yeah. You can kind of, because when he starts to fall, his arm goes with him. His left hand, rather, goes with him. But, again, I agree. The chop is great, and they should not let it.
And I call full bullshit on that because I just think his left hand's there and it just follows as the guy goes down. I don't think there's anything yanking down.
Well, and also, I think his finger kind of gets stuck in it as it's going down. But they're mad at offensive linemen for not getting their hands inside. He actually has his hand in the middle of this guy's chest. That's exactly where you're trying to go, right? Within the framework.
That's correct. And Spencer Brown has copied this move and has become great at it too as the right tackle. This is a very big move for both these guys. Here's the other reason why it's bullshit whenever you try and take this move away. Whenever a defender has to deal with this, now, instead of them leaning and all the bull rush, it kind of takes that out because they don't want chopped and thrown on the ground.
It's a good play. Let's not just ruin it, okay,
It's like a fullback cutting you. AQ, it's like a fullback cutting a backer sometimes. It'll might make them think twice next time you're coming in there full go, right with your head down, trying to kill them.
Also have a little balance.
Yeah, that's right.
Stay on your feet. I don't care, Snow.
Yeah, because just like AQ used to do in high school whenever he was a basketball Hall of Famer in Western Pennsylvania, you start leaning a little bit, we'll just kind of move the chair out, bang, you're down.
Pull the chair out.
Dawkins is doing.
That's exactly right.
We love him too. Smell me?
Love him.
He's got the snow goggles on.
Oh yeah, he is playing loose. I mean, he's getting 10-yard split.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's insane.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
On the line of scrimmage, all the way out like a slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about an island. This is welcome to Dawkins Island. That's where you're at. You could potentially get chopped at the end of the day. We need him to stop calling it. That's a good play by Dawkins.
Great play.
All right, let's stay with the Buffalo Bills offensive line.
We got QB power at the end of the first half. This was a huge play, kind of a dagger, puts him up 21-10. Let's take a look at his counterpart, right tackle, Spencer Brown. Boom, throws his ass across, and then gets up on the second level. Josh Allen walks in, says, "Get off me." boys, game over.
How do you feel about the power for Josh Allen? They used it a lot. So did Riley Leonard in Notre Dame.
Yeah, listen, I love it as like a changeup. And listen, when you got him who's 6'7", 250 and can always get you 4 or 5, it's always got to be an option. It always has to be an option, especially in the playoffs.
Josh Allen, not scared at all to run the power either.
No.
Josh Allen just spoke at a press conference either earlier today or yesterday about that play where there was almost a pitch back. And he admitted that, younger Josh probably does make that pitch.
Yeah.
And it did cross his mind. It certainly was. And then he said he saw a hand come into his framework, which was that guy on the other side who could have snagged that thing and went. And he decided to hold on, go down. Josh Allen's playing his best football. We always thought to ourselves Josh Allen was a prototype, but he always has those bonehead plays.
Yep.
He'll just make a play where it's like, Josh, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. But Josh was just trying to make a play because every play was supposed to be a touchdown. Now he's like mature. He's ready. This Bills team feels... Josh feels ready. The Bills team feels ready. But we said that before, and it's still the Chiefs.
I will say this. This is the last thing I want to say about this offensive line. When you play the Baltimore Ravens, they got the number 1 run defense. They got Big Pierce weighing 400 in the middle. They got boys in the middle of that defensive line that want to bully you. They out-physicaled them. The Buffalo Bills went 6-0 linemen and just took it to them. When it came time to run in duo in the fourth quarter and just running downhill, you watched their offensive line taking Baltimore's defensive line and moving this way.
Sweet. All right, now let's get the AFC, the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Where'd they go?
Do they have any highlights?
Nope, they got 0 highlights. I watched the film twice, couldn't find a single clip.
Not one?
Not a one.
They're good, though. I don't know why.
They're back-to-back Super Bowl champs.
They are good.
Number 1 seed in the AFC.
No, the team is good. The team is good. Their offensive line is not playing well right now, period. They are not getting movement. Both tackles are getting pressed in the pocket. Mahomes is running around like crazy. They're ad-libbing with Kelce, so they're making enough plays, and they're doing enough in situational football, and they're playing great defense, and they're out-coaching
When
teams.
you guys beat them in the Super Bowl, it was the offensive line, right?
It was their offensive line, and it was specifically the tackles because the same interior 3 were great. Our whole move was we're going to put Vita Vea, and I forget who, Will Golston on the outside. We put the 2 edge rushers, Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul, collapse the tackles, get him to roll out into Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett, and then he's running for his life.
Todd Bowles.
JPP had a big game in the Super Bowl.
Big game.
Yeah.
That's the only time Pat's lost in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy that we even have that stat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only time this guy has lost in the Super Bowl. Like, it's not like in a season or his career or anything like that. Like, Super Bowl. He has enough Super Bowl games now where we're like, this guy's only, the time he lost, they took advantage of it. You remember that Super Bowl a couple years ago when Pat was in it? Just like the one last year he was in it. Just like the one 3 years ago when he was in it. Like, that is what Patrick Mahomes has come accustomed to.
7 straight AFC championships is an insane stat.
Yeah, he's only lost 3 times. Burrow AFC championship, and then Brady with the Pats AFC championship.
It's insane. He's on a run.
Not just him, the team. Offensive line, we got faith in him. Even though he doesn't, we got faith in him. That was OG in the Trenches with AQ Shipley. Let's move to the secondary, shall we? Let's go everything DB. Good D, bad D with Darius J. Butler.
Yes, sir. Let's get to it. We're going to start with the Washington Commanders. Had a big day against Jared Goff and Detroit Lions. Pause it here. If you pause it here, pre-snap, rewind a little bit, a couple frames. Pre-snap is showing cover 3, single high. Looks like either man-to-man or cover 3 because you have that one middle of the field safety. Post-snap, you're going to rotate, and you'll see it rotate down here to cover 2. Lattimore being a flat defender. You got the safety over top, Quan Martin. And then the depth of that, if you run it back real quick. Actually let it keep playing because you see the overthrow. You see the return, great return. Got a great block by Frankie Louisville. Oh, Jared Goff. This changes the game. We talk about cut blocks and look-back blocks. When you hit the quarterback like this changes the game. But right here, Jared Goff, the protection up front, great pocket, right? They've done this all year. And the intermediate pass game, Jared Goff, especially when protected or coming off play action, is one of the best quarterbacks all year long. But great drops. You look at that defender right there on the hash mark. He's an underneath defender. And then you have Lattimore, who's the flat defender on the outside. So Jared Goff, you have a check down here on 2nd and 14, Laporta right there in your face, but he tries to go to the deep one, Patrick. And because of that dropper, he tries to put air on it, put too much air on it. I always talk about tips and overthrows. You got to have those. And whenever you get points on the board, it gets an explosive offense and get a hit on that quarterback. Big time play here from the Commanders. And it's obviously completely changed the outlook of this game.
We're talking about the offense for the Commanders a lot. Defense also obviously holding up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, defense making plays. And in the playoffs, especially with explosive offense like this, turnovers. Turnovers always matter. They change the game, especially when you can instantly put points on the board like Quan Martin did. Another guy who had a big time game. Mikey Sainristil, we watched him his last couple games at Michigan when they were on their way to winning a national championship. Big part of that Jesse Minter defense at Michigan, and it's been a big part of his Commanders defense this year. 2 interceptions, this one in the quarter coverage. Kind of on the fringe area. If you pause it here, J-Mo, ton of speed. You got no safety help with this route in quarters coverage. You can kind of see both safeties kind of settling. So as a cornerback, this is a tough position to be in, especially when you have a speedster like J-Mo out there because you're outside leverage. So if he runs that post, and every quarterback, every coordinator around the league knows it, we got that outside leverage. So for him to undercut that, and you'll see it better from the TV copy, started with outside leverage, stayed open, and then squeeze, and then undercut J-Mo. You're going to want to put this ball a little bit over the top, maybe a little more inside. But great job by Mikey Sainristil turning into the receiver once that ball got in the air.
J-Mo's a weapon. Obviously, he's an incredible celebrator as well. And I would have loved to see what he would have done if he would have scored a touchdown. I mean, literally anybody or anything could have got it. But that's a great jump on a play.
Great job, awareness, and great job finishing that play, going up there, turning into the receiver, bringing that down. He actually had his second interception, which was from J-Mo on the double pass that Ben Johnson drew up. Comment says because he was ready to get the hell out of there and get to Chicago.
5 total turnovers.
Yes.
4 picks, 3 from Jared Goff, 1 from J-Mo, and a fumble. I mean, that's a massive day.
Turnovers are going to win you ball games. And also stopping the run. You talk about stopping the run, being able to run the ball. Who's the more physical team? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, former Lion. This is a big-time play, 3rd and 2. So, we're in the 4th down revolution time where it's always you get some yards here. If you get a no gain, you maybe go for it here. Get some for a tackle for loss. They end up settling for a field goal right here to make it 13-10, I believe, at this point in the game. Big-time play. If you run that back one more time from that back copy, this is tough for a DB. You got
all right, what's he saying here? Lock it.
Yep, pause it. So you got him and Slade down here, and they're communicating on these 2 tight ends. So, hey, we're basically combo, in and out. So
in and out.
First,
in and out signal.
Yep, first one inside, first, boom. So me and you, Pat, if I'm Slade, I'm slaying your CJ. I'm looking at you right now, in and out. So if 87 goes in, whoever goes in, you take him as that inside defender. Outside, I'll take him. If they both come up, we'll take them as they come out. Now, once that guy goes across the ball, boom. Though his Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, his run gap, his run responsibility moves with 87. Wherever 87 goes, he has to fit off of his block. So he sees 87 make that block inside. He immediately shoots his trigger. Boom. Yep. He's going to block. He's got to fit off of that block. So a great job by him having discipline, understanding where to be in the run game. When you are a DB, especially a safety, being able to make stops in the run game is huge, especially in the playoffs. You look at the fucking weather. This is a big-time play in this game.
As soon as he saw 87 was not going out for a pass, he was blocking. He said, all right, fuck it, run responsibility.
And that's a tough spot to be on 3rd and short because everybody's gearing up for the run. This run, you got big personnel. We got 3 tight ends on the field, so everyone's thinking run. But we've all seen it. Hard play action, somebody extra O-lineman, big tight end. He's in the end zone wide open because as a defender, especially a DB, you also have run game responsibility. So a hard fake can kill you. So having the confidence to be able to trigger this, reading your keys. We talk about see a little, see a lot. You see that one key, you make a big-time play.
Love CJ GJ. Being who he says he is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a guy who he be who he says he is. He be.
Always.
And what a weapon for them.
Big weapon. And you talk about a weapon, Jalen Hurts, he got banged up, so we'll see how healthy he'll be with this week. But him being in that backfield with Saquon is a big part of why their run game is what it is. You see the responsibility for defenders. Now, this is on bad D. If you run it back, just look at the DBs. We just saw Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You have to want to make plays. You look at this corner down here. You look at 26 running around blocks, not getting off blocks. Guys going underneath Mailata. He can't even find anyone to block. So that, to me, if I'm watching on film, you're not interested in tackling. You're not interested in beating the block and tackling the quarterback. Now, Jalen Hurts is a big physical quarterback, but you got to get him down. So this is a big-time play by Jalen Hurts. We'll see how healthy he will be. Well, I think we'll see pretty early on, but he's a big factor in that run game when you talk about being on the edge, coming down here.
I love that. Hey, I love that the Rams defense is going to be able to point at those all offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Sean McVay's going to be able to be like, hey.
Oh, yeah.
What's this?
Our biggest game. No, I'm not saying they did this all year. I think that young Rams defense has been awesome to watch, kind of develop and come together. But like that play, it's hard to watch. That's hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch. So those guys, you dread those moments. And we always talk about cold weather games. That's what shows up. Like you're not interested in hitting big people and hitting the ground. But this is it. Like this, you play, you win, and you go home. So that's the benefit of being one of those cold weather teams. We're in Philly, and now we got a team from LA coming out. You're already mentally thinking, hey, we're gonna be saw it in college. Hey, we're gonna be mentally tougher in this team because we're used to these elements. So when you come in and you put some shit like that on film, I'm sure those guys are sick. But
is this another bad D here? A good D?
What do you think?
Oh, Jaden's playing quarterback.
This looks like the Terry
just got
play.
hired.
You saw the pregame speech from Terry McLaurin. When they turn that film on, you know what they're gonna say. Be who you say you are.
And he said, when they talk about me, it's I ride.
Yeah, I'm him.
I'm a ride, he said.
They gonna say we some dogs, and he is a dog. You got 4x1 right here. So you got Eckler offset to the trip side. Now, if you just leave it paused here, for Jayden Daniels, this is a quick box read. This is 1st and 10. So he's just saying, okay, right now I got 3 over 3 up top. You got Branch, you got the corner, you got another safety. So we got 3 defenders over 3 wide receivers. So if I throw it out there, it's 2-on-2, and then almost like an Oklahoma drill. Now you got a 1-on-1 tackle. But once Brian Branch gets into, so right now he started in what we call the apex, right? So that's basically splitting. We see Caleb Downs do this a lot. You split the bunch and you split the run so that you can still have a run fit. But he blitzes, so he gives Jayden Daniels the answer. Now the math is on our side. Now we got 3-on-2. I just get it out to my playmaker. We make 2 blocks, hit it up the middle to shoot. Kirby Joseph is not going to be able to catch him. Got outran there. So you talk about this play, you draw it up. This is one of those Friday plays where you script for success. Hey, bring the blitz. It's going to be 3-on-2 out there. He's going to block outside. He's going to block inside. Terry McLaurin's going to hit the shoot. Great job, great execution, and just making the throw in and letting Scary Terry be special.
Can you go? Yeah, run this. Run this. There's somebody that is the entire face of Detroit here at the end of this. I'll tell you when to pause it. Scary Terry's going. Scary Terry's rolling. Pause. There's going to be a dude that's about to show up. Right here. Look at this guy. Play.
What was he saying?
Bummed out.
What was he saying? No
That's
good?
no good.
He's bummed out.
As a hold. No good.
What's he saying?
I think he was saying we're fucked. Yeah. It's over.
Fucking over.
It's over.
It's a called run, too. That was a called run.
Good check by Jaden.
It's just, so that's why Cliff does that. If you guys noticed how the bunch was super wide, because you have to declare when you blitz. So that when you run the RPO like that, he knows he has to come because that bunch super wide. You can't blitz from all the way out there.
And how about Jaden in the biggest moment making a play, making the right play so quickly? He's the guy.
He is the guy.
That's the thing you see with him, like, especially with young, even sometimes old quarterbacks. Like, you know, Russ was on today, and one of the things that I think a lot of Steelers fans or people that watch him a lot would say, hey, you just want him to be more decisive. Whether you throw the ball away, whether you decide to run, whether you make a throw. And that's what you see from Jayden Daniels. And you don't typically see that as a young quarterback, especially in the biggest moments. Always so calm and collected, and then very decisive. You know, huge downs, 3rd downs, 4th downs, 2-minute drill, doesn't matter. Just very, very decisive. Throw the ball, throw the check down, throw it away, run, just make a decision and make it quick.
Tom Rinaldi's mind blown. Holy shit. All right, we have some breaking news out of the NFL. New England Patriots have officially hired Coach Williams, former defensive line coach for the Detroit Lions and defensive run game coordinator for the Detroit Lions, is now the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. Vrabel's putting a staff together, Conor.
Yeah, they go all the way back. I guess Terrell Williams was actually named associate head coach in Tennessee when Vrabel was there. Actually let him be the head coach for a few preseason games during his run with the Titans. Obviously, McDaniels, we talked about being the OC. That was kind of assumed immediately. I believe they brought in a few other guys from Tennessee.
A couple other
guys. Tony Mountain Dew. He is also coming in. He's the running backs coach. And then I believe his Ernie Adams is coming over from the Rams. Like, they are slowly starting to put everything together, keeping the same special teams coordinator because that group was so good this year, Jeremy Springer. So, the team's taking shape. Feel very good about it. And, you know, we talked about it this morning, still have like $128 million in cap space. So moves will be made, and Vrabel will be leading the charge. Supreme Commander Vrabel is, you know, kind of getting it going now.
We are going to do a full salary cap dive tomorrow in the program because where the cap is, where it has been in the history of the NFL, and who has what for this upcoming offseason. Obviously, very important conversations.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll do some journalism on that tomorrow. Okay. All right, D-Block, great work this week, buddy.
Baby D-Block.
AQ, what a time by you. You really did well out here today.
Thanks, guys.
You said you don't believe in the Chiefs because they're offensive line, but then in the same mouth said Eagles have best offensive line, but they're not going to win. So, never ends. I never know what to believe.
This guy.
I never know what to do with you.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
They got a great offensive line.
Who?
Philly.
But
Okay.
Quarterback can't throw over the middle.
Jeez.
I mean,
This guy.
He's a dirtbag.
Just saying.
We'll find out if he can or not.
Sure will.
No better time to do it than the NFC Championship. Jalen Hurts, as you guys host the Washington Commanders, and on the AFC side, Chiefs and Bills. We got 2 great games this weekend. Thank you for everything, AQ. Before we get out of here, you want to do a contest, maybe a giveaway? Because we only got a couple weeks left here, and we haven't had a lot of winners.
Let's do it.
What are you going to do? You going to throw?
I'm going to win today.
Are you? Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
Okay.
AQ, where did that ball land that you hit back to those motherfuckers that hit into you?
It went over him.
I think so, right?
Yeah, it went over him.
I think it did. You hit it pure. I mean, it was fucking stroked. Thanks. It was the second one on that hole that you drove, so it was like a mulligan.
Sure.
Angry AQ.
Second team All-American.
Yeah, always.
A lot of pressure, though. If he duffs that when he's super pissed trying to hit that group, that's a tough look.
Well, think about me being there, too. Like,
I just tee another one up.
Yeah, he would have done that, but I would have obviously reminded him of what just took place. You know, I feel like I'm good in those situations. You know, just kind of pointing out the things that are taking place right now in front of all of us. Like, this is what life is right now. It was a magical moment, though. It really was. They did not hit into us again.
They stayed way back.
Yeah, they did. We had our own course. Felt like we had our own course.
Just shut it down.
Yeah, normally people plug it or cover it with grass. You said, let's send one back. Let's return fire. Fight fire with fire. And you certainly did. They never expect one coming back up the fairway.
Ever.
Ever.
No.
That's like a sneaky. That's like Art of War.
That is. That's right.
Yeah.
You let them know real quick where you stand.
Yeah, you have no idea how. You might have been the only person to ever hit a golf ball that way on that fairway.
First time I've
ever.
heard of that. Where'd you
And I
pick that
also-
up from? Where'd you learn that from?
I don't know, but I also always felt real
I've seen it.
confident myself
I've
at the
seen it.
fact that I was. You guys remember the offseason me? I was always 330, maybe pushing 340. There was nobody coming to.
Yeah, you would have handled your business.
we didn't think so.
We certainly would have.
I wouldn't
They
have
were
chased
forcing,
anybody.
We were just a 2, but I mean, we would have figured it out. Obviously, I think if it would have went down. But that was a good question, Debo. Where did you get that from? I was shocked by the move. I was. Oh shit!
Haven't seen that.
Yeah, where did you pick that up?
I go 0 to 100 real quick in everything.
Yeah, but when did you think to yourself, you know what? Let's return fire. Like
I think after the first one.
thought
Okay,
it.
you didn't learn your lesson. Okay, sounds good.
It was awesome.
And then another one comes by.
It was an awesome moment.
Time to teach us.
All right, here we go.
That was before social media too. I thought for sure it would have been a golf course fight. Thought we were in.
Oh, yeah.
But instead we got treated like royalty.
Scared the absolute shit out of those guys.
Yeah,
That'll be the new move going forward, though.
It's a good one.
fire back.
Fire back.
Good one.
Listen, who wants to return fire? Who's stroking it today? A little bit? Who wants to send one over? Because even if you bomb it over their head, they realize.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
That's shown.
Oh, they're better golfers than us too.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
AJ said he's seen it before, though.
AJ, you've seen that before?
Oh, yeah. I've been in groups where that has happened. Yeah. I haven't done it, but I've watched dudes do it, yeah.
AJ doing that with his ball.
Probably hit the
No,
grip
I'm usually the guy.
behind
I've accidentally hit into people a lot.
Yes. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
Well, you know, sometimes there's holes where it's like there's a hill and they go over the hill and I think they're way gone and all of a sudden they're only 200 yards and I drive one 150 yards over their head. Then they get upset.
There's video reporting of Coop watching the Eagles win this past weekend. Is that right? Oh, he's standing up in a suite, clapping his ass off. Good for Coop, dude.
Had baby Coop.
Good for Coop, dude. He had 2 jackets on, I do believe, if I can recall. Good thumbs up, big clap. Had a baby Coop. Hey,
That boy
congrats to your
Coop.
Eagles,
Baby
Coop.
Go get him, Coop.
That's a good clap out of Coop, by the way. That's a good clap out of Coop. He was, we're all right.
yeah.
We're okay.
Thumbs
Sits it
up.
back down. We better fucking win this game. He's so handsome.
Oh yeah.
That's the best.
Sweet.
Cool.
He also sells the best Philly cheesesteak in New York.
Bar none.
Danny and Coops.
Hands down.
Danny and Coops.
Guess who's making them?
Yeah, guess who's in the back making these sandwiches?
He is.
Bingo.
Coop.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, you said it.
Bradley Cooper cooking up sandwiches for people when they come through Danny and Coops.
Have you had one?
I've seen a picture. Looks delightful.
So good.
I think you can only get it one way. You come in, this is the sandwich.
Where's wit?
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Sure.
Okay.
Boom.
Cheese with fried onions. That's it. That's like the Philly staple.
That's not it. Okay, there's more to it. There's love. There's the tenderness
Yeah.
of the
It's
meat,
the
the
roll,
bread.
the
Hoagie.
It's a ribeye.
That's the goat
The
is
whole
what you
thing.
meant.
Is what you're talking about. It's not just.
That's
It's
it.
Danny and Coops. Where's it at? It's in. Me too. It's in New York. What part of New York? Do we remember where we?
Upper.
West side.
Tribeca.
That's what I wanted to say, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
I think it's over there in
Somewhere
Brooklyn.
in there.
I think it's potentially. It's in East Village.
East Village.
East Village.
Okay, I was going to say Dumbo.
Yeah, we're
Eastville.
Yeah, of course, over there. Chinatown, that's next to Chinatown there.
Coop would never put his shop next to Chinatown.
Coop might want to get his hands on that thing, that rig that you guys got.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah,
Mine's from Sweden, though. It's not from.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
We'll get him one.
Yeah.
Sweden town, of course. Shout out, Coop. Happy your Eagles are doing well. Can't wait to see what you do next. Happy birthday, too, Coop.
Happy birthday, Coop.
It's a couple weeks ago. I think we probably missed it.
We missed it.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, too.
Hell yeah. And also,
And
happy
Happy
birthday
New Year.
last year. We missed a couple.
Yeah.
We missed a few. Wow, fucking happy Easter, too, dude. I mean,
Happy Valentine's coming up, too.
yeah, love. We love love.
Yeah.
Saw him in there.
President's Day? That's coming.
Yeah,
up.
happy president. We missed a few at least.
Happy MLK Day.
Yep.
Yep, just happened the other day, obviously. Happy. And also last year's, we missed it probably.
Yep.
April Fools.
Oh.
Just kidding.
AQ, why don't you not be a January fool and why don't you win 30 people?
I was going to say, you probably do 50, though. I don't think he's made one all year.
50 people, $500. All you got to do is put that football into that hoop right over there. AQ Shipley, Penn State alum, Super Bowl champion, former coach and player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wasn't an owner, but he was damn near Jackie Moon. If he puts that ball into that hoop over there, 50 people are going to celebrate with $500. AQ Shipley.
That's a good ball, though.
Man,
Pretty good ball.
You and Pagano cut from the same cloth.
This one, 30 people, $500. All you gotta do is put that football into that hoop right over there. AQ, I like that you went after it there. You know, we talked about Aaron Glenn doing it.
Yeah.
You did the same thing there. You didn't hold back. You weren't nervous. It was a free motion. Now, I don't know if you're throwing out hearts. Okay, and if you do that, I think you should throw it similar to this football. But if you throw that football into that hoop right over there, 30 people, $500. AQ Shipley, for the good of the people.
Ooh.
Throw a tight spy, though.
Trying to throw this thing to Illinois.
Why is this thing going so far?
Well, it's because
So
it's
strong, man.
it's the Baby Duke 2.0. It is the perfect toss-around football. It's heavy, but it's soft enough to catch. The laces are obviously there to help you throw, but they're not too stern to slice and dice your calluses or fingers.
No.
It's a ball that can be punted. It's a ball that can be thrown. It's a ball that can be a winner for 30 people of $500. All you got to do is put it into that hoop right over there. Baby Duke 2.0, available now. 30 people, $500. What a throw! What a throw! That was awesome.
Never a doubt.
Congratulations. Great work this week. All right, all you got to do is repost this post, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you. 30 people will win $500 because AQ Shipley put that beautiful Baby Duke 2.0 into that hoop.
That baby cute.
It's a magical Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Tone, come on a hammer. Dahn. We're in this thing together. Never forget it. All of us. No matter what happens, wherever it happens, we're in this thing together. Let's continue to enjoy this life and be thankful that we're alive and not dead. Team on beat. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.